Professor Pang glanced at her and asked, "Xiao Jin, where did you find this young man?" Xiao Jin replied confidently, "Of course, with my discerning eyes." The professor smiled and scolded, "You girl, you're almost 30 and still so frivolous." Xiao Jin pretended to be unhappy and said, "I worked so hard to find such an excellent apprentice and you're still scolding me." The professor praised again, "This young man is indeed a talent." Seeing that Zhang Zi was about to leave, Xiao Jin stopped him. Zhang Zi turned around, as she spoke. Xiao Jin handed him a photo. "I won't be in Pioneer City for the next few days, so I can't cheer you on. So I'll give you my best wishes today. I hope you can get into Qingda University and become my fellow alumni." Xiao Jin crossed her arms and glanced at him, saying, "In the next few days you should pay attention to this person in the photo. He stole Zheng Hao and is very dangerous." Zhang Zi stared at the photo and asked uncertainly, "Is it Don?" Xiao Jin confirmed, "Yes." After hearing this, he promised, "Okay, I'll pay attention to this person." Xiao Jin walked towards the car and said, "The security department still has things to do. I'll go first. Contact me anytime if you need anything." He replied, "Okay." On the 10th floor of the Demon Realm, everyone began to gather. Dragon King walked over from a distance, waving and smiling. Rakshasa. Rakshasa watched everyone walk over and asked with concern, "One Arrow, what's wrong with you? Why do you look so worried?" One Arrow through the heart sighed. Alas, Cold Front was right. Starting from the 10th floor, the monsters are getting harder and harder to fight. Dragon King heard this, patted him on the shoulder and said, "What's so difficult about this? A real man can't complain." One Arrow disagreed with him, retorting, "Then why did you run when we encountered the 10-meter-tall behemoth war chariot?" Caught off guard, Dragon King stammered, I wasn't ready yet." One Arrow confidently said, "I read the Demon Realm manual. It says that there's a very large monster on the 10th floor. Did you guys encounter it?" Dragon King said fiercely, "That's right, it's that one." He recalled the behemoth war chariot and said, "Over 10 meters tall, the ground shook violently when it moved, and there were 3 orc warriors on its back, one with a bow, one with a knife and an armored vehicle. How can we possibly defeat that?" One Arrow confidently said, "I read the Demon Realm manual. It says that there's a very large monster on the 10th floor. Did you guys encounter it?" Dragon King said fiercely, "That's right, it's that one." He recalled the behemoth war chariot and said, "Over 10 meters tall, the ground shook violently when it moved, and there were 3 orc warriors on its back, one with a bow, one with a knife and an armored vehicle. How can we possibly defeat that?" Rakshasa pointed forward. "Now that everyone is here, let's go find that terrifying behemoth together," Dragon King excitedly replied, carrying his club. "Okay." Seeing the number of people in Rakshasa's team, the people behind them began to whisper. Someone sighed, "There are too many people in this team, almost 100. Someone mocked, "What's the use of having a lot of people? A group of archers as weak as snails, how can they withstand the behemoth's attack?" As everyone was walking forward, suddenly Giant God stopped. He put down his shield and loudly reminded, "Everyone be careful." The expressions of Dragon King and One Arrow also became tense. In front of them was the huge behemoth war chariot. Giant God, holding his shield up, turned around and said, "The behemoth war chariot is too big. Even I have difficulty withstanding it. To protect the safety of the archers, I suggest we keep a safe distance to avoid being hit by the behemoth war chariot." One Arrow disagreed. "How can we do that? If we're too far away, it will be out of our range. Then we won't be able to help at all." Moonshadow patted Rakshasa's shoulder and asked worriedly, "Rakshasa, what do you think?" Rakshasa glanced at her. "Did you see that orc holding the chain? Look at his movements. He's using that chain to control the behemoth war chariot. I think that's the key." The orc sitting in the front was grabbing the chain and controlling the chariot, walking fiercely towards them. Rakshasa guided, "First, Giant God, Big Brother, go up and attract the aggro. We'll deal with that orc first. That way, the behemoth war chariot might lose control and the danger will be reduced. Once we deal with the behemoth, we'll have a way to deal with the remaining orcs." Giant God accepted the order. "Okay." After speaking, he rushed up with his shield. The orc saw this and blew his whistle. The behemoth heard the whistle and roared excitedly. Under the orc's control, the behemoth charged towards Giant God. With just one horn, it flipped Giant God to the ground. He propped himself up and shouted loudly, "This guy's strength is terrifying." However, the behemoth didn't stop but continued to attack him. Seeing this, Rakshasa issued the order, "Everyone get ready. Fire arrows, concentrate the attack, take them down." As soon as the words fell, countless arrows flew forward, shooting straight at the orc controlling the chain. The 2 orcs behind watched in horror as their leader fell, while the behemoth continued to charge forward, its feet directly stepping on the orc lying on the ground. Instantly, the behemoth wailed in pain, its eyes turning red, and charged towards Giant God. Rakshasa shouted anxiously, "Not good, the behemoth is berserk." "Giant God, run!" The behemoth's rampage caused the remaining 2 orcs to fall from their seats. They fell to the ground watching the behemoth leave. Dragon King gritted his teeth and said, That big guy ran away, Moonshadow. Let's go deal with those 2 orcs," Moonshadow replied. "Understood." The 2 of them rushed towards the 2 orcs together. Moonshadow assessed while attacking. "These orcs are very quick to react and are good at dodging." Rakshasa heard this, drew his bow and said, "Attack together." Under their combined attack, the orcs fell to the ground riddled with arrows. Dragon King said regretfully, "We finally eliminated them, but it's a pity that the behemoth ran away." Suddenly, Moon Shadow pointed into the distance. Everyone, look quickly. Rakshasa looked in the direction where the behemoth had escaped and there was someone there. Rakshasa frowned and said, "It's the behemoth from just now. It's charging towards that person. We have to save him," Giant God said anxiously. "It's too late." Dawn, when the behemoth charged towards him, didn't panic at all. A cold smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. He quickly drew his sword and split the behemoth in half with one strike as the behemoth fell. The notification sounded. Damage 88,441. One arrow Dawn. One arrow Dawn sheathed his sword, a cold smile appearing on the corner of his mouth. "Rakshasa, I finally found you," Dragon King exclaimed in surprise. "Wow, nearly 90,000 damage. One strike to take down the behemoth war chariot." Rakshasa's eyes widened in astonishment. "His attack power is terrifying and I barely saw him draw his sword." One arrow Dawn glanced back. He walked over, smiling and saying, "Rakshasa, I found you. They said you were on the 10th floor of the demon realm. I've been looking for you everywhere, wasting a lot of time," Dragon King exclaimed in surprise. "Wow, nearly 90,000 damage, one strike to take down the behemoth war chariot." Rakshasa's eyes widened in astonishment. "His attack power is terrifying, and I barely saw him draw his sword." One arrow Dawn glanced back. He walked over, smiling and saying, "Rakshasa, I found you. They said you were on the 10th floor of the demon realm. I've been looking for you everywhere, wasting a lot of time." Rakshasa put his hands in his pockets and said, "One arrow Dawn? I don't think I know you." One arrow Dawn walked up to Rakshasa. "Well, let's get straight to the point. I'm with Dawn and I'm here today to invite you to join." Rakshasa asked suspiciously. "Join? I'm not interested in criminal gangs." One arrow Dawn persuaded. "This world will be occupied by monsters sooner or later. Only by joining Dawn will you have a chance to survive, so I hope you will carefully consider whether you are willing to join." Rakshasa stated his position bluntly. "And if I still refuse to join?" A cold smile appeared on the corner of One arrow Dawn's mouth. He didn't speak, but then he quickly drew his sword. The blade was placed on Rakshasa's shoulder, and his eyes were sinister. "I say, young man, are you really not afraid of death?" Rakshasa glanced at him. Giant God and the others behind him were indignant. Giant God spoke first. "We're not afraid of you," Dragon King echoed. "That's right, all you people do is bad things," Moon Shadow advised. "Rakshasa, don't go with them." Her eyes were firm. "With our current strength, we're definitely no match for you, but I will never bow my head." Rakshasa's eyes were sharp, his expression firm, directly meeting his displeased gaze. After a while he sheathed his sword, turned around and said, "What a group of naive people, ignorant of the immensity of heaven and earth. Rakshasa, we will meet again." Dragon King watched One arrow Dawn walk forward and asked curiously, "Are we just going to let him go like that?" Rakshasa explained, "We are no match for him now." Giant God agreed. "That's right, now is not the time to fight him head on. The most important thing is to become stronger." Rakshasa turned his head and said, "That's right, before he left, Cold Front told me the coordinates of a secret camp in this lair and guaranteed that equipment could be strengthened there." "Let's go there and try," Dragon King exclaimed in surprise. "What? Strengthen equipment?" Dawn in the distance opened the system screen. In the team chat channel, Dawn said, "Ha ha ha, you two were right, he refused to join anti-death. As expected, Mad Blade. Then we can't let him live. Did Big Brother take care of him?" One arrow Dawn. "No, I didn't kill him, Gravedigger." "I don't quite understand, Mad Blade." "I don't understand either. If he's unwilling to join, he'll definitely be our enemy in the future. Big Brother, don't nurture a tiger to invite calamity. Rest in peace, Death." "I think Big Brother definitely has his own plans." Dark Monster agree +1. One arrow Dawn. "Death is right. There's a reason I didn't kill him. Summoning a boss is an extremely rare talent skill, perhaps unprecedented and unparalleled. It would be a pity to kill him. Mad Blade, but he's unwilling to join. No matter how powerful his talent skill is, it's useless to us." One arrow Dawn. "Who says it's useless to us? It's very useful." Gravedigger, Big Brother, please explain. One arrow Dawn. "I already have a plan for this matter, you don't need to worry. Qingda University's entrance exam is coming soon. All the future pillars of the Great Sha Kingdom come from there. Everyone prepare yourselves, Mad Blade. Don't worry, Big Brother. I'll lead people to sneak in and kill all the students." Gravedigger, Mad Blade. "Don't be impulsive. The teachers at Qingda are not just for show." One arrow Dawn's expression was deep. Rakshasa and the others walked forward. Dragon King spoke. "I didn't expect someone to have arrived first." Little Princess pointed to the crowd in front. "It seems we're not the only ones who know about this camp. Others know too. Those two adventurers look very familiar." Rakshasa watched for a while and said, "It's them." Dragon King shouted loudly. "What a narrow escape from an enemy." Chen Shao said unhappily. "It's Rakshasa," Old Gao said coldly without turning his head. "Young Master Chen only needs to do his own thing. There's no need to worry about other things." Chen Shao replied. "Okay." The bald fat man laughed loudly. "S-grade, ha 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 ha. I finally have an S-grade weapon," the blacksmith coldly reminded him. "Give me all the other materials too. This can improve the quality and the probability of successful enhancement, but I'll remind you first, enhancing equipment is not 100% successful. There will be weapon damage. You need to consider carefully." Hearing him say this, Chen Shao was a little unhappy. Rakshasa glanced at it and said, "It seems that the probability of enhancement failure is very high. Weapons can be damaged if you're not careful." Dragon King was a little worried. "That's right, my iron club is only a grade and I can't bear to throw it away." Old Gao reprimanded from behind. Young Master Chen, calm down. It's just a piece of equipment. You're a person who's going to do big things. Don't be obsessed with these little things, Chen Xiao reluctantly agreed. All right. The blacksmith looked at the materials in his hand and said, the weapon's attributes are good. With A-grade materials, the enhancement level will be greatly improved. Then he raised his hammer high and unceremoniously smashed it down on the weapon on the table. Dragon King and Little Princess stood beside him, constantly muttering, failure, 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 failure. Suddenly, there was a ding, and the system prompt said, congratulations, weapon enhancement successful. Chen Xiao heard the prompt and said happily, SS grade, ha 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 ha, attack power 2700 to 2800, haha. Freezing effect lasts for 20 seconds. The freezing effect lasts 10 seconds longer than before, Old Gao said with satisfaction from the side. Good, very good. Little Princess and Dragon King were very angry. HMPH, the heavens are blind. A brown-haired man exclaimed, wow, SS grade. The blacksmith was not surprised and called out. Next, Old Gao glanced at Rakshasa's weapon, thinking Rakshasa's weapon must also be S grade. He can't be underestimated. Chen Xiao said unconvinced. He must have stumbled upon some good luck to get an S-grade weapon. The blacksmith took the bow and asked, do you have any materials? The higher the level, the better. It can greatly improve the enhancement effect. He opened the bag Rakshasa gave him and said in surprise, black gold ore, serpent demon scales and serpent demon tendons. Good, good. These materials are all very useful. The bag was full of trophies of various colors. Old Gao was taken aback when he heard the blacksmith's words. Serpent demon scales, serpent demon tendons. It seems they were all obtained from the serpent demon boss on the 9th floor of the demon realm. Chen Xiao said unhappily, why didn't we get these things when we fought the boss? After receiving the items, the blacksmith started working, hammering down one blow after another. Rakshasa watched his weapon worriedly. The little rabbit next to him smiled and comforted him. Don't worry, brother Rakshasa, it will definitely be enhanced successfully, he replied calmly. Chen Xiao stood beside him, mocking. The probability of enhancement failure is as high as 40%. The higher the equipment level, the higher the probability of failure. I've already succeeded. You may not be so lucky. As soon as he finished speaking, the blacksmith picked up the bow with a smile and said congratulations. At the same time, the system issued a prompt. Congratulations, weapon enhancement successful. Bloodfiend longbow +1, SS grade, damage 3400 to 5500. Effect 1. 20% of the damage caused to the target is converted into your own health. Effect 2. After the target is hit, they suffer a penetration effect, losing 1% of their health per second. The effect lasts for 50 seconds. Durability 900/900s. Rakshasa gripped the bow in his hand and said, oh, the attack power is so high, the minimum is 3400. I don't have to worry about insufficient attack power anymore, Moonshadow said with a smile. Congratulations, Dragon King exclaimed. Rakshasa, you already have an sulfur monosulfide grade weapon, Rakshasa reminded. Everyone go and enhance your weapons too, but Dragon King refused. Forget it, I've always had bad luck, I'll definitely fail. Giant God also said, there are very few Iron Club weapons in the Demon Realm, although Dragon King's weapon is A grade. If it breaks, you won't have a weapon to use. Chen Xiao saw Rakshasa's successful enhancement and cursed angrily. Damn it, I didn't expect him to succeed. Old Gao reminded, young Master Chen, we should go. It's getting late and you still have to prepare for the exam. Chen Xiao replied unhappily. Okay, at this moment, Giant God reminded, it's getting late, everyone should go back to the altar and log off. Dragon King agreed. Alright, I have to go back and see how my dad is doing. Moonshadow also said, okay, I have to prepare for review. Rakshasa said goodbye. Okay, see you tomorrow, Chen Xiao said unhappily. Damn it, I didn't expect him to succeed, Old Gao reminded. Young Master Chen, we should be going. It's getting late and you still need to prepare for your exams. He didn't respond immediately. Alright, he said. At this moment, Titan reminded, it's very late, everyone should return to their offline altars. Dragon King agreed. Alright, I need to go back and check on my father. Moonshadow also said, yes, okay, I need to prepare for my exams too. Rakshasa bid farewell. Okay, see you tomorrow. On a clear day in the martial arts training room, a surprised voice rang out. Wow, really? 1907 kilograms. The screen displayed 1907 kilograms. Zhang Zi was panting and Lu Wei, holding documents, read and recorded. Strength 1907 kilograms, speed 2100 meters in 30 seconds, push-ups exceeding 60 seconds, mental state, stable brain nerve examination, 34 minutes. Oh my goodness, he exclaimed, handing the evaluation form to Zhang Zi. Zhang Zi, your results have truly exceeded my expectations. Zhang Zi happily accepted it. Teacher Lu, I will continue to work hard. Lu Wei waved his hand with a smile. Zhang Zi, you've done very well, you haven't disappointed me. Rest well and focus on preparing for your exams. Zhang Zi also responded with a smile. Okay, I'll be going now. Zhang Zi walked out while wiping his sweat, not noticing a girl who had just passed by him. Tang Chaowei looked around while eating candy. It's here, Tang Chaowei. Seeing the two of them walk in, a group of boys immediately exclaimed, "Who are these two beauties? They look extraordinary, oh my goodness." Their brooches bore the emblem of Qingdai Academy. "They are students from Qingdai Academy." "Really, what are they doing at our school?" the girl next to Chao Wei reminded. "Miss, the testing area is ahead." Tang Chao Wei appeared relaxed and replied softly. Lu Wei, holding a list, asked, "Hello, what's your name?" Tang Chao Wei answered, "Tang Chao Wei." After confirming, Lu Wei announced, "Alright, let's begin." Tang Chao Wei took a deep breath and punched the electronic board with a bang. The screen immediately displayed 1566 kilograms. The students behind exclaimed in surprise, "1566 kilograms, this beauty is amazing." Tang Chao Wei smiled upon hearing this. "How boring. This score must be the highest. What's the point of taking this test? They should just let me into Qingdai Academy directly," a boy retorted. "But she's still not as strong as that student from before," another boy suddenly remembered. "That's right, he reached over 1900 kilograms earlier." Tang Chao Wei turned around in surprise and asked, "What did you just say?" "Someone is stronger than me reached 1900 kilograms. Meanwhile, Zhang Zi, having just returned home, sighed, "I'm exhausted," finally finished the test. But as soon as Zhang Zi entered the house, Xiao Feng cried out worriedly, "Brother, you're back?" Zhang Zi asked concernedly, "Xiao Feng, what's wrong? Why do you look so pale?" Before Zhang Zi's sister could speak, the man's voice sounded, "Zhang Zi is back. Your aunt and uncle are here to see you about something." Xiao Feng looked at her brother worriedly. When he learned who had come, Zhang Zi was very unhappy. They've both been eyeing this house, so their sudden visit can't be good. Although unhappy, he still politely asked, "Aunt and uncle, what brings you here today?" Xiao Feng hurriedly said from the side, "Brother, they're here for money." Zhang Zi was taken aback by his sister's words. "Money?" The aunt sat on the sofa with a fake smile. "What do you mean money? That sounds so harsh. Your Uncle Zhang's younger brother's exam results are out, and he's qualified to be admitted to Dongda University, but as you know, Dongda's tuition isn't cheap." The uncle chimed in from the side. "Your aunt and I are a bit tight financially lately, so we'd like you to advance the tuition for now. After all, your brother got into a good university. You should congratulate him as his older brother, right?" Zhang Zi thought to himself. "Dongda, it's a decent second-tier university, but it's far from Qingdai." The aunt revealed a cunning smile, rubbing her hands as she looked at him. "Don't pretend to be poor with us. You helped the police catch criminals before and got a large sum of money. We saw it on TV." The uncle also said with a sly grin, "That's right, the reward was probably around 600,000, we just need 400,000, you can keep the rest for yourselves." After hearing their words, Zhang Zi said with a smile, "Uncle is right, my brother got into Dongda, I should congratulate him as his older brother." But Xiao Feng next to him was very unhappy. "Why should we? They're shameless." The uncle, seeing his expression, was satisfied, thinking this kid still has a conscience. "If it weren't for us taking care of them after your parents passed away, they probably wouldn't even have a place to live." And the aunt, even more impatient at this moment, began to urge, "Then what are you waiting for? Quickly give the money to your aunt and uncle." But Zhang Zi said calmly, "Don't be anxious, aunt. Today I also participated in the Qingdai Academy test and registration. If I'm lucky enough to be selected, shouldn't aunt and uncle also offer some congratulations?" As soon as he finished speaking, the uncle and aunt exclaimed in surprise, "Qingdai Academy?" The uncle laughed rudely. "Ha ha ha, that's ridiculous. You can get into Qingdai, that's the top martial arts academy in Desha, and the annual enrollment is less than 1% of the total applicants, ha ha ha." The aunt was no exception, mocking, "Ha ha ha, Qingdai Academy. Zhang Zi said he's going to Qingdai Academy. Ha ha ha, did you hear that, uncle?" Zhang Zi didn't care about their ridicule. He just gently handed them the paper to look at. "Don't believe it? Then see for yourselves." Zhang Zi's name was indeed on the paper. Xiao Feng said happily, "Wow, congratulations, brother, you're on the Qingdai Academy admission list." The uncle and aunt couldn't sit still at this moment. They stood up abruptly and shouted loudly, "Impossible, absolutely impossible. There must be a mistake in the list." The uncle pointed at his face angrily. "That's right, it must be a mistake. How could such a good thing happen to a good-for-nothing like you? Don't try to fool me. Quickly bring the money." Zhang Zi sneered. "Heh heh, even if I had money I wouldn't give it to you." With a backer, Xiao Feng also said unyieldingly. "That's right, why should we give you money?" The uncle gritted his teeth, his anger boiling. He raised his hand to hit Xiao Feng, who dodged in fear. Suddenly a hand tightly gripped his wrist and a scream rang out. "Ah!" Zhang Zi tightly grasped his uncle's wrist, displeased and sternly warned, "This is the last time I'll call you uncle. If you dare to lay a finger on my sister again I won't be polite. Now get out of my house immediately." The uncle trembled with anger and pain. "Ah, it hurts, let go." Seeing that they couldn't get anything, the uncle and aunt had no choice but to leave dejectedly, not forgetting to turn back and curse, "You two little brats." Xiao Feng hid behind her brother and made a face at them, watching them glare in anger. After they left, Xiao Feng said happily, "That was so satisfying. I've wanted to give them a piece of my mind for a long time, and today I finally got my wish. Brother, I'm going to tell my friends the news of your admission to Qingdai Academy and let them celebrate with me." Hearing his sister's words, Zhang Zi refused. "Let's forget about it. It's just the admission list, not the official admission yet. What if I get eliminated in the end? Wouldn't that be embarrassing?" But Xiao Feng was very confident. "My brother won't be eliminated. Zhang Zi reminded with a smile. Now that we've driven away those two pests, Xiao Feng, go prepare dinner. I have to go to the demon realm early later. While preparing the meal, Xiao Feng asked curiously, "Oh brother, are you going to the demon realm today too? Aren't we going to celebrate?" Zhang Zi's eyes were firm. "I have to seize the time to improve my strength. If I want to be admitted to Qingdai, I can't be lazy." Xiao Feng obediently replied, "Okay." The 10th level of the demon realm. It's full of white mist and the wind is strong. Little Rabbit asked one arrow through heart with concern. "How did your test go?" He sighed. "Ah, don't mention it, not very well." Rakshasa looked at the shield on Titan's back and congratulated. "Oh brother Titan, congratulations, the shield reinforcement was successful," Titan said with a smile. "After all, we're at the 10th level. I heard that Sword Saint's attack power is terrifying. I'm afraid I can't withstand it without improving my defense," Dragon King laughed loudly. "Haha, Moonshadow's weapon was also successfully reinforced." Rakshasa looked at Moonshadow. "Congratulations," she showed off happily. Someone in the back asked. "Guild leader, everyone is almost here. What's our plan for today?" Rakshasa rested her chin on her hand. "Today we must seize the time to meet the boss of this level, Sword Saint. According to the Demon Realm Manual, the boss of the 10th level of the Demon Realm is a very powerful orc warrior named Sword Saint. His ground-cleaving slash skill is very terrifying. He is as fast as the wind, very calm, and has superb swordsmanship. To defeat him, we need to maintain a firm determination and fight to the death." Rakshasa rested her chin on her hand. "Today we must seize the time to meet the boss of this level, Sword Saint. According to the Demon Realm Manual, the boss of the 10th level of the Demon Realm is a very powerful orc warrior named Sword Saint. His ground-cleaving slash skill is very terrifying. He is as fast as the wind, very calm, and has superb swordsmanship. To defeat him, we need to maintain a firm determination and fight to the death." Dragon King sighed in the back. "Alas, whether we can defeat the boss is uncertain. Let's think of a way to deal with the behemoth war machine first." One arrow through heart agreed. "That's right, we were lucky to have one arrow through Yang last time. Otherwise we archers alone wouldn't be able to defeat that big guy." Moonshadow glanced back. "Regarding this matter, I asked 6th Uncle, and he suggested finding 20 shield warriors to surround the behemoth war machine and then have everyone else concentrate their attacks. However, casualties are inevitable." Hearing her words, Titan was a little worried. "We can't find 20 shield warriors right now." At this moment, Rakshasa said, "Well, I have an idea, but it requires everyone's cooperation." Everyone immediately agreed. "Okay." As soon as she finished speaking, the behemoth war machine appeared. Rakshasa said, "Brother Titan, it's up to you." Titan inserted his shield into the ground. "Just watch." As soon as he finished speaking, the system prompt appeared. Silver Shield, S grade, defense 5800 to 7400. Effect: when the target attacks the shield, it will receive 10% damage reflection, durability 3000. The behemoth kept attacking Titan, but unlike last time, he was not knocked away this time. He gritted his teeth, resisting every attack from the behemoth. Rakshasa reminded everyone in the back, Titan's new shield has a damage reflection effect. This can more stably hold the aggro. Once he has the aggro of the behemoth war machine, we'll start acting. Dragon King gritted his teeth, ready to go. Understood. Waiting for the right moment, Rakshasa shouted loudly. "Very good, the time is right, everyone move." As soon as she finished speaking, Dragon King and Moonshadow had already rushed forward. "Take this, minus 2500, Dragon King. Minus 7520, Moonshadow." Hearing the system prompt, Dragon King gritted his teeth and exclaimed, "Wow Moonshadow, your attack power is so high." Rakshasa had already drawn her bow and aimed. A powerful arrow shot out straight into the orc's chest. Minus 6177, Rakshasa. The orc fell to the ground motionless. The archers behind said in surprise, "Even more powerful than the guild leader, this damage is amazing." The behemoth war machine, having lost the orc controlling it, went berserk, throwing all the remaining orcs on its back off. Titan loudly reminded, "Be careful, the behemoth is going berserk." Rakshasa frowned, passing Titan and Moonshadow. "Brother Titan, you two take care of those orc warriors. I'll chase the behemoth war machine." The two were surprised but agreed, "Okay." Rakshasa, leading a few people, explained while drawing her bow, "While the behemoth is berserk and has no aggro target, we'll attack while chasing it." Everyone shouted in unison. "Understood." Prompt sounds kept ringing out. Minus 323, minus 298, minus 412, minus 323, minus 298, minus 412, she encouraged. "Everyone keep it up, this guy has a lot of health, at least 50,000, we have to take it down before it recovers." And the two orcs over there had stood up ready to attack. They rushed towards Titan and the others. Titan, holding his shield, ordered. Dragon King Moonshadow seized the opportunity to attack. As soon as he finished speaking, Moonshadow stepped forward and responded, "Understood." Flashes of light passed, and she consecutively slashed the orcs 3 times. Minus 4876, Moonshadow. Minus 5018, Moonshadow. Minus 4931, Moonshadow. Before Dragon King could make a move, seeing the scene before him, he exclaimed in surprise, "My goodness Moonshadow, your damage is so high now." Titan was also surprised. "It seems that S-grade weapons are indeed extraordinary." Then Dragon King shouted while making his move, I want to upgrade my weapon too. After a few moves, the two orcs were also dead, and Dragon King said happily. Finally solved, Moonshadow reminded. We need to catch up with Rakshasa and the others as soon as possible. Otherwise, they'll be in danger when the behemoth's berserk state ends. Titan and the others quickly ran forward. That's right, let's go. As they approached, they found Rakshasa and the others still fighting fiercely with the behemoth war machine. Moonshadow gritted her teeth, thinking, we must seize the time. Before the berserk state ends, we must hold the behemoth's aggro, otherwise Rakshasa will be in danger. And Rakshasa hadn't noticed their arrival yet. He calculated in his mind. We must end the battle as soon as possible. I hope this attack can land a critical hit. He raised the bow in his hand high, aiming with a tense expression. An arrow decisively shot into the behemoth's head, and the prompt sounded, -1577 Rakshasa critical hit. The behemoth roared in pain. Rakshasa's eyes narrowed. Success, Moonshadow opened her mouth wide. Wow, the damage is terrifyingly high. The behemoth instantly disappeared, and a pile of loot dropped down. One arrow through heart cheered happily. Success, Rakshasa reminded. Everyone go clean up the battlefield. Titan praised with a smile. Rakshasa, your damage has increased a lot. Rakshasa didn't refuse the praise. That's right, but I have an even bigger surprise, Moonshadow guessed in surprise. Could it be you? Rakshasa said while summoning. That's right, come out my mount. As soon as he finished speaking, the behemoth he had just subdued was summoned back, and at this moment he was standing on the behemoth's head. The people below kept exclaiming. One quiet opened her mouth wide in surprise. My goodness, the guild leader can actually summon a behemoth, Titan said happily. Rakshasa's summoning technique is truly amazing, Rakshasa waved from above. Brother Titan, now that we have a behemoth mount, you won't have to work so hard in the future. One arrow, you come up too and be responsible for observing enemy movements. One arrow walked towards the behemoth and replied, Understood, Dragon King laughed loudly. Ha ha ha, Rakshasa, you're too powerful. At this rate, we'll be invincible. Rakshasa clenched his fist and said affirmatively, As long as we kill a few more behemoths, everyone can ride a behemoth. By then we'll become a behemoth legion. Ha ha ha. Their powerful team moved forward together, attracting the attention of the people around them. Suddenly, one arrow through heart pointed forward and warned, Attention, there are monsters ahead. The Dragon King stood beside the giant beast excitedly saying, Haha, Rakshasa, you are truly powerful. At this rate, we will be invincible. Zhang Zi clenched his fist, his eyes resolute, and said, As long as we kill a few more giant beasts, everyone will be able to ride them. By then we will become the Giant Beast Legion, ha ha ha. Zhang Zi and 3 others rode on the back of the giant beast while the rest stood below. Suddenly, one arrow heart-piercing pointed forward and shouted, Attention, there are monsters ahead. A giant beast appeared in front, with people riding on it. Seeing this, Zhang Zi ordered, perfect for testing the power of the giant beast. Charge directly. Before he finished speaking, Zhang Zi immediately drew his bow and aimed. His arrow hit the monster controlling the giant beast in the enemy's formation, and the out-of-control giant beast immediately roared. Zhang Zi seized the opportunity and shouted, Accelerate, charge. Under his control, the giant beast immediately approached the opponent's giant beast and crowd. Their giant beast slammed into the side of the opponent's giant beast. Giant God immediately rushed towards the monster crowd, raising his shield and instructing, Moonshadow, Dragon King, go, end the battle quickly. Moonshadow and the Dragon King obeyed, immediately rushing forward to engage in battle, both replying in unison, yes. On this side, Zhang Zi was instructing the archers, all ranged attacks, focus on the giant beast. The archers behind him received the order and shouted, yes. As soon as the words fell, countless arrows flew out, shooting towards the giant beast. To end this battle, Zhang Zi raised his bow, exuding a fierce aura, and said, It's my turn, grant it rebirth. My arrow shot out, hitting the giant beast and ending the battle instantly. Looking at the dropped items and the giant beast already in his possession, the Dragon King laughed happily. Haha, I'll be riding a giant beast soon. After a while, Zhang Zi's team had captured countless giant beasts, and the entire team's morale was soaring. People around them were talking about Zhang Zi's team, with someone saying, Did you all hear? I heard that someone on the 10th floor is controlling giant beast chariots, forming a giant beast legion. I heard they're from the Demon Realm Administration. I've only heard of adventurers with talent skills who can control giant beast chariots with their minds, making those giants obedient. On this side, the Dragon King stood on the giant beast, shouting excitedly, My goodness, this is amazing, this feeling is incredible, ha ha ha. Zhang Zi, who was sitting on the giant beast controlling it, was also happy. He said with a fierce aura, Hee hee, forward, find the boss, the beast human swordsman, here we come. A moment later, Zhang Zi and his group arrived at the boss's cave. He reminded everyone, The boss, the beast human swordsman, is ahead. Everyone be prepared. This might be the toughest opponent we've ever faced. Everyone around him answered in unison, yes. Then Zhang Zi turned and instructed one arrow heart-piercing. The Demon Realm Handbook clearly states that to defeat the beast human swordsman, we must fight to the death. One arrow, you lead the ranged attack group to provide support from the surroundings. One arrow heart-piercing answered excitedly, yes. The huge cave door opened and Zhang Zi took the lead. Its subordinates followed behind, entering the cave in single file. Inside the cave was only a giant beast, its entire body crimson red. It was lying on the ground with a faint human figure sitting on its back. That was the beast-human swordsman, holding a wine glass and leisurely sitting on a throne on the giant beast's back. He saw someone entering the cave and grinned, revealing a hostile smile. He drew the sword beside him and said smugly, "Foolish humans daring to invade my beast clan's territory, I will kill you all." Seeing this, Giant God immediately raised his shield, protecting everyone behind him. He said with concern, "He is very fast. Everyone retreat behind my shield." As soon as he finished speaking, he looked up and the beast-human swordsman had disappeared from the throne. In the blink of an eye, he had appeared in front of Giant God's shield, raising his sword and saying fiercely, "You will become the souls under my sword." He swung his sword towards Zhang Zi and the others. The shock of the slash kicking up clouds of dust, Giant God did his best to block with his shield. Zhang Zi on the side drew his bow, preparing for battle while keeping an eye on the time, 3 seconds. The beast-human swordsman could strike every 3 seconds. Seeing this, the Dragon King exclaimed in surprise, "My goodness, the cooldown time of this beast-human swordsman's skill is so short, or does it not need a cooldown at all?" Zhang Zi turned to the Dragon King and spoke of the time he had observed, 3 seconds. "Everyone be careful. The boss's attack interval is 3 seconds, the Dragon King replied happily. "Okay, Rakshasa, observe his techniques carefully." As soon as he finished speaking, Zhang Zi, hiding behind Giant God's shield, immediately drew his bow. He suddenly shot an arrow at the beast-human swordsman, startling him and causing him to freeze. But just as the arrow was about to hit him, the beast-human swordsman reacted in time, splitting Zhang Zi's arrow in two. Taking advantage of the beast-human swordsman's momentary distraction, Zhang Zi immediately shouted his orders, "Dragon King, Moonshadow, now's your chance." The two shouted in unison. "Yes!" Moonshadow and the Dragon King charged forward to attack the beast-human swordsman at the same time, but as soon as the Dragon King's staff came down, the beast-human swordsman vanished in an instant. The beast-human swordsman used shift, instantly appearing far behind the two of them, mocking, "Amateurish." Seeing this, the Dragon King cursed angrily. "He can teleport?" Not only that, the beast-human swordsman immediately swung his sword towards the two of them, shouting, "Chopped into mincemeat." Zhang Zi was shocked and warned loudly, "Careful, it's a full-screen slash." A huge tornado appeared, with the beast-human swordsman in the center, controlling the tornado to attack the Dragon King and Moonshadow, who were doing their best to defend. The Dragon King cursed helplessly. "Damn it, he's too fast and he doesn't need a cooldown. How can we fight?" Little Princess noticed something and turned back to warn everyone. "Oh no, the red giant beast chariot is also charging to attack us." The red giant beast charged fiercely towards Zhang Zi and the others. Then it slammed into Zhang Zi's giant beast, knocking the giant beast to the ground, and the people on the giant beast's back were thrown off. Here the beast-human swordsman suddenly appeared, swinging his sword at Giant God and Moonshadow. Moonshadow shouted anxiously, "Careful!" The beast-human swordsman continued to slash at them, and Giant God repeatedly blocked with his shield. He said laboriously, "We need to find a way. We can't counterattack like this." Zhang Zi immediately turned and instructed one arrow heart-piercing. "One arrow, you command the giant beast chariots to attack and eliminate that red giant beast. I'll deal with the swordsman." One arrow heart-piercing followed his orders and immediately replied, "Yes, Captain. We'll take care of that red guy." On this side, Zhang Zi's team's giant beasts were besieging the red giant beast. Zhang Zi slapped the ground, casting a summoning spell, and shouted, "Come out, High Priest. Let him see the power of dark magic." The High Priest immediately emerged, holding a scepter and casting dark magic. The High Priest threw magic at the beast-human swordsman, shouting, "Accept your punishment." The High Priest's dark magic instantly flew towards the beast-human swordsman. But before it even touched his skin, the dark magic was split in two. Seeing this, Zhang Zi, the Dragon King, and Moonshadow all exclaimed in surprise. "What? My goodness, his blade can actually split dark magic," Little Princess also exclaimed in horror. "This beast-human swordsman is too strong," Moonshadow provided information. "I heard my sixth uncle say that only adventurers rated as grandmasters or above can use physical attacks to counter magical attacks. I didn't expect this boss could do it." Zhang Zi, listening to this, drew his bow while exclaiming, "This is completely unexpected." Little Princess pointed at the beast-human swordsman and warned everyone loudly, "Hurry, find a way, he's charging again." Before anyone noticed, the beast-human swordsman had already rushed in front of Zhang Zi. He swung his sword, aiming to attack Zhang Zi, shouting brutally, "Die!" Giant God appeared in front of Zhang Zi like lightning, blocking the beast-human swordsman's sword with his shield. But the beast-human swordsman didn't stop. He attacked continuously, and Giant God struggled to block. He said laboriously to Zhang Zi, "Rakshasa, we can't hold on like this." The Dragon King, seeing the situation was dire, suggested, "Yeah, maybe we should retreat for now." Zhang Zi immediately agreed with the Dragon King's suggestion. He ordered everyone, "Retreat, okay, everyone retreat. Let's leave here and find another way." Giant God replied, "Yes." Seeing they were about to leave, the beast-human swordsman shouted angrily, "You lowly creatures don't even think about escaping." As soon as he finished speaking, he immediately formed a full-screen slash tornado, charging towards Zhang Zi and the others who were trying to retreat. Seeing that they couldn't leave easily, Giant God raised his shield to block, shouting back, "You guys retreat first, I'll hold him off." At this moment, Moonshadow suddenly pointed at the high priest and shouted, "Not good, Rakshasa, your high priest." On the other side, the high priest had already been swept into the beast-human swordsman's full-screen slash, shouting in pain, "Ah!" After a scream, the high priest vanished instantly. Moonshadow saw the high priest being eliminated. She said regretfully, "What a pity, the high priest has fallen in battle." Even so, Zhang Zi remained very calm. He raised his hand to cast a spell, even comforting Moonshadow. "No need to regret it. The content of the Demon Realm Handbook is quite reliable. The only way to deal with this boss is to persevere to the end." At this moment, the High Priest was lying in the center of the arena, its magic power surging outwards with Zhang Zi's spell. After a moment, its hands suddenly grew long claws and scales grew on its hands. The High Priest had completed its transformation, turning into a snake demon. A system prompt sounded, "High Priest, your summoned follower has transformed into a snake demon." At the same time, Zhang Zi also summoned the Centaur General to fight, saying to everyone, "Since we have to persevere to the end, let's fight him to the death." The snake demon used its agility to quickly slither and attack the beast-human swordsman. The Centaur General also charged up at the same time. The beast-human swordsman, fearless, immediately charged forward, shouting loudly, "A bunch of lowly creatures daring to desecrate my beast clan's territory, die." As soon as he finished speaking, the beast-human swordsman cast a full-screen slash again, and the snake demon and the Centaur General struggled to resist. The Centaur General used his spear, gritting his teeth and fighting hard. The snake demon, on the other hand, bared its fangs, trying to attack the beast-human swordsman, hissing. Seeing that the situation was under control, Giant God quickly said, "Dragon King, Moonshadow, the snake demon, and the Centaur General are holding back the swordsman. Let's take this opportunity to attack him together." The Dragon King and Moonshadow, upon hearing this, immediately agreed, and the two rushed towards the beast-human swordsman. The swordsman split into three, blocking attacks from all directions. Zhang Zi, seeing Moonshadow suddenly freeze, asked with concern, "Moonshadow, why are you spacing out? Attack!" Moonshadow immediately snapped out of her daze. She raised her sword, preparing to attack the swordsman again, and said, "Ah, sorry. I suddenly found the beast-human swordsman's moves very exquisite, so I couldn't help but watch and learn. Sorry, but I found a weakness of the swordsman." Hearing this, Zhang Zi asked her excitedly, what weakness?" She immediately pointed at the swordsman, saying urgently, "Just look and see if you don't believe me. He can't dodge when he attacks, and the damage he takes when attacked is very high." Zhang Zi observed as Moonshadow said, then agreed, "That's right, the swordsman doesn't defend when he starts attacking. But his skill damage is too terrifying," Moonshadow continued. "That's why the Demon Realm Handbook records that the only way to deal with him is to persevere to the end." On the other side, the Snake Demon and the Centaur General continued to attack from one side, while Giant God and the Dragon King blocked from the other. Suddenly, the swordsman gritted his teeth and shouted, "You lowly creatures will turn to dust." As he spoke, he swung his sword, slashing at the general. The Centaur General was hit, shouting in pain, "Ah!" The general fell to the ground, gradually disappearing into the air. A prompt sounded again. "Centaur General, your summoned follower has fallen." Zhang Zi stood aside, watching the general being eliminated, powerless to help. He was furious. "Yang Kun, go!" Aiming at the beast-human swordsman, he shouted loudly, "Damn it, you actually killed my elite general!" While drawing his bow, he instructed, "Dragon King, Moonshadow, find an opportunity, attack his weakness together." The Dragon King and Moonshadow rushed to support him. Looking at Zhang Zi's position, the Dragon King shouted worriedly, "Rakshasa, retreat quickly. Your defense is too low, it's dangerous." Zhang Zi appeared behind the beast-human swordsman in an instant. The swordsman noticed him and immediately turned around in the blink of an eye. The swordsman was in front of Zhang Zi, waving his swords with both hands, trying to slash at Zhang Zi's head. He said viciously, "Your courage is commendable, but you can't escape death." Zhang Zi quickly jumped to a high place, dodging the swordsman's sharp blades. He said calmly to the beast-human swordsman, "Competing in damage is certainly not an option. I can only use speed to fight to the death." He jumped behind the beast-human swordsman like lightning. The swordsman was very surprised. He looked back, saying in surprise, How is it possible to dodge?" At this moment, Zhang Zi quickly drew his bow and nocked an arrow. The arrow was on the string. He said quickly, "Dragon King, Moonshadow, now is the time." Zhang Zi pondered for a moment, starting to plan in his mind. Competing in damage is definitely not an option. He continued to analyze. He can only use speed to fight to the death. After speaking, Zhang Zi did not hesitate to quickly jump to a high place, dodging the swordsman's attack. The swordsman found that Zhang Zi could dodge his attacks and couldn't help but say to himself in surprise, How is it possible to dodge?" As the beast-human swordsman revealed an opening, Zhang Zi immediately drew his bow and fired, saying confidently to the Dragon King and Moonshadow. Now, with determination in their eyes, the Dragon King and Moonshadow shouted in unison, "Die!" -7,110 Moonshadow, -3,947 Dragon King. Zhang Zi pulled his bow hard, shooting towards the swordsman's chest. Caught off guard, the swordsman roared in pain. "Ah!" -6,711 Rakshasa, the swordsman said to Zhang Zi in pain. "Human you," he stammered. "One." After saying that, the swordsman collapsed to the ground. 0%, the Dragon King asked in surprise. We won. Zhang Zi's system suddenly issued a prompt congratulations. You have successfully defeated the swordsman. Zhang Zi said to the Dragon King and Moonshadow in a deep voice, That's right, we defeated the swordsman. One Arrow, hearing his confirmation, shouted happily. Yeah, he said excitedly. Did we defeat the boss of the 10th floor? Little Light Rabbit also shouted excitedly. Am I dreaming? I never thought I could reach the 11th floor. Another teammate of Zhang Zi praised, Captain is amazing. Zhang Zi, while staring at the place where the swordsman fell, said, To subdue him, I sacrificed a centaur general. After saying that, he immediately ordered to subdue the swordsman. Swordsman, awaken. The swordsman quickly awoke, following Zhang Zi's command. Yes, master. Zhang Zi's tone was somewhat serious as he lowered his voice to command the swordsman, Let me see your power. Send this giant beast chariot back home with continuous orders. The swordsman gripped his sword tightly, stating resolutely, Yes, master. As soon as he finished speaking, the swordsman unhesitatingly drew his sword, launching a series of attacks on the giant beast. Zhang Zi's system chimed again with notifications. Deduction of 18,944 swordsmen. Deduction of 20,894 swordsmen. After a fierce battle, the giant beast finally fell under the swordsman's blade. Archer 1 muttered to himself, puzzled. We fought for so long with so many people and couldn't take it down, yet he finished it in the blink of an eye, he continued. The swordsman's damage is outrageous. Archer 1 kept grumbling, thousands of points of damage with just a few swings. He lowered his voice and asked, Is that even real? Archer 1 spoke to Zhang Zi with a tone of admiration. Looks like no one is stronger than the guild leader. Sensing something amiss, Zhang Zi asked, Archer 1, what's wrong? He continued with a worried tone. Were there any casualties? Archer 1, while operating his system screen, said to Zhang Zi, 3 Archer brothers have disappeared. He began to explain, I checked their names on the friend list, but they're gone. Zhang Zi's tone was uneasy as he affirmed, They're probably gone for good. Zhang Zi pondered for a moment, then began to analyze, The demon realm is indeed a dangerous and cruel place. You all need to be mentally prepared. He continued to explain, his tone carrying a hint of consolation. We don't need to be overly saddened either. Zhang Zi lowered his voice, reminding Archer 1, Go and inquire. He continued to remind him. Does anyone in the guild know those 3? He added. Then allocate some money from the guild fund as condolence money for their families. Archer 1 quickly acknowledged the order, yes. Without any hesitation, Zhang Zi immediately urged everyone, It's getting late. His tone carried concern. Everyone has been fighting for 6 hours, he firmly asserted. Let's head to the 11th floor altar quickly. The Dragon King's tone couldn't hide his excitement as he eagerly replied, All right, he said, his face beaming with joy. I didn't expect we could actually reach the 11th floor. He couldn't contain his inner excitement as he said to Zhang Zi, This is too thrilling. Before heading to the 11th floor of the demon realm, Zhang Zi didn't forget to remind everyone, we still have a long journey ahead. The scene shifted to the 11th floor of the demon realm, where one person asked softly, Where is this? He continued, puzzled. Is this a port? Zhang Zi quickly explained, Didn't you read the demon realm handbook? He continued to explain, The battleground on the 11th floor is at sea. Zhang Zi continued to analyze for everyone, We must board that ship. He asserted, Set sail and head towards our final destination. One person said with a hint of disgust, I hate the sea. I get seasick. Archer 1 lowered his voice and said to Zhang Zi, Everyone is tired today, he continued. It seems we'll have to wait until tomorrow to start exploring this floor. Zhang Zi, hearing Archer 1's words, expressed his understanding saying, Yes, I might not be able to come for the next few days. He continued to explain, I have some things to take care of. Moonshadow also quickly explained, Sorry. She smiled slightly and continued, I might not be able to come for the next few days either. The Dragon King's tone was also somewhat awkward as he interjected. Me too, he stammered as he began to explain. There's an entrance exam recently, he continued to explain. The Academic Affairs Office has assigned us tasks. The little princess frowned helplessly and said, I can't stand you Qingdai Academy people. Her tone carried a hint of disdain as she continued. They won't even spend money to hire people for recruitment. Zhang Zi, hearing the Dragon King's words, thought thoughtfully, realizing that Qingdai University's entrance exam lasted for several days. He continued with a surprised tone. I didn't expect they were all from Qingdai. He lowered his voice and speculated, Does that mean I'll see them in the real world soon? One of Zhang Zi's friends said to him, Forget it, let's make plans after everyone is done with their tasks. He continued, It's indeed too tiring today. His tone carried a hint of concern as he added, Go back and rest early. Zhang Zi nodded slightly, expressing his agreement. Okay. The scene shifted to Starshine City. Zhang Zi, seeing Qingdai Academy in front of him, couldn't hide his surprise. This is Qingdai Academy. His tone carried a hint of excitement as he continued. It's a pillar of the great Sha nation. Sun Ruotong's voice quickly sounded, Hello classmate. She also said, Could you please help me with directions? Sun Ruotong quickly explained, My eyes can't see clearly. Zhang Zi replied without hesitation, It's a small matter. He continued, Let me guide you. Sun Ruotong, while holding Zhang Zi's arm, said, Thank you. She began to introduce herself. My name is Sun Ruotong. She softly asked Zhang Zi, What's your name? Are you also a freshman this year? Zhang Zi replied cheerfully, "My name is Zhang Zi." He also affirmed, "I'm a freshman too." Sun Ruotong began to complain. "Alas, everyone says Qingdai is hard to get into, and many people will be eliminated." Her tone was somewhat worried as she continued to say to Zhang Zi, "I'm very worried." A college student noticed that Sun Ruotong couldn't see and said with a hint of mockery, "What's going on here?" He emphasized, "A blind person like you is qualified to take the Qingdai exam?" He kept mocking, "Is there some kind of mistake?" His friend also openly expressed his disdain. "The admission quota for Qingdai Academy is so precious." He continued to grumble. "How can it be given to a blind person?" He kept muttering. "How can a blind person fight monsters in the demon realm?" Another person quickly chimed in. "Exactly. I don't know what the Academy is thinking." His tone carried a hint of contempt as he continued. "They shouldn't have let such a disabled person register," he said with some regret. "It's such a waste." Zhang Zi, hearing their words, immediately comforted Sun Ruotong. "Ignore them." He continued to comfort her. "You only need to prove yourself with your strength, then you'll be qualified to enter the academy." Sun Ruotong smiled gently and said, "Thank you, Zhang Zi." The scene shifts to the registration area. Guan Shanwai urgently urged the people around him. Line up, be careful, one by one." Zhang Zi stared at Guan Shanwai, muttering to himself, "Good heavens, he looks just like the Dragon King." Guan Shanwai noticed Zhang Zi staring at him and asked loudly with an unfriendly tone, "Hey, why are you staring at me?" He began to question. "Is there something interesting on my face?" He kept urging Zhang Zi, "Quickly show your credentials and get in line." Guan Shanwai looked at Zhang Zi's name tag for a long time, then said to Yang, "Titan, this kid is in your hands," he ordered in a low voice. "Take him to student dormitory N13. Yang helplessly reminded Guan Shanwai, "Hey old Guan, don't call me by my demon realm name here." Guan Shanwai quickly replied, "Oh got it old D." Yang said to Zhang Zi happily, "Hello new classmate," he began to introduce. "I'll take you to student dormitory N13, he continued. "If your luggage is too heavy," he confidently added, "I can give you a hand." Zhang Zi waved to Yang, analyzing in his mind, "So the hot-tempered Dragon King is called Guan Shanwai and Titan is called Yang." The scene shifted to the N13 male dormitory area. Yang introduced Zhang Zi as they walked. "The N13 dormitory is just ahead," he began to explain. "After you arrive, you can rest for a bit." He emphasized, "Assemble in the auditorium at 5 o'clock. He didn't forget to remind him, "Don't be late." Zhang Zi nodded and said to Yang, "Okay, thank you, I've got it." After speaking, he cheerfully waved goodbye and said to Yang, "Thank you, I've got the key, see you later." Yang also replied with a gentle smile, "See you later." He thought to himself, somewhat surprised, "That's strange, why does he look so familiar?" The scene shifted to the auditorium, where Lei Zhenlong seriously reminded everyone, "Quiet down, everyone." He began to speak. "Let's welcome Principal Ran Tianchu with a round of applause as he comes to the stage to speak." Ran Tianchu began to speak. "Good evening, students." He continued to introduce himself. "I am the principal of this prestigious school with a 100-year history." Ran Tianchu couldn't hide his pride as he spoke eloquently. "I hope to cultivate everyone to become pillars of the nation," he confidently affirmed. "This is also our school's mission." Some students seemed impatient and began to complain. "The principal is too long-winded." Others nodded in agreement. "Exactly, let's get to the point. What are the admission standards for this year?" Then Lei Zhenlong walked onto the stage. "Thank you, Principal Ran Tianchu, for your wonderful speech," he said crisply. "Congratulations to everyone for meeting the Qingdai Academy's admission standards. These don't mean you've officially become our school's students." Lei Zhenlong began to analyze. "Next, I'll announce what everyone is most concerned about." He continued to explain to the students, "This year's entrance exam rules will still be an elimination system." Lei Zhenlong announced the exam location without hesitation. The exam location is the designated wheel ship area outside the city, with an area of approximately 200 hectares. He emphasized seriously, "Starting at 8 p.m. tonight," he didn't forget to remind the students, "everyone must survive in this place for 72 hours. Lei Zhenlong's expression suddenly turned serious as he continued. "You are not allowed to carry any items, including but not limited to food, drinking water, communication tools, weapons," he kept reminding them, to ensure the fairness of the exam. Lei Zhenlong continued, "Within the wheel ship area, 26 tokens have been placed," he kept emphasizing. "Those who obtain a token within 72 hours will pass the exam and become official Qingdai students." Lei Zhenlong's tone carried a hint of regret as he continued to announce. "Unfortunately," he continued, "those who do not pass the exam will leave Qingdai," he also said, "and seek other opportunities." Lei Zhenlong continued to announce to all the students, "During the exam we will randomly drop emergency supply packages." He began to analyze for the students. "They will help you overcome difficulties," he also emphasized. "As for who can get these things, it will depend on everyone's luck and personal strength." Lei Zhenlong continued, "Finally, I'd like to emphasize a few more points. This exam has no scope restrictions," he also said. "Everyone can fully demonstrate their talents," he continued. "Anything is acceptable, using force or schemes." His tone suddenly turned stern as he continued. "As long as you ultimately obtain a token, you will pass the exam." Lei Zhenlong didn't forget to remind the students, however, killing fellow students is strictly prohibited, he announced in a low voice. We have installed many surveillance devices in the wheel ship area. He reminded them, don't break the rules, he also said, otherwise you will be disqualified from admission and sent to prison. One of the students hurriedly raised his hand, interrupting Lei Zhenlong's speech. Teacher, are there any demon realm monsters in the wheel ship area? He also asked. Is our safety guaranteed? Lei Zhenlong explained slowly. The wheel ship area has been inspected and there are no demon realm monsters, he continued to reassure them. You can rest assured about safety. Lei Zhenlong also analyzed. Furthermore, if anyone wants to withdraw, he continued, simply find a surveillance device and ask for help. He also said, after that you will be arranged to leave the exam location. He didn't forget to remind them. At the same time you will be considered to have given up the exam. Lei Zhenlong hurriedly urged. If there are no other questions, his tone was somewhat serious as he added, please hand over your personal belongings. Lei Zhenlong kept reminding the students, the buses outside the auditorium will take you to the exam location. Some students, as they walked towards the bus, said with a hint of dissatisfaction, we have to hand over our personal belongings? You won't even let us bring weapons, he added. Some other students also expressed their agreement. Exactly, isn't that too harsh? From a distance, Zhang Zi saw Sun Ruotong being pushed around by the crowd. He quickly grabbed her wrist and comforted her. Let me help you get on the bus, Sun Ruotong asked doubtfully. Are you, Zhang Zi? She smiled slightly and continued, thank you. Zhang Zi replied calmly, we're all classmates, no need to be polite. Ran Tianchu observed Zhang Zi and said to Shi Qing, Zhang Zi, Peng Tihua told me a few days ago that he just took a new disciple, he continued. I think his name is Zhang Zi. He immediately ordered. Shi Qing, go check it out. Shi Qing lowered his voice and replied crisply, yes, principal. I didn't expect Professor Pang to take another disciple. Zhang Zi and Sun Ruotong quickly boarded the bus and headed to the exam location. Zhang Zi looked out the bus window at the night scenery and said to Sun Ruotong, it's too dark outside and the sky is gloomy. You can't see anything. Sun Ruotong guessed seriously, it's going to rain. Zhang Zi was surprised to hear Sun Ruotong say that and asked, how do you know? Sun Ruotong pondered for a moment and began to explain. I heard it with my ears, she continued. I heard faint thunder about 10 kilometers away, it will be here soon. Sun Ruotong continued to explain to Zhang Zi, although my eyes can't see, but my hearing is extremely sensitive, she emphasized. She continued, I can distinguish thousands of sounds, she affirmed seriously. Based on these, I can know everything that's happening around me. Sun Ruotong guessed without hesitation. The two boys sitting in the 5th row in front are working together secretly, and they will help each other in the exam, she continued to guess. The chubby girl sitting in the 9th row is complaining because she ate too much lunch, she also said. And the one sitting in the 14th row, Zhang Zi couldn't help but admire. Ruotong, your hearing is amazing, he quickly suggested. I'd like us to work together to pass the exam. I'll be your eyes. Zhang Zi's tone carried a hint of admiration as he said, at the same time your hearing can be of great help. Sun Ruotong cheered happily when she heard this. Great, she said with a gentle smile. I agree. Sun Ruotong smiled softly and said, Zhang Zi, you're a good person, she continued to praise. Whether or not I can stay after this exam, she affirmed seriously. I hope you can become a Qingdai student. The Qingdai Academy students were quickly transported to the exam location. Lei Zhenlong didn't forget to remind the students, this is the exam area. He continued, you can move freely. He also said, remember to pay attention to the information on your communicator. He continued, I wish you all the best in passing the exam. Lei Zhenlong began to explain to the students, tokens and the first batch of emergency supply packages have been released into the area. He began his analysis stating that red signifies tokens. He added that yellow represents emergency supply kits. Lei Zhenlong further added, note, location information will be updated every 8 hours. After listening to Lei Zhenlong's explanation, the students did not hesitate and rushed toward various directions of the examination hall. They constantly reminded themselves, quick, we're almost there. First come, first served. Let's go. Sun Ruotong hurriedly urged Zhang Zi. Let's move quickly too, she emphasized, otherwise the tokens will be taken by others. And gently and seriously reassured Zhang Zi. Don't worry about me, she also said, lest I become a burden to you. Zhang Zi stated firmly, we're not going for the tokens, he continued. Let's find the emergency supply kits first, Sun Ruotong asked, somewhat bewildered. Why? Zhang Zi, while holding Sun Ruotong's hand, explained, tokens are more important than emergency supply kits, he said. Tokens are indeed very important. He continued to explain to Sun Ruotong, but there are still 72 hours until the end of the exam, and repeatedly emphasized, only with sufficient supplies can we survive. Zhang Zi confidently said to Sun Ruotong, only by staying alive can we have a chance to seize the tokens. He continued to reassure her, trust me, and said, the exam has just begun. Zhang Zi, while leading the way, said to Sun Ruotong, about 8 hours have passed, and said the tokens must have already been taken. Zhang Zi explained in a low voice, we must find a place to hide and rest. He continued, until the second round of emergency supply kits appears. Sun Ruotong said to Zhang Zi with a hint of joy. Zhang Zi, 10 meters away from here to the left, she continued to speculate. It seems to be a basement. Zhang Zi let out a surprised "oh" upon hearing her say that. Sun Ruotong confirmed seriously, it's definitely here. Zhang Zi suppressed his surprise and asked, how did you find it? Sun Ruotong explained without hesitation. I heard the sound of mice from below, she added, so I guessed it must be a large space. After saying that, Zhang Zi and Sun Ruotong quickly entered the basement. Zhang Zi said with a hint of admiration. Your hearing is sharper than radar, he continued to say to Sun Ruotong. The location information has indeed been updated. He also said, the second batch of emergency supply kits has been dropped, and speculated. One of the kits is very close to us. Before leaving, Zhang Zi did not forget to say to Sun Ruotong, you stay here first, and continued. I'll go get the supply kit. Sun Ruotong reminded Zhang Zi in a low voice, okay Zhang Zi, be careful. Zhang Zi said with a hint of joy. Great, and continued, no one has taken this supply kit. Just as Zhang Zi was running quickly towards the supply kit, an arrow suddenly shot at him from somewhere. Do you want to die? The person holding the bow and arrow warned angrily. This supply kit is ours, and continued to threaten. If you dare to snatch it, don't blame me for being impolite. Zhang Zi calculated silently in his mind that the opponents outnumbered him and had weapons. He analyzed that a direct confrontation was not suitable, and getting the supply kit was more important. After saying that, Zhang Zi picked up the supply kit without hesitation and left quickly. The person holding the bow and arrow cursed through clenched teeth. Damn it, he continued to curse. He got away. Hawk also said with some surprise. He's too fast, he asked repeatedly with doubt. I wonder what his attribute values are. Zhang Zi told Sun Ruotong softly. I'm back. Sun Ruotong quickly responded. Zhang Zi, you're back? Zhang Zi asked vigilantly. Who's there? Lu Yuying's cousin replied. Are you Zhang Zi? Zhang Zi's tone suddenly turned cold, and he continued. Who are you? He added. I don't seem to know you. Lu Yuying's cousin said confidently. Humph. Are you Zhang Zi, the top student in the exam? She continued with a hint of smugness. I'm not convinced. She provoked repeatedly. I want to fight you. Before she could finish, her stomach growled loudly from hunger. Zhang Zi, while opening the supply kit, said, it's compressed biscuits again. He began to analyze. If we eat sparingly, it should be enough for us until the end of the exam. Sun Ruotong said somewhat awkwardly, it's so cold. She added that it would be nice to have hot water. Lu Yuying's cousin spoke up. I have a lighter, she continued to suggest. How about trading it for your compressed biscuits, she said. That way you can make a fire. Zhang Zi reminded her sternly. You can only have one piece, he continued coldly. After you finish eating, find food yourself. Lu Yuying's cousin said with some dissatisfaction. How is one piece enough? She complained repeatedly. Damn entrance exam, she complained repeatedly. If I had known it would be so miserable, and added. I wouldn't have participated even if I were killed. Zhang Zi said with some urgency. The biscuits are finished, he emphasized. Shouldn't you leave? Lu Yuying's cousin questioned sharply. Why? She continued. This basement isn't your home, she questioned repeatedly. By what right do you chase us away? Zhang Zi frowned impatiently and said, if you don't leave, you'll only bring us trouble. Sun Ruotong told Zhang Zi uneasily. Zhang Zi, someone's coming. A group of students' voices sounded continuously. The map shows it's nearby. Everyone search carefully. Oh, there are stairs here. Could this be it? One of them, holding an axe, said sinisterly. Haha, it turns out someone really is hiding here. The leader also couldn't hide his excitement and threatened. Who among you took the tokens that appeared nearby just now? He continued to urge. Hand them over quickly. Lu Yuying's cousin pointed at Zhang Zi and said affirmatively, he has the tokens. Zhang Zi thought angrily in his mind. Damn, she's playing dirty. After saying that, the leader reminded without hesitation, this classmate, I don't want to make things difficult for you. Just hand over the tokens obediently and you won't have to suffer. Zhang Zi quickly argued, I don't have any tokens. He threatened sharply, if you take another step forward, don't blame me for being impolite. Before the group could counterattack, they were knocked down by Zhang Zi, who shouted sternly, get lost before I lose my temper. The leader ran away quickly, saying fearfully, his speed is terrifying. The fat guy also quickly responded, his strength is also extraordinary, we're no match for him. Zhang Zi observed the tokens in his hand and said, so this is what the tokens look like. Sun Ruodong said angrily. Those people are so annoying, she added. They clearly already have tokens, yet they still snatch others' tokens. Lu Yuying's cousin argued. Well, she said while holding the tokens, you're a big man, you wouldn't hold a grudge against us little girls, would you? Zhang Zi couldn't hold back his anger and questioned. Give me your tokens and I won't hold a grudge against you. Lu Yuying's cousin said confidently. Dare you, she continued. Dare to snatch my things, she also provoked. I'll fight you to the death. Zhang Zi stared at her while thinking in his mind. She's too fast, he analyzed. Her strength is also not weak and planned. If we really fight, I'll find a chance to escape. Sun Ruotong quickly reminded Zhang Zi. "Be careful, she's very strong," and speculated, "I guess she's not from the Lu family," and continued, "She should be from the Tang family," she emphasized seriously. "Zhang Zi, don't underestimate her." Zhang Zi asked with some doubt, "The Lu family?" After saying that, he walked towards Lu Yueying's cousin and asked, "Do you know Lu Yueying?" She answered without hesitation. "Lu Yueying? She's my cousin." She also asked, "Do you know her?" Zhang Zi's tone suddenly softened and he said, "If you're her cousin then I won't make things difficult for you," he reminded her. "Don't do this again next time, you can leave." Lu Yueying's cousin replied, "So after all that you're my cousin's friend?" She asked curiously. "What kind of friends are you?" She wondered repeatedly. "Is there something special between you?" She speculated. "Are you lovers?" Zhang Zi quickly explained. "Lovers my foot," and urged, "Hurry up and leave," and said with some anger, "I don't want to see you again." Lu Yueying's cousin laughed loudly and happily, "Haha," embarrassed into anger, and teased repeatedly, "That means there's something going on." She emphasized, "I'm going to ask Lu Yueying about this when I get back." Before leaving, she couldn't help but provoke, "I didn't expect to hear such interesting things this time, ha ha ha," Zhang Zi said helplessly. "What a troublesome girl," he said to Sun Ruotong with some unease. "Our location has been exposed," he urged repeatedly. "We must quickly pack up and leave here to find a new safe place." Sun Ruotong replied with a gentle smile. "Okay." Zhang Zi strode forward hurriedly saying to Sun Ruotong as he walked, "Although it's not too big of a deal, we still need to seize the time to find a new hiding place," she replied obediently. "Okay." At this moment, Zhang Zi felt very uneasy. He thought to himself, "Originally I planned to hide first and then find a way to seize the tokens near the end, but I didn't expect to accidentally get a token now, so we can't hide safely." As they were walking, Sun Ruotong seemed to sense something strange. She exclaimed, "Be careful, there's someone 100 meters away in the northeast direction. It seems to be a heavily injured person but not dead yet." He responded with an Zhang Zi looked around and after a while, he turned to her and said with concern, "You stay here, I'll go check the situation." She didn't say much, just reminded him, "Okay, remember to be careful." On the other side, piercing screams kept coming and Deathwing was in great pain. Feeling like he was being reborn, Yuan Ying sat beside him watching this scene not knowing what to do, and could only say a few words of encouragement. "Hey classmate, hold on a little longer." Hearing the sound behind her, she turned around sharply and asked, "Who is it?" Seeing the person standing in front of her, she couldn't help but exclaim his name in surprise. Zhang Zi. He was also very surprised to see her. Zhang Zi asked with a puzzled expression, "Lu Yueying, why are you here?" She calmed down and explained the whole situation to him. "The situation is very serious. 5 students have unfortunately died. I don't have time to explain in detail. In short, the safest place is the bus back at the assembly point." After listening to Yueying's explanation, he asked doubtfully, "Okay, are they monsters from the abyss of demons?" She replied, "No, they are unidentified people. The specifics are not yet clear. I have other tasks, be careful yourself." After understanding the whole situation, he replied softly, "Okay." At this moment, she suddenly ran out like a gust of wind, shouting loudly as she ran, "Minister Lei, another student has died and the murderer has not been found yet." At this moment, the school's loudspeaker suddenly broadcast a message. "Emergency notice, stop the exam. All candidates return to the bus at the assembly point, return immediately." Zhang Zi said, "Something happened, emergency notice to stop the exam." He pondered for a moment, then said to her, "Well, the problem seems to be very serious. Let's go back quickly." Without saying much, the two quickly returned to the school. As they were running, they suddenly heard a cry for help from a distance. "Help, don't come near me." She used her ability to predict the location of the sound. On the right ahead, a man and a woman. The woman is injured. Zhang Zi said anxiously, "Let's go take a look." On the other side, a stranger was walking towards Tang Chaowei and he spoke. A terrifying voice, "Soon in the blink of an eye I will release you from your pain." Crack, crack, crack asterisk. At this moment a voice suddenly came from behind him. "What's the point of bullying a girl?" As soon as he turned his head he was kicked away by Zhang Zi. Chaowei was happy to see him appear and said, "Brother-in-law, you're finally here, you're so cool." Zhang Zi couldn't help but ask, "Who's your brother-in-law? What time is it? You're still joking." He was very excited to see him appear. The stranger said with a smile, how interesting, 2 more have come. Then I'll send the 3 of you on your way together." Connecting the dots of what just happened, he began to deduce, based on that punch just now, this guy is at least a first-level demon realm expert, or even close to second level. I must take the initiative to attack to have a chance of winning. After a while, Zhang Zi said, "Tang Chaowei, you protect Sun Ruotong and leave here quickly." Chaowei listened obediently. "Understood, brother-in-law." After the two left, he unleashed his power, raised his fist and rushed towards him, shouting 3 words, "Gentle force flow." He took his heavy punch head-on, was knocked back several meters, but still stood firm on his feet and asked back, "Gentle force flow, who is Pang Tihua to you?" Seeing that he knew his master's name, he said, "Since you know my master, you must not be an unknown person. Dying under my dragon breath technique won't be in vain." I exerted all my strength, increasing the power and speed of the dragon breath technique. This strike will determine the outcome. Upon hearing his words, he felt dizzy, as if the whole world had frozen. He couldn't believe his ears and asked again, "What dragon breath technique?" Before he finished speaking, he was struck in the face by a palm strike. The tremendous force sent him flying, and he cried out in pain. Ah, Zhang Zi's palm suddenly ached, and he thought, the power increase is astonishing, but the physique doesn't match, causing backlash. 2 of my 5 fingers are probably broken. Sun Ruotong rushed out from somewhere asking worriedly. Zhang Zi, are you alright? She reminded him. Let's leave quickly in case he has accomplices. Tang Chaowei couldn't help but praise him before leaving. Great brother-in-law, that punch you threw was so cool. At the starting point, the school's broadcast sounded, all candidates please board the bus as soon as possible. Roll call will begin. Chaowei called out from afar, Zhuo. Yu Ying saw her and asked, Chaowei, are you injured? Are you alright? She replied calmly, just some minor injuries, but it was dangerous just now. Fortunately, brother-in-law arrived in time. Yu Ying asked in confusion. What, brother-in-law? Zhang Zi gave her an awkward glance with a speechless expression. At this moment a voice came from a nearby tree. A woman shouted in fear, ah, it's a monster from the abyss of demons. Click click, ha 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 ha. Food. Starving and exhausted, the monstrous creature's horrifying sounds grew closer. Sensing imminent danger, Moonshadow yelled, everyone quick get in the vehicle. Di Yang took command to stabilize the situation. Lu Hao, Wang Shenshen, Feng Yuan, you're in charge of protecting the new recruits. Moonshadow immediately contacted Director Lei to report. With that he grabbed his shield and rushed towards the monster. Seeing this, Moonshadow anxiously shouted, Di Yang, come back, you can't handle it alone. Di Yang ignored her. His only concern being the students' safety, he firmly stated, there's no time to hesitate. We must protect the new recruits and get them out of here. Di Yang engaged the monster in a fierce battle. The monster gained the upper hand and prepared to deliver a fatal blow. This is it, Di Yang thought, resigned to his fate. Just when he thought he was finished, Zhang Zi arrived in the nick of time and saved his life. Seeing him there, Di Yang questioned, what are you doing here, rookie? Trying to get yourself killed? That's a monster. Before he could finish, Zhang Zi eagerly replied, you remind me of a friend. You're both brave, and that's why I wanted to help. At that moment, Moonshadow appeared out of nowhere, wielding a sharp blade. She aimed at the monster and struck decisively. However, the blow had no effect on the creature. She thought to herself, tough skin. Zhang Zi's body radiated a dazzling golden light as he shouted, Moonshadow, get out of the way. In Chapter 88, Zhang Zi defeated the monster with a single blow. Moonshadow, witnessing the scene, couldn't hide her astonishment and blurted out, that's the dragon foot technique. I didn't expect him to be from the kinetic stream. Di Yang, standing beside her, shared her awe and praised him. That's some powerful footwork. You've performed a great service by defeating the Abyss Fiend. He continued to commend him. Impressive. You held your own against a mud-level Abyss Fiend. Just then, a masked figure clad in black appeared, leaping onto the monster's body. The 3 of them, startled, asked in unison, Who are you? The figure replied, revealing his identity without fear. Who I am is irrelevant. All you need to know is that dawn will illuminate this land. Upon hearing his words, Di Yang immediately understood what was happening. He angrily pointed at the figure's face and said, it's Dawn's doing as expected. Targeting students? You people are despicable. The figure let out an eerie smile and raised a sharp long iron spike in his hand, confidently telling the trio, little ones, you'll all die here today. As soon as he finished speaking, the figure charged towards them, wildly swinging the iron spike. Zhang Zi, seeing the danger, shouted a warning, watch out. He unhesitatingly stepped in front of Moonshadow, intending to protect her. The stranger, witnessing this act of chivalry, grinned menacingly and extended his sharp claws, lunging towards him while saying, little one, so you want to play the hero, do you? I'll grant you your wish. Just then, a tall, handsome man leapt into the fray, blocking the attack. Seeing the man arrive, the surrounding crowd erupted in cheers. It's Director Lei. Director Lei's team is back. Director Lei stood before the trio, his expression stern. I never expected you Dawn members to dare cause trouble at Qingdai Academy. Have you grown tired of living? At that moment, a large group of police officers arrived at the scene. The stranger, however, remained leisurely, standing beside the monster, and even offered a mocking remark. Director Lei truly deserves his reputation as one of Qingdai Academy's top 10 experts. Impressive indeed, he calmly continued. However, I'm afraid our little game ends here. Director Lei understood his intention. He clenched his fists and charged towards him, saying, Think you can run? Not so easily. Before leaving, the stranger left a parting message. We'll meet again, little ones. As soon as he finished speaking, the monster lunged at Director Lei. Naturally, the monster was no match for him. With a single punch, the monster was defeated. The monster cried out in agony, Ah! Seeing that the stranger had escaped, he angrily cursed, Damn it, he got away. With the situation stabilized, Director Lei returned to the group and issued orders. Security team and upperclassmen, immediately take a head count, return to the school swiftly and tend to the wounded. The crowd responded in unison. Yes, in the 11th level of the demon realm, Rakshasa respectfully called out Dragon King. Upon seeing him, the Dragon King, Well, hello there, Rakshasa, you've arrived. Long time no see, I've missed you dearly. The Dragon King examined him closely, noticing the wound on his arm, and asked worriedly, Rakshasa, what happened to your arm? Are you injured? Rakshasa explained gently. Oh, it's nothing, just a minor scratch. Moonshadow stepped forward to deliver the news. Titan won't be joining us for the next few days, he's also injured. Jichu asked with concern, is Titan alright? The Dragon King frowned and said, ah, don't even mention it. There was an accident during the assessment. Titan was injured and hospitalized, he'll need a few days to recover, Di Yang added with resignation. Without Titan as our tank, it'll be tough for us to fight. He looked at Moonshadow, finding her strangely familiar, and thought, that girl, she looks so much like Tang Chaowei, he couldn't help but ask. Moonshadow, and this is, realizing she had forgotten the introductions, Moonshadow quickly said, oh, this is my good friend, she wants to join our guild and explore with us. The petite and charming Chaowei stepped forward, flashing a sweet smile, and introduced herself. Hi everyone, I'm new here, please take care of me. Seeing Chaowei's acting, Moonshadow thought to herself, that little minx, she's at it again. By now he was secretly convinced it was definitely her, the talented actress Tang Chaowei. Although he knew it was her, he didn't expose her, he simply offered a polite greeting. Hello, on the other side, Di Yang shouted to the Dragon King. Guild leader, everyone's here. We're ready to set off, the Dragon King responded loudly. Alright, let's go then. Let's board the ship. On the way, Chaowei asked Moonshadow curiously, cousin, why are all the members of this guild archers? Is that guy named Rakshasa the guild leader? And why does he wear a mask? Moonshadow cautioned Chaowei in a low voice. Keep your voice down, she obediently replied. Okay, by this time the ship had set sail and the sisters were chatting on deck. Moonshadow asked in confusion, I really don't understand why you didn't come with your own guild. Why did you have to come with us? Chaowei answered calmly. I'm just curious. Sixth uncle said there's a promising candidate in the demon realm. He's interested in you, so I'm here to assess him and see if he's worthy of our Lu family's young miss. Moonshadow blushed and scolded her. Don't talk nonsense. Don't believe a word Sixth Uncle says. Seeing Moonshadow's shy reaction, Chaowei continued to tease her. Sixth Uncle also said Rakshasa's talent is incredible, possibly S rank or even sulfur monosulfide rank. Is he as talented as me with my sulfur monosulfide rank talent? She replied nonchalantly. How should I know? You haven't fought him yet. Chaowei confidently announced. I'll find an opportunity to fight him and see who's stronger. Across from them, Light Rabbit asked Rakshasa, brother Rakshasa, I've always wanted to ask you something. What brings you to the demon realm? Rakshasa replied softly, to provide a better life for my family. When the time comes, I'll retire from the demon realm and enjoy a peaceful life. For me, time with my family is more important. At that moment, Chaowei tiptoed over to him and made a request. Brother Rakshasa, I have a small favor to ask. I wonder if you could grant it? Rakshasa, hearing her proposal, asked in return. Oh hello, what is it? Chaowei said to him in her sweet voice. Someone as kind as Brother Rakshasa surely wouldn't refuse me. He observed her performance, thinking the actress is trying to trick me again. Let's see what she's up to. He calmly continued, what is it? Tell me. Chaowei smiled and said, have a fight with me. Upon hearing her words, he immediately replied, oh, I refuse. Stunned by his response, she didn't give up and continued to tempt him into a fight. What, you refuse? If you fight me, I'll tell you a secret about Lu Moon Shadow. His curiosity piqued, he couldn't help but ask, what secret? Sensing his interest, she whispered in his ear, I know what she likes to eat. All his curiosity vanished and he coldly replied, not interested. Chaowei thought for a moment and continued, and I also know what color underwear she wears. Rakshasa, wishing the ground would swallow him whole, retorted with 2 words, nonsense. Chaowei asked puzzled, don't you want to pursue my cousin, Lu Moon Shadow? I'm trying to create opportunities for you. Even though he knew she was trying to matchmake them, he remained unresponsive, simply explaining to Chaowei, you've got it wrong, we're just ordinary friends. Tang Chaowei waved her arms frantically, declaring loudly, impossible, there's no such thing as pure friendship between a man and a woman, I know how these things work. Light Rabbit watched from the side, speechless, while Zhang Zi responded silently, think whatever you want. Suddenly something in the distance caused everyone to shout in alarm, good heavens, it's a pirate ship, a menacing vessel was charging towards them. Someone yelled, damn it, why pirates? Doesn't the Demon Realm Handbook say it's safe to travel by sea? Another responded, don't you know it's been rumored that the handbook was written 10 years ago and is outdated. The information in it is just for reference, don't take it seriously. Suddenly someone shouted, grabbing everyone's attention, oh no, we're going to collide with a pirate ship. Everyone looked up at the approaching ship and cursed, damn it, encountering pirates on their first voyage was unbelievable. Zhang Zi bravely stepped forward to reassure everyone. Everyone, stay calm, gather here and prepare to fight. The crowd shouted in unison, we're going to crash. Those bizarre pirates charged forward shouting in unison, kill. The pirates leapt onto the ship and the passengers screamed in terror. Help, pirates are here, we're surrounded by pirates, they're too fast, our formation is broken. I'm surrounded by 5 pirates, help? Zhang Zi calmly directed everyone. 1 arrow, coordinate the defense, everyone concentrate your fire. 1 arrow quickly responded, yes sir. Zhang Zi swiftly drew his bow and shouted, appear, High Priest, use your dark magic to deal with these invading pirates. His follower responded powerfully, as you command, master. Zhang Zi calmly drew his bow, saying, 1 arrow, target those cursed pirates, try to take them down with single shots. 1 arrow shouted, understood. Brothers, concentrate your fire, aim at the targets. A barrage of arrows flew towards the pirates, terrifying them. Their bodies shattered like minced meat, falling to the ground, but it seemed to have little effect. They rose one by one, their eyes flashing with fierce green light. Sensing the danger, Zhang Zi shouted, "These pirates have high health, be careful," he thought. "If this continues, I'll have to summon the beast swordsman." Light Rabbit nudged Tang Chaowei in the distance and asked curiously, "Judging by your equipment, you should be a mage, right? Why aren't you fighting?" Tang Chaowei scoffed disdainfully. "This is just a small fry battle, not worth my time. If I told you my talent skill level, you'd be scared to death. It's the highest here." Hearing this, Light Rabbit was furious and retorted, "That's a load of bull. I could say I have an SSS rank talent skill too." Tang Chaowei smiled smugly, turning to look at her and saying confidently, "What, you don't believe me? Then I'll show you." Suddenly a pirate emerged from the ship's hold, reaching out to grab Tang Chaowei, looking like he wanted to devour her whole, and roared, "Beauty, play with me, I'm going to have you." Seeing Tang Chaowei standing there fearlessly, arms crossed and watching coldly, everyone urged her, "Hey young lady, run, what are you standing there for?" Moon Shadow, standing nearby, quickly reassured everyone, "Dragon King, don't worry about her, she can handle it." Tang Chaowei smiled faintly, waved her hand and cast a spell, shouting gravity suppression. The pirate, who was grinning ear to ear just moments ago, was now panicking because he was about to be devoured by a beauty and shouted, "Ah, what's going on? Why can't I move?" Tang Chaowei slowly approached, a near murderous smile on her face, and holding a knife she said triumphantly, "Because I increased your gravity by 100 times for 100 seconds, during this time you won't be able to move. Ha 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 ha." Her smile grew more twisted as Tang Chaowei swung her knife, stabbing the pirate viciously, causing him to cry out in agony. -644, ouch, that hurt, help me. Light Rabbit watched from a distance, dumbfounded. "That little girl is terrifying." Zhang Zi also praised her. "Her talent skill is indeed powerful. Once hit by her skill, you're at her mercy for 100 seconds. Suddenly a figure appeared and vanished, laughing loudly. "Hee hee hee. You think you ignorant fools can board my sea fortress? I'll throw you overboard to feed the sharks." He flashed into the crowd, appearing instantly before anyone could react. It was Captain Jack, laughing triumphantly as he fired his gun at the crowd. A single bullet sent people flying. Others watched in terror, cursing, "Damn it, isn't that Captain Jack, the boss of the 11th level? Why is he here? The Demon Realm Handbook says he's waiting for adventurers at his sea fortress. Why did he appear early?" But some refused to back down, rushing forward to counterattack. "We outnumber him. Captain Jack is just one person. We can defeat him if we work together. What are we waiting for? Kill him." Seeing this, the Dragon King urged everyone, "Rakshasa, let's go too. We can't let others steal the spotlight." Zhang Zi calmly observed the situation and replied, "Don't rush. Let's observe first. The final boss appearing early could be a fake boss according to game logic. Alternatively, when the battle reaches a certain point, the leader might retreat. Everyone, with high morale, shouts in unison and rushes forward to kill him. However, with his arrogant nature and cunning intelligence, he turns the tables, seizes control of the situation, and aims to capture the great shark captain. You're far too inexperienced. He dispatches one person after another in mere seconds. Zhang Zi and his companions, jumping off the ship, clicked their tongues in amazement. "Wow, it's fortunate we didn't rush in. Although this leader's damage isn't high, his shooting speed is too fast. I wonder what would happen if I shot the shark captain's rope." In the next second, he unhesitatingly raises his bow and arrow, taking down the tyrannical captain. The rope sways incessantly, and the speed is so rapid that you must seize the moment. Those fellows still refuse to admit defeat, clinging tightly to their jungle climbing ropes. But their retribution seems to arrive quickly, as the rope can't bear the shark captain's weight and snaps, sending him crashing onto the deck with a cry of awe. Yet he's unharmed, remaining the nonchalant captain. As he blocked the previous attack, he chuckles triumphantly. "You've done well, but it's all in vain. It's time to show these pesky ones the true power of the shark captain." Polly, transform. His raven also gradually transforms, seemingly inheriting its master's beauty. Indeed, as the saying goes, like master, like pet. As the raven transforms, it becomes even uglier, its eyes glowing crimson like rubies from a wholesale market, then emits two caws. Polly, at your master's command, devour them all. This terrifies everyone to the core. Lightning 90, its massive claws, enlarged like the talons of a Dong Dao chicken, seized a person and flew off. But perhaps it was already weakened and only came out for some fresh air as it quickly and safely released the person a few seconds later. Still, it wanted to play with the others on the ship, scaring everyone into shouting, "It's over, that giant blackbird is flying towards us." Guang Shao Beast cried out in fear, "Ah, what do we do?" Zhang Zi turned to Tang Chaowei and said, "There's no choice, prepare for battle, little healer. How many targets can your talent skill restrain?" Her eyes fixed on the giant bird before her, she replied loudly, "One." Her answer reassured Zhang Zi, allowing him to focus on the fight. "Good, use gravity suppression on the giant black bird. Make sure it stands still in place. I'll take care of the shark captain." Tang Chaowei responded, "Okay." She began to cast her spell, shouting to everyone, "Gravity suppression, don't just stand there, attack." The giant bird seemed to have fallen into her trap, crying out for help. "Caw, I can't move, caw." Zhang Zi and the others worked together, archers ready to attack. Faced with such overwhelming numbers, the shark captain might have been frightened. He had many dirty tricks up his sleeve and escape was the best option. But to maintain his suave and cool image, he said, "Let's call it a day, shall we? You're welcome to visit my fortress at sea. Polly and I will be delighted to host you." Seeing him disappear, everyone regretted missing out on the feast. Sighing, he lamented, "Oh dear, he got away." The black smoke surrounding the ship gradually dissipated, and the captain grinned, arrogantly saying, "You must come and visit." The bird beside him, hearing this, was speechless. Caw. Zhang Zi reassured everyone, "Buck up, everyone. Our next target is Captain Rak's lair, the sea fortress." Suddenly, a turtle shell emerged from the water, and everyone exclaimed in surprise, "Wow!" It turned out the sea fortress was built on a turtle shell. Pirates fired large cannons, preparing to attack Zhang Zi's ship. Zhang Zi stroked his chin, pondering. The Demon Realm manual was right. The sea fortress is built on a turtle shell. It's surrounded by sturdy walls and there are cannons on the walls. He deduced that to see Captain Rak they had to get through the wall and into the fortress, which would be no easy task. As climbing it would only be possible with ropes, he pointed ahead, indicating, "It seems getting close to the ropes won't be easy." The guard pirates would attack with cannons from above, and after climbing up they would have to fight well-equipped pirates. The ship docked, and he wondered what to do, how to defeat them. "Let's take a look first. Haven't you seen there are hundreds of them ahead?" The people following the team asked one after another. "How high do you think that wall is?" "I'd guess about 10 meters. 10 meters, all right, I have a plan. We don't need to fight others for the ropes, we'll go straight up the wall." Suddenly Moonshadow seemed to realize something. Little Princess Shen Mengdi spoke up. "What a twist of fate," Chen Shao said smugly. "Oh, isn't this my dear future wife? What a coincidence. I didn't expect to see you here." Hearing this, Moonshadow was speechless. Little Princess Shen Mengdi continued, "Elder sister, so you really have a childhood betrothal with the Chen family?" Moonshadow also spoke up. "Don't listen to his nonsense, I decide my own marriage." Chen Shao still shamelessly said, "Hey, my dear future wife, come with me. My team will help us climb over the wall and reach Captain Jack's place. We'll clear this level at top speed." But Moonshadow didn't care and said coldly, "I don't need that, stay away from me." Chen Shao angrily shouted at Moonshadow, "Don't put on airs in front of me. If you insist on hanging out with these good-for-nothings in the demon realm, I won't stop you. But just wait for our wedding night, I'll teach you a lesson." Dragon King clenched his fist tightly and said next to Moonshadow, "That guy is too arrogant, I really want to punch him." At this moment Moonshadow stopped him. "Forget it, don't start a conflict with him here. I'll handle my own affairs." Zhang Zi gently put his hand on Moonshadow's shoulder to comfort her. "Don't be afraid, I'll always stand by your side." Tang Chaowei also slowly comforted her. "Elder sister." Moonshadow gradually calmed down and replied, "Thank you, Rakshasa. Did I say something wrong? I feel more and more like Rakshasa resembles someone. Who could it be?" Scene shifts to a brutal battlefield, with everyone shouting in unison. "Charge, eliminate the pirates." The pirates, wielding massive cannons, yell, "Kill them!" Round after round of cannon fire roars, causing earth-shattering explosions, and cries ring out. "Ah ah ah!" Someone shouts, "It's the Chen family's wild young master." They have also begun their attack, erecting barriers to withstand the pirates. The cannon fire continues, but it seems to have no effect on them. Zhang Zi calmly says, arms crossed, "So, the Chen family's wild young master is cooperating with the little fairy Luo Yan to use her manpower to break through the pirates' defenses." Dragon King next to him also comments, "Not a bad move. Too bad our team only has archers." The little princess adds, "Indeed," she agrees. "Guo Yu hired a large number of adventurers to earn money in the demon realm, and those warriors are her subordinates." Luo Yan waves her hand and laughs loudly. "Well done, everyone, keep it up, we're almost at the wall." Chen Shao frowns and says to Old Gao, "HMPH, that foolish woman. I bet she won't even be able to climb over the wall by the time we deal with the boss." Old Gao quickly responds, "Young Master Chen, Lu Yuying and Rakshasa are very close. Their relationship is probably not simple. You'd better settle the marriage soon, to avoid any complications." He agrees. Qingdai Academy is currently locked down and I can't leave. Once the time is right, I'll propose to the Lu family immediately, and Lu Yuying will have to marry me." Zhang Zi points ahead, directing everyone. "The time has come, let's begin our attack too." "Rakshasa, how do we attack?" He clenched his fist, frowning in anger. "Let's show them how we attack." Zhang Zi crouched down, casting a spell, summoning a beast and a blue light, he outed. "Appear, behemoth war wagon." A cloud of smoke enveloped the beast and Giant God laughed triumphantly. "Ha, I almost forgot about them." Dragon King agreed. "Haha, that's right, with these big guys we don't have to fear the pirates' cannons, nor do we have to fight other adventurers for the ropes." Zhang Zi grabbed the huge chains, controlling the beast, preparing to engage in battle, and loudly commanded, "Prepare to attack." The sound of cannons was deafening. "My goodness, the pirates' cannons are terrifying. I charged 3 times and each time I was blown away. If I hadn't healed myself in time I would have been killed. My friends were blasted to pieces. It's terrible. What should I do? I dare not go forward, nor can I retreat. I'm afraid I'll be blasted to death by the cannons if I leave here. What should I do?" Did you see that turtle formation? That method is amazing, using shields to block the cannon attacks. They're almost at the wall. I'm so envious. The beast's massive body caused everyone to cry out in terror. "Oh my god, everyone, look, what is that? What a huge monster. Isn't that the behemoth war wagon from the 10th floor? How did it appear on the 11th floor? There seem to be people on it." Someone shouted, "It's the archer team." How do they have the behemoth war wagon? So cool, even cooler than that turtle formation. They reached the wall so easily, amazing. The pirates, seeing this, roared angrily, what the hell is that? Fire attack! Zhang Zi waved to signal everyone to advance. Everyone attack! The pirates, caught off guard, cried out in agony. Ah, how did these invaders get so close? The pirates, standing before the cannons, yelled, what the hell is that thing? Fire attack! Rakshasa, standing on the war wagon, also gave the order. Everyone attack! As soon as he finished speaking, arrows flew towards the pirates, who screamed as they dodged. Ah, how did these invaders get so close? Rakshasa reminded everyone on the behemoth. Everyone be careful. There are people under the behemoth's feet, don't step on them. Everyone replied, understood. The little princess held onto the chains tightly. She shouted down to the people below. Guo Yu, I'm going to crush you. Guo Yu cursed in fear. Shen Mengdi, are you crazy? You want to crush me? That's murder. Boom, a loud crash. And the leading behemoth rammed into the wall. The behemoths pushed forward, and at the same time, loot began to drop. Rakshasa, controlling one of the behemoths, ordered, brothers, everyone can enter the fortress now. After speaking, he ran towards the loot with his bow and arrows, not forgetting to remind everyone seize the time, stay ahead of the game. We must be the first to eliminate this level's boss. Chen Xiao looked in astonishment at the people holding shields in front of him. He roared furiously, ah, not resigned, I must surpass that damn Rakshasa and eliminate this level's boss. He ran towards the castle while cursing. Suddenly a cannon muzzle appeared above Chen Xiao's head, stopping him in his tracks. Before he could react, pirates rushed out of the smoke with swords. Swish, 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 a series of sword slashes. Old Gao appeared just in time to save him. This humble one is here, young Master Chen, please don't be impulsive. But Chen Xiao became even angrier. Old Gao, don't stop me. Today I must settle the score with that Rakshasa. He stole my person, I must kill him. Seeing him become more and more agitated, Old Gao sternly reminded him. Young Master Chen, calm down. Rakshasa's talent skills are very strong, you saw it just now. He can even summon behemoth war wagons, and he summoned 5 at once, Chen Xiao retorted unconvinced. Then what, are we just going to watch them snatch the boss away? Old Gao advised, know yourself and your enemy, and you will never be defeated. Let's see how they deal with Captain Jack first. Hearing that Old Gao made sense, Chen Xiao's lips curled into a cunning smile. Alright, I'll catch them off guard this time. On the other side, Rakshasa and his group had already entered the castle and arrived before Captain Jack. Seeing the newcomers, he said unhappily, I didn't expect you to break through my sturdy walls. I'm going to turn you into food for my pets. Polly, as soon as he finished speaking, a giant bird with gleaming eyes appeared. Rakshasa quickly warned, everyone be careful, Shishu, quickly restrain it. As soon as he finished speaking, Shishu summoned the dance of frozen. But unfortunately, the giant bird was not only not frozen but also enraged. Call, you vile humans, dare to restrain Polly. Rakshasa, while summoning the high priest, ordered, Little bird, you deal with that giant bird. The rest of you, follow me to deal with the captain. Little bird quickly replied, okay. As soon as he finished speaking, the others rushed towards Captain Jack with their weapons. Rakshasa glanced back and then ordered, High priest, attack. Upon receiving the command, the high priest immediately attacked, received the punishment of the holy god. With each attack, system prompts appeared. -698 Captain Jack, -711 Captain Jack, -613 Captain Jack. Moonshadow frowned and stepped forward saying, this boss's evasion is too high, dark magic can't defeat him. Dragon King replied, then let's try close combat. Moonshadow, let's go together. Rakshasa, while drawing his bow and shooting arrows, assessed the situation. Although Captain Jack's speed is very fast, his movement trajectory seems to be fixed. I should be able to predict his movement direction. After calculating, he ordered, High priest, charge, he muttered to himself. The Dark Lord is with me. In the distance, Old Gao and Chen Xiao hid behind several crates. Observing the situation, Old Gao commented, calm and decisive, Rakshasa is indeed extraordinary. Chen Xiao became even angrier hearing him praise Rakshasa. Extraordinary? Who does he think he is? Old Gao, realizing he had misspoke, quickly changed the subject. Young Master Chen, don't get excited. Let the boss deal with him. Gunshots rang out continuously. Captain Jack, wielding pistols in both hands, kept shooting at them. Unfortunately, the high priest was hit. Dragon King, seeing the high priest fall to the ground after being shot, laughed loudly. Ha ha ha, Rakshasa, so that's your trick. With a boom, the high priest transformed into a ferocious snake demon filled with hatred. Rakshasa drew his bow and ordered, let the snake demon draw aggro, everyone take the chance to attack the boss. Understood. As soon as he finished speaking, the snake demon rushed towards the captain, followed by countless arrows. Rakshasa's arrow pierced through Captain Jack's chest. Ah, it hurts. Chen Xiao, seeing the situation turn against him, became anxious. Damn it, they're about to defeat the boss. I have to go kill Rakshasa. Old Gao immediately stopped him. Young Master Chen, don't be impulsive. This boss isn't that easy to deal with. After that arrow, Captain Jack was truly enraged. He roared, you bunch of idiots, you've angered me. Now I'll make you suffer a miserable death. He laughed wildly. And with his laughter, the surroundings shook violently. Rakshasa asked in surprise, what's happening? Everyone be careful. Moonshadow asked worriedly, what's happening? Why is the ground shaking so violently? Suddenly, tentacles burst from the ground. The little princess screamed in terror. Oh, what the hell is that? It's disgusting. disgusting, Captain Jack laughed loudly. Ha ha ha, let me introduce you to one of my pets, the Emperor Octopus. Moonshadow stared in shock at the enormous tentacles waving before her, exclaiming, "He keeps a giant octopus too," Rakshasa quickly warned. "Everyone be careful, they're tentacles," Captain Jaw laughed heartily. "Haha, let me introduce you to one of my pets, the Emperor Octopus." Moonshadow stared in shock at the enormous tentacles waving before her, exclaiming, "He keeps a giant octopus too," Rakshasa quickly warned. "Everyone be careful, they're tentacles." Just as the words left his mouth, a tentacle slammed down. Another tentacle sneak attacked Dragon King from behind. Dragon King attacked while cursing, "Damn it, the damage is so low, you damn octopus. Damage minus 2410, Emperor Octopus, damage minus 599. Dragon King was furious. The other tentacles surrounded Rakshasa and Little Rabbit. Little Rabbit hid fearfully behind Rakshasa. "This is terrifying. This is only the 11th level of the demon realm, and the boss is already this difficult?" Seeing the situation was dire, Rakshasa immediately summoned, "Looks like it's time for my trump card." As soon as he finished speaking, the Beastman swordsman was summoned and appeared before him. He knelt before Rakshasa, who commanded, "Eliminate that vile Emperor Octopus and kill that damn Captain Jaw." As soon as he finished speaking, he replied, "As you command," and charged out. He rushed forward to attack the writhing tentacles. He shouted as he unleashed his move, Sword Intent. As soon as he finished speaking, the tentacles snapped and shattered, pieces flying in all directions. The Beastman swordsman didn't stop, continuing to attack the other approaching tentacles. He gritted his teeth as he attacked. Swordsman Hero, Dragon King, and the others cheered from a distance while Moonshadow secretly rejoiced, thinking, "That move is amazing. I wish I could learn it." Chen Xiao hid behind some wooden crates watching the scene unfold and stuttered in disbelief. "TH that Rakshasa can actually summon a swordsman hero. That's not fair. Rakshasa has only reached the 11th level, and he already has such a powerful summoned follower. I can't figure him out." Seeing his pet being attacked, Captain Jaw roared angrily, "Damn Beastman, how dare you trespass on my territory? Emperor Colossal Octopus, reveal yourself." As soon as he finished speaking, the sea surged violently, the tremors throwing all the ships in the sea into the air. A terrifying octopus with bulging eyeballs appeared. Dragon King gritted his teeth and said, "That octopus is huge, cut it into sashimi, and it will be enough for us to eat for days and nights." Rakshasa quickly reassured them, "Everyone, don't panic. Be careful not to get swept away by the sea, Swordsman Hero, it's up to you." As soon as he finished speaking, the octopus appeared before them, its mouth wide open as if to devour everything. The Swordsman Hero clenched his teeth, his eyes bloodshot. He brandished his swords and shouted, "Whirlwind slash!" As soon as he finished speaking, he transformed into a whirlwind, charging straight towards the octopus. With a thwack, he plunged his two swords directly into the top of the octopus's head. The octopus roared in agony, trying to attack the Beastman. Rakshasa commanded from below, "Swordsman Hero, take out Captain Jaw." The Beastman responded, "Understood," and flew towards Captain Jia's location. Captain Jaw kept shooting at the Beastman, but it was completely ineffective and he still charged straight ahead. Seeing this, the captain shouted in terror, "Damn Beastman!" Before he finished speaking, the Beastman's sword had sliced through his body, his swordsmanship swift as the wind. The captain fell, unable to believe what had happened, and stammered, "No, impossible." At the same time, the system announced, "Congratulations on defeating Captain Jack and his pet." Everyone burst into cheers. "Haha, he's dead, he's dead. We defeated Captain Jack. We can go to the next level." Then the spatial gate opened. The captain fell, unable to believe what had happened, and stammered, "No, impossible." At the same time, the system announced, "Congratulations on defeating Captain Jack and his pet." Everyone burst into cheers. "Haha, he's dead, he's dead. We defeated Captain Jack. We can go to the next level." Then the spatial gate opened. Rakshasa looked down at the pile of loot on the ground. Suddenly, One Arrow One Love walked over from behind, scratching his head and stammering, "A guild leader, I have something to discuss with you, but don't overthink it." Rakshasa looked at him in surprise. "One Arrow, what do you want to say?" he stammered. Well, I'd like to take the brothers and leave the team for a while." Rakshasa asked Chihuahua. Why?" One Arrow said sincerely. "Guild leader, as you saw during the battle just now, everyone realized that their attacks were too weak. The damage they dealt to the monsters was only in single digits, so we want to go back to the previous demon realm levels and improve our strength. Then we'll come back and find you, and fight alongside everyone." Rakshasa narrowed his eyes. "Oh, I see. I didn't think you guys were a burden. You don't need to put so much pressure on yourselves." But facing his reassurance, One Arrow still hesitated. "Even if you don't think we're a burden, if we continue like this, we'll only become more and more useless." "So," he stuttered, guaranteeing, "Well, guild leader, rest assured we won't leave the guild. Archer Guild will always be our home. It wasn't easy to find a team like this. We'll never betray you. We just want to train more and improve ourselves. If we really encounter difficulties, we'll ask for your help." Seeing that persuasion was ineffective, Rakshasa agreed. "Since that's the case, I respect your choice. Be sure to protect yourselves, and if you encounter any problems, contact us at any time." One Arrow happily said, "Okay, definitely. Guild leader, you guys go to the next level quickly." I'll take the Archer brothers to fight monsters and become stronger." After speaking, Rakshasa and his party walked towards the spatial gate. He didn't forget to wave and remind them. "One Arrow, remember to contact us if you need anything." "One Arrow, we'll be waiting for you ahead." One Arrow replied happily. "Understood, you guys be careful too," Old Gao reminded from behind. "Chen Shao, the boss is dead, let's go back and wait for the monsters to respawn." After Rakshasa and his party arrived at the next level, Chen Shao gritted his teeth in anger. "That bastard Rakshasa, I'll kill you someday." Old Gao and the others walked in the opposite direction from Rakshasa's party. He calculated in his mind, Rakshasa is improving too fast. If we don't find a solution soon, the consequences will be unimaginable. "Demon Realm, 12th floor, an arena floating in the Milky Way," Little Rabbit exclaimed in surprise. "Wow, the night sky on this floor is so beautiful," Little Princess happily responded. "There are stars too. I love watching the stars the most." At this moment many monsters appeared in the sky. Rakshasa looked around and said in a deep voice, "The monsters on this floor are all elemental monsters. They're immune to physical attacks. Only using opposing magical attacks will be effective. Otherwise you won't be able to damage them at all," Moonshadow asked Chihuoda. "In other words, if it's a fire elemental monster, we need to use water or ice magic to deal with it. If it's a wood elemental monster, we use fire magic, right?" Rakshasa replied. "Yes." Rakshasa assessed the positions in the team and then said, "Currently, only Nightfall and Little Bird Healer in the team are mages. Nightfall uses ice magic, which can deal with fire elemental monsters, while Little Bird Healer's magic is a non-elemental gravity attack. Although it can deal with all elemental monsters, it won't cause any damage. The currently known magic systems include fire, ice, water, earth, wood, lightning, non-elemental and necromantic. Right now we only have ice magic that can deal with fire monsters." He pondered, resting his chin in his hand. "It seems we still need to find some other mages." Hearing his words, Moonshadow said worriedly, "It's not easy to find so many mages in a short time." Rakshasa agreed. "That's right, it's already late today. Let's go back and rest. We can't rush things. Anyway, Titan's still in the hospital, and we have to wait for him too," Dragon King happily replied. "All right, it's too late today. Let's rest first." Inside the Bluebell Academy office building, a voice suddenly echoed, "Principal Ran, I've accepted Minister Dongfang's commission and come specifically to assist the Academy in investigating this matter." Principal Ran replied with satisfaction. "Little Jin, I'm very relieved to have you take charge of this investigation. Please help me convey my gratitude to Minister Dongfang. I cannot shirk my responsibility for what happened at the old school." Minister Lei reminded from the side. Principal Ran, "The biggest problem at the moment is the candidates' entrance exam. With over 100 people staying here, it will affect the order of our academy." Hearing his reminder, Principal Ran frowned unhappily. "Little Jin and I have already discussed this issue. The exam will proceed as planned. The results will be out within 3 days. Those who stay will stay and those who go will go." The man still tried to persuade. "Continue the exam. I'm worried there will be another accident." Little Jin, hearing this, interrupted him. She confidently assured, "Don't worry, the principal has already proposed a plan to our security department to use professional equipment to test the candidates." As soon as she finished speaking, Minister Lei immediately asked loudly, "Professional equipment? What professional equipment?" Little Jin, without fear, confidently explained, "It's the Virtual Combat System, or VCS for short. It's equipment specially used by the security department to train new employees on the playground." People gathered and waited. The Virtual Combat System. 10 people are tested in each group. In the system, candidates will face abyss monsters identical to those in real combat for the test. Tang Chaowei frowned unhappily. "I'm in the 9th group, blind girl. Which group are you in?" Ruotong next to her also said, "I'm in the 11th group. What about you?" Zhang Zi replied politely. "I'm in the 3rd group." Ruotong excitedly said, "3rd group? Then it'll be your turn soon?" "It's already the 2nd group." Zhang Zi nervously replied, "Yeah, I didn't expect Chen Feng to be in the 2nd group." The screen showed Chen Feng fighting a monster, level 15. The two on the field nervously pursed their lips. The crowd watching the screen was also excited. Level 15 Abyss Monster, total time 1 hour and 56 minutes. Wow, he broke the record as expected of young Master Chen. He's brought glory to Sanbei. Young Master Chen is too powerful. Young Master Chen is second to none, right? Where's that arrogant Zhangdong guy from earlier? Come and see young Master Chen's results. If any of you Zhangdong people can achieve half of his score, I'll call him Dad. The teacher held the list and shouted loudly, "The 2nd group test is over. The 3rd group candidates take your places." Chen Feng walked off the stage with pride, Ruotong said with envy. In the test system, levels 1 to 15 correspond to intermediate abyss monsters, and levels above 30 correspond to advanced abyss monsters. Chen Feng is so amazing he can defeat a level 15 monster. Zhang Zi frowned and thought, "Haha, I've actually used the virtual combat system a long time ago. I will definitely take first place this time." Tang Chaowei cheered him on from the side. "Brother-in-law, it's your turn, go for it." As Chen Feng walked off the stage, passing by Zhang Zi, sparks flew between them. Chen Feng pursed his lips in resentment. "Zhang Zi, open your eyes wide and see how I trample you underfoot this time, you waste." Zhang Zi glanced at him expressionlessly. "Chen Feng, don't get cocky, we'll see." Just as Zhang Zi sat down in the chair, little Jin walked over and threatened him. "Don't disappoint me," he replied nonchalantly. "Yeah, I'll do my best." After speaking, he put on the goggles. The teacher outside announced, "Test start." He opened his eyes. He lowered his head, feeling his own hands, and thought, "This is the virtual combat system, it feels so real." But before he could adapt, the monster suddenly charged forward. Fortunately, he reacted in time and dodged its attack. Immediately afterwards, he launched a counterattack without hesitation. People outside saw his movements and exclaimed in amazement, "Wow, he's not weak at all. He's called Zhang Zi. Is he from Jiangdong?" the blindfolded girl asked in surprise. "Did Zhang Zi win?" Tang Chaowei said with a smile. "You can't see. Why are you in such a hurry? Don't worry, he's sure to win." Under the watchful eyes of everyone, Zhang Zi and the monster engaged in a fierce battle in virtual reality. People outside saw his movements and exclaimed in amazement, "Wow, he's not weak at all. He's called Zhang Zi. Is he from Jiangdong?" Ruotong asked in surprise. "Did Zhang Zi win?" Tang Chaowei said with a smile. "You can't see. Why are you in such a hurry? Don't worry, he's sure to win." "Don't worry, he's sure to win." Under the watchful eyes of everyone, Zhang Zi and the monster engaged in a fierce battle in virtual reality. Witnessing his combat prowess firsthand, everyone was shocked, exclaiming, "My god, that Zhang Zi is too strong. He's already at level 9, I remember now. He's from Tianfeng City, Jiangdong. I didn't expect Jiangdong to have such a powerful person." However, some of Chen Feng's supporters retorted unconvincingly, "You're celebrating too early. He's only at level 9, he might be eliminated soon. He thinks he can catch up to our young master Chen. Zhang Zi is still too green." Zhang Zi fought while calculating. "My stamina consumption is a bit high. Although the Dragon Breath technique and the Supple Force technique are powerful, they also put pressure on the body. It's best to use them sparingly, unless absolutely necessary." Before he could catch his breath, the monster suddenly leveled up, level 10, and roared as it stood up. Zhang Zi quickly launched an attack, but this time the monster dodged his attack. It actually dodged? Chen Feng below smirked, thinking, level 10 abyss monsters have already begun to possess rudimentary intelligence. If you're not familiar with their attack patterns, they're hard to deal with. Zhang Zi, just wait to die. Zhang Zi assessed the monster before him. "If I don't use my true strength, it will be a bit tricky." Suddenly, he jumped onto the monster and hugged its head. Supple Force Technique. Principal Ran, sitting in his office, assessed with satisfaction. Supple Force Technique. "It seems he is Pang Tiwa's last disciple." Little Jin smiled and said, "Yes, Principal, it's him, Zhang Zi." At this moment, the people in the hall were completely ignited by his attack. Everyone's talking about it. He's already fighting a level 16 monster. The surroundings are filled with intermediate monsters covered in tentacles. My god, he's really fighting a level 16 abyss monster. Zhang Zi is too amazing. Most people were eliminated at level 7 or 8. Only he and Chen Feng reached level 16. Now it depends on whether he can defeat the level 16 abyss monster. If he can, he'll definitely be number 1 in the school. I don't think it's very likely. Did you guys remember that giant abyss monster we encountered in the ship area during the last exam? It was an intermediate monster, terrifyingly strong. Chen Feng, seeing this, gritted his teeth and said, "Impossible, abyss monster. Defeat Zhang Zi for me," Minister Lei thought in surprise. "Can Zhang Zi really break the record? The highest system record is only level 15, he said seriously. If the strength of a level 16 abyss monster is really the same as an intermediate ferocious beast, then Zhang Zi has no hope of breaking through. Little Jin, seeing his expression, provocatively said, "Minister Lei, how about we make a bet?" He was also curious. What do we bet?" Zhang Zi was panting heavily. The continuous battles had consumed too much stamina, and defeating the level 15 monster just now was already extremely difficult. As soon as he finished speaking, the monster leveled up again, level 16, even more ferocious and brutal than before. Although Zhang Zi was tired, he was still full of fighting spirit, attacking and shouting, "I won't give up, come on, give it your all." But the monster blocked his attack. He asked in surprise, "What?" He managed to block such a rapid attack. Before he could even react, the monster retaliated, smashing its head into his, then kicking him away with its foot. Though he absorbed 2 consecutive blows, he landed unscathed, thinking, "I can only use Dragon Breath once or twice at most. I must save it for a crucial moment." He clenched his fists, staring at the monster 3 times his size. Its attacks were powerful, and it was even faster than him. He couldn't employ the same blitzkrieg tactics as in previous fights. The observers outside, seeing his silence, grew worried. What's he doing? Is he surrendering? Giving up? What a fool. If he wanted to quit, he could just log out of the virtual reality. Why stay here? I don't understand. I think he's reached his limit this time. He's not as fast or as strong as the Lake Fiend. How can he win? Ruotong said anxiously. Zhang Zi, you can do it. Tang Chaowei gritted her teeth and yelled, "You're not allowed to give up. You're still going to be my brother-in-law." A subtle breeze swirled around Zhang Zi's feet. He fixed his gaze on the charging monster. As its hand loomed before him, ready to crush him, Zhang Zi unexpectedly dodged. Then he immediately grabbed several of the monster's tentacles. The essence of soft force technique lies in Tai Chi. Using the force of his landing, he didn't give the monster time to recover. Leaping up to seize its neck moments later, a system prompt appeared. "Congratulations, you have defeated the level 16 Lake Fiend." The level 17 Lake Fiend will appear in 5 minutes. Xiaojin nodded with satisfaction. That technique of using an opponent's strength against them is fantastic. I knew I saw something special in you. Minister Lei, you're definitely losing this one. Minister Lei laughed heartily. Ha ha ha, the crowd erupted in discussion. Wow, Zhang Dong finally has something to be proud of. Zhang Zi, you're amazing, Chen Feng however said in disbelief. Impossible, how could I lose to him? Seeing this, Xiaojin stepped forward to stop him. What are you trying to do? The test isn't over. You're not allowed on the stage. Zhang Zi sat on the combat chair, lips pressed tightly together, looking somewhat worried. The monster reappeared even more ferocious than before. He shouted, you think you can underestimate me? Bring it on then, I'll fight you with everything I've got. However, before he could even touch the monster, it suddenly vanished. How, what's going on? Suddenly, he heard the system prompt, test complete, exiting virtual reality. Please prepare. 5, 4, 3, he looked bewildered. It's over, but I was just getting warmed up. I was just finding my rhythm. Maybe I could have broken through this. And now it's over. Suddenly, someone removed his headset, causing him to yelp. Ow! Xiaojin stood before him, beaming with satisfaction. Little ZZ, you did great. You defeated a level 16 Lake Fiend. You'll definitely pass the test for the Demonic Realm Powerhouse in the security department. He looked utterly confused. Meanwhile, the crowd below cheered wildly. Zhangdong Zhangzi, Zhangdong Zhangzi. Little ZZ, you did great. You defeated a level 16 Lake Fiend. You'll definitely pass the test for the Demonic Realm Powerhouse in the security department. He gave a bewildered, Meanwhile, the crowd below cheered wildly. Zhangdong Zhangzi, Zhangdong Zhangzi. Master, you're amazing. How did you defeat it? I was eliminated at level 4, but you passed level 16. I bow to you. Brother Zhangzi, are you taking disciples? I'll do anything for you, even make tea and pour water. Amidst the cheers, Zhangzi stepped down from the stage. He asked in surprise, what's going on? Tang Chaowei explained. What else? You reached level 16. They're all your fans now. He suddenly understood. I see. Big brother, I'm from Jiangdong Tiangfeng. A student at Blue Sky Academy. We're fellow townsmen. Please take care of me in the future. Zhangzi waved it off. Fans, whatever. I'm a bit tired. I'm going back to the dorm. I have to go to the demonic realm later. Just then, Ruotong called out to him. Zhangzi, he turned back asking in confusion. Yes, what is it, Ruotong? She stammered. Well, you said you were going to the demonic realm, and I'm still stuck on the 11th floor. Could you please help me clear it tonight? He didn't refuse. I could, but it's dangerous for a blind person to enter the demonic realm. Before he could finish, Tang Chaowei shouted, we can't stop these people anymore. Let's go. Sun Ruotong, I'll take you back to the dorm. The crowd behind them continued to cheer, rushing towards Zhangzi. Ruotong quickly added, Zhangzi, my avatar is wearing a blue mage robe. He waved in response. Got it. Ruotong's description caused Zhangzi to pause. How could she know she was wearing a blue mage robe if she couldn't see? Perhaps someone had told her. Floor 11 of the demonic realm under a vast blue sky. Rakshasa searched, spotting the girl in the blue robe. Blue robe, is that Sun Ruotong? Let's go say hello, he thought. Rakshasa walked over and asked, Are you Ruotong? Sky Blue replied with a smile. Are you Zhangzi? He answered. Yes, I'm Zhangzi. I'll help you defeat this floor's boss. Just follow me since you can't see. As he turned to leave, Sky Blue stammered. I didn't mean to hide anything. Actually, I can see everything in the demonic realm. Hearing this, Rakshasa turned back in surprise. Facing her flushed face, he said awkwardly, Oh, I'm sorry. Sky Blue clenched her fists, thinking, so he already knows my true identity. Sky Blue felt a wave of guilt. I'm sorry. I swear I'll never reveal your identity. If I break my promise, I'll accept any punishment. Rakshasa felt helpless, but could only caution, All right, you have to keep my identity a secret. You're the only one who knows. If it gets out, it'll be a big problem. Sky Blue vowed earnestly. Yes, I can take an even more severe oath. Before she could finish, Rakshasa quickly stopped her. No need, I trust you. At that moment, the system prompt appeared. Raging Dragon King, Rakshasa, where are you? I've got good news. Titan can log in today. Rakshasa, Titan's out of the hospital. Is he feeling all right? Raging Dragon King. Not quite, but he can get out of bed now and enter the demonic realm. We decided to head back to floor 11 and help him clear the boss so he can catch up with our progress. Rakshasa, what a coincidence. I have a friend who also needs to clear floor 11. Why don't you all come along? Raging Dragon King. All right, we'll be there soon. See you, Egg Emperor. After reading the message, Rakshasa turned to Sky Blue. My friends will be here shortly. I'll introduce you, she replied shyly. Okay. As soon as she finished speaking, Dragon King and the others appeared, calling out, Rakshasa. He said, let me introduce you all. This is Sky Blue, a friend of mine. She'll be exploring this floor with us. Sky Blue greeted them politely. Please take care of me. Raging Dragon King laughed heartily. Haha, if she's Rakshasa's friend, then there's no problem. Moonshadow stared thoughtfully at the two. What's her relationship with Rakshasa? Girlfriend. Little Diane also looked pensive. This girl, why does she look so familiar? Rakshasa gave the order. Everyone's here, let's get started. We have to clear floor 11 today. Help Titan and Sky Blue get their keys. Tomorrow we can explore floor 12, Titan replied politely. Understood, thank you everyone. After everyone boarded the ship, Rakshasa asked, Titan, how are you feeling? Titan replied, Don't worry, the doctors have cleared me for discharge. Rakshasa felt relieved. Good to hear, feeling like something was missing. Titan asked loudly, How this is going so smoothly. Where are the pirates, Captain Jack? Rakshasa explained softly. That was probably a one-off situation. It's rare for that to happen. We just had bad luck running into it. Hearing this, Titan laughed heartily. Haha, well that's no fun then. Bang bang bang. Rakshasa's group engaged the pirate crew in a fierce battle. Little Rabbit abruptly pushed Sky Blue's hand away, saying loudly, "Take your hand away, you're not allowed to touch my brother Rakshasa." Sky Blue apologized quickly. "Oh, I'm sorry, it's my first time riding a giant beast, so I'm not used to it yet." Seeing this, Rakshasa said displeased. "Little Rabbit, don't be rude," Sky Blue asked in surprise. "Jong Rakshasa, you're amazing, you can even summon a giant beast chariot. What level is your talent skill?" Before he could answer, Little Rabbit interjected proudly. "Peef, that's nothing, brother Rakshasa can even summon bosses." Sky Blue was even more astonished. "What? He can summon bosses?" Little Rabbit said smugly. "That's right, just wait and see," Rakshasa shouted. "Everyone focus, let's finish this quickly and clear the floor, the next level is waiting for us." As soon as he finished, the others replied in unison. "Understood, quick battle." Before long the fight was over, and Dragon King said leisurely, "I didn't expect to take down that octopus monster so quickly this time." Moonshadow said calmly, "With our previous experience this was much easier." Rakshasa thought, "All 10 slots are full. He couldn't recruit a second armored ship captain." System prompt. System, summoning technique, SSS rank level 1, experience, 517 1,000ths, cost 10 health points, cooldown, 60 seconds, effect. After killing a target you can summon a copy of the target, the copy is identical to the original. Unlimited duration, maximum level is 5. Note, level 1 summoning technique can summon 10 copies. Level 2 can summon 30 copies, level 3 can summon 50 copies, level 4 can summon 100 copies, level 5 can summon 500 copies, Rakshasa pondered. The summoning technique was still at level 1, but he'd gained half the experience needed. He hoped to reach level 2 soon, so he could summon 30 followers. The gate to the next floor opened, and Rakshasa said, "Titan and Sky Blue have both got their keys, let's go to floor 12. Dragon King sighed. "Alas, it's no use. We don't have any elemental mages," Rakshasa calculated. "We're still missing fire, lightning, and earth mages. It seems we'll have to find a solution together." Titan spoke up. "I know a fire mage, but she and her team are stuck on floor 10, they can't come over." Little Princess asked, puzzled. "Are we just going to have to post on the forum? Recruiting elemental mages? Those guys are all vampires, even greedier than me." Sky Blue, seeing everyone discussing, offered a suggestion. I think I might be able to help." Dragon King immediately asked excitedly, "Do you have mage friends? What element are their spells?" But Sky Blue denied. "I don't know any mage friends, but my talent skill is elemental infusion. I can add elemental attributes to weapons and equipment." Little Princess was pleased to hear this. "Are you a support mage?" Titan laughed heartily. "Haha, that's fantastic. You're like a lucky star sent from the heavens to help us," Rakshasa thought aloud. "Elemental infusion can add elemental attributes to weapons. That means we can deal with monsters with inherent elemental properties and clear floor 12. Then he decided, "It's late today, we wouldn't be able to do much on floor 12 even if we went, and I have something to do tomorrow. Let's go back and rest up to restore our strength. The guild warehouse has accumulated quite a few demon soul orbs. I'll distribute some to everyone. We'll challenge floor 12 in our best condition tomorrow. How does that sound?" Dragon King agreed happily. "Alright, tomorrow the academy has placement exams. Titan and I need to help out, getting everyone's consensus." Rakshasa decided, "Okay then, that's it for today. I'll send everyone the demon soul orbs later." Everyone replied in unison. "Understood," Rakshasa reminded Titan with concern. "Titan, rest up early and recover well." Titan replied happily. "Okay, sure, I'll go rest then. We continue the battle tomorrow." In a classroom, Minister Lei announced, "Next is the class placement test. You can choose to team up or go solo. This is teacher Gu Tianyang, the homeroom teacher of class A." Zhang Zi asked in surprise. "Where's Shang Xiaojin? Did she complete her task and leave?" Minister Lei looked towards Gu Tianyang. "Teacher Gu, though you're the homeroom teacher of the elite class and have priority in selecting students, please maintain your composure." Gu Tianyang replied with a smile. "My test is simple. Students who are ready can go to the small auditorium across the way. I'll test you personally." Ruotong stepped forward and said, Zhang Zi, I'd like to team up with you." Tang Chaowei said unhappily. "Well, I'm teaming up with you too. I'm afraid Sun Ruodong will hold you back and prevent you from getting into Class A." Her action surprised Zhang Zi. Weren't these two at odds? Chen Feng's two friends laughed loudly upon hearing this. "Hee hee, you're thinking too highly of yourselves, dreaming of getting into Class A? Haha, you might as well follow our young Master Chen, at least you'll have someone to rely on." With that they left laughing. Tang Chaowei snorted. "HMPH, that Chen Feng. I'd love to see him get a good beating." Zhang Zi reassured her. "Don't worry, let them go in and take the test first." 5 minutes later, the door in front of them opened and the three who had mocked Zhang Zi's group were thrown out. Upon seeing them, everyone cursed angrily. "Damn it, what kind of teacher is that? He hits so hard my right leg is broken." Were they beaten up by Gu Tianyang? Even Chen Feng got beaten. I don't want to participate anymore. That's terrifying. This is too much. It's just a class placement test. Why is it like a life or death battle? Chen Feng, still indignant, pointed into the room and cursed. Damn it, I'm the young master of the Chen family. My coming to Qingdai Academy is an honor for your school. How dare you reject me? If my grandfather hadn't insisted, I'd have gone abroad to study long ago. Minister Lei, seeing his behavior, reminded him, displeased. Chen Feng, don't be too presumptuous. The Chen family is indeed prominent, but that's not a free pass into Qingdai Academy. He got even angrier. Damn it, I don't care. I'm going abroad to study, Minister Lei shouted. Get out of here, next group. Zhang Zi said calmly. Let's go, it's our turn. Inside the room, the teacher stood to one side, while Zhang Zi and the others stood on the other. Tang Chaowei frowned. Is this drunken teacher our future homeroom teacher? He's really annoying. Zhang Zi looked calmly at the person before him. He beat Chen Feng up like that, he's definitely not simple. Jiu Tianyang, holding a wine bottle, said with a smile. Are you ready? The rules are simple. If you can touch me, you pass. Remember, don't hold back because I won't either. As soon as he finished speaking, Zhang Zi and the others immediately took up fighting stances. Ruotong said, I can hear the sound of energy flowing through his body. It's very powerful. Zhang Zi assessed. He's just pretending to be drunk. Be careful, everyone. Stick close to me, Diawei said through gritted teeth. Got it, Zhang Zi responded, then shouted, Charge, I'll attack from below. Diawei from above and Ruodong front and center. Understood. The three launched a coordinated assault on Jiu Tianyang, who chuckled. Oh, not bad teamwork. Ruodong swung her staff, charging head-on, but Jiu Tianyang easily parried and tossed her aside. Zhang Zi then attempted a rear attack. Jiu Tianyang smirked. Trying to sneak up on me, are you? Before the blow could land, Jiu Tianyang effortlessly evaded it. Zhang Zi pressed his attack. So what if I am? Take this. Jiu Tianyang halted at a distance, saying with a hint of admiration. You three are far stronger than the previous students, but you're still nowhere near touching me. Zhang Zi asked anxiously. Are you all right? Diawei retorted. I'm fine. That drunken teacher is too fast. We can't even get close. Zhang Zi pondered for a moment, then announced, I have a plan. Diawei inquired curiously. What is it? Zhang Zi explained. Diawei and I will launch a pincer attack from the front, and Ruodong will provide support from the rear. Anticipating his movements, Jiu Tianyang, taking a swig from his flask, muttered, These three kids are amusing. I'll play along. On a raised platform, Principal Ran and another teacher observed the scene. The teacher remarked, why is Jiu Tianyang so slow? He usually finishes a team in 10 minutes, swift and decisive. Why is he taking his time? Principal Ran stroked his beard, puzzled. But he's really in his element now. He must have taken a liking to these three students. Just you wait and see. According to my plan, Zhang Zi thought as he rushed forward to attack. I've already reached my speed limit. Even with the dragon breath technique, I can't catch up to him. Just how high is his agility? Jiu Tianyang said. You're Zhang Zi, right? Not bad speed, but you'll need to work harder, ha ha ha. Ruodong silently counted. 10, 9, 8, 7. Diawei beside her asked anxiously. Well, can you see his movements? Ruodong snapped. Quiet? She then yelled. Left, now Diawei attack, go. Suddenly, Jiu Tianyang turned around, smiling. What, trying to predict my movements? Ruodong hurriedly shouted. Jump back off. Jiu Tianyang, realizing their plan, became even more excited. So you're predicting my position by sound. Now it's my turn to counterattack. I'll take you out first. He charged straight at Ruodong. But when he was a palm's length away from her, she suddenly grinned, startling him. Ha, she's smiling, you fell for it. At that moment, Zhang Zi appeared abruptly. Supple strength technique. Attack together. Ruodong and Diawei charged forward. Understood. Jiu Tianyang, hearing supple strength technique, was taken aback. Supple strength technique? A disciple of Pang Tihua? Before the three could even touch Jiu Tianyang, they were suddenly flung away by a shockwave accompanied by a scream. Zhang Zi struggled to his feet. Wow, that power is terrifying. Principal Ran stepped forward, smiling with satisfaction. Excellent, excellent. Forcing Tianyang to use sealing force. You three are truly exceptional. This year's class placement exam was quite a spectacle. Jiu Tianyang echoed the sentiment. Coming to this year's placement exam was worthwhile. You three are quite interesting. The female teacher approached and handed each of them a badge. Congratulations to all three of you for passing the placement exam. You've been assigned to Class A under the tutelage of teacher Jiu Tianyang, Diawei exclaimed excitedly. The gold badge, only Class A students are entitled to wear it. I finally got it. Now I can go back and show off to my cousin Yuying. Ruodong was equally thrilled. This is so exciting. As the three emerged, all eyes were once again on them, and murmurs filled the air. I thought they'd be carried out too, but they actually passed the placement exam. They're incredible. They're the first team to pass, right? I heard Class A usually doesn't have more than 5 students. With 3 already, that means only 2 spots are left. The competition's going to be even fiercer. Minister Lei reminded them. Go back and rest after the exam. Roll call for Class A is tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Don't be late, Zhang Zi replied politely. Understood. Diawei couldn't resist calling home to share the good news. Dad, I passed the placement exam. I'm in Class A. You're going to buy me a present, right? Ruodong followed him, asking, Zhang Zi, are we still going to the demonic realm tonight? Zhang Zi grinned. Of course, tonight we'll seize the opportunity to clear the 12th level of the demonic realm. Ruodong smiled and nodded. Okay. The 12th level of the demonic realm, everyone's waiting. Dragon King and his group approached. You two finally made it. Wah, let me see your auxiliary element. I can't wait. Hearing this, Rakshasa chimed in. Wah, let's open everyone's eyes, Sky Woo happily replied. Alright, sure. She then summoned her auxiliary element. Dragon King eagerly took out his weapon to absorb it, and a system notification appeared. Your weapon has been imbued with the lightning element, lasting 30 minutes. Dragon King burst into delighted laughter. Haha, lightning element for 30 minutes. All my attacks will have lightning attributes, right? Sky Woo confirmed. Yes, that's right. However, there are some drawbacks to my talent skill. I can't choose the element at will, it's a random attachment, so I don't know what element will come next. Rakshasa wasn't bothered, saying calmly, it doesn't matter. If it's not the element we need, we can wait for your skill's cooldown and use it again. Everyone agreed? Okay. Suddenly, Moonshadow's weapon was enveloped in flames. She cheered happily. Awesome, my weapon's imbued with the fire element and so is Titan's, Dragon King. Seeing everyone's weapons imbued with elements couldn't contain his excitement. Haha, finally we can go monster hunting. Rakshasa glanced around and commented, not bad luck, mostly basic elements. The little princess, observing the crowd below, remarked, these people are really rich, using scroll enchantments to enhance their weapon elements. Dragon King echoed her sentiment. Those things cost hundreds of thousands apiece. We can't afford them. Ayu's talent skill is much more cost-effective. Suddenly, a fire elemental monster charged towards them. Rakshasa quickly warned, everyone be careful, it's a fire elemental monster. Before he could finish his sentence, the monster spewed a wave of flames threatening to engulf them. Titan swiftly stepped forward to intercept. -110 fire elemental monster. Dragon King, seeing this, drew his sword and attacked. -41 Dragon King's rage, -329 reflected damage Titan. -873 Autumn's fall, -73 lifesteal damage Rakshasa and Autumn provided support from the rear. Rakshasa commented, Tisk, using elemental counters makes things so much easier. It wasn't long before the fire elemental monster met its demise. Autumn, watching the monster vanish, mused, using elemental counters is even easier than I thought, Dragon King asked, puzzled. But what kind of monster should I use my lightning element against? Rakshasa replied uncertainly. Probably wood element. We'll find out when we encounter a wood elemental monster, he responded. Alright. As Rakshasa led the group forward, he cautioned, monster hunting is easier than I expected. The elemental lord's lair is just ahead. Everyone be prepared. As Rakshasa and the others approached, they overheard a conversation ahead. Why hasn't the elemental lord appeared yet? It's been a long time since the last sighting. It should have appeared by now, shouldn't it? Yeah, I agree. Is there something wrong with the demonic realm? How are we supposed to clear it if the boss doesn't show up? The forums say the demonic realm has been acting strange lately. Sometimes bosses appear in droves, sometimes none show up for days. Even more absurdly, I heard someone saw the 26th floor boss on the 6th floor of the demonic realm. My god, is the demonic realm collapsing? How did it become like this? Dragon King asked with a serious expression. Is what they're saying true? The boss in the demonic realm isn't showing up. Titan considered this, then replied, perhaps not. Rakshasa looked around. But with so many people gathered here, we'll have to wait in line. We won't be able to clear it today. Sky Woo said with some regret. Then what should we do? It's still early. Seeing this, Rakshasa suggested, why don't we go back and continue fighting small monsters? We can familiarize ourselves with elemental counterattacks and earn more loot. Moonshadow agreed. That works, Dragon King sighed. Well, guess that's all we can do. We need to kill as many monsters as possible, or my elemental enhancement will disappear soon. Suddenly, a commotion erupted from ahead. Rakshasa said sternly, something seems to be happening up ahead. Let's go see. After a few steps, they saw a group of people running while shouting, run! The elemental lord boss suddenly appeared outside the palace. What bad luck, we had to run into the boss. Shouldn't it be appearing in the palace? Why did it come outside? We don't have enough people in our team today, or we'd take it down. Stop bragging. Your skills don't even deal any damage. Moments later, Dragon King shouted in astonishment, my goodness, it's enormous. Before them stood the 12th floor boss. The elemental lord Rakshasa immediately issued commands, everyone get ready. Little Bird, use gravity suppression. Little Bird, summoning her power, retorted displeased, it's Little Bird Yi Ren, not Little Bird, gravity suppression. But surprisingly, the elemental lord showed no reaction after entering Little Bird's gravity suppression range. When Titan attacked, the damage displayed as 0, -0, Titan, he said in surprise. Why is the damage 0? Even Dragon King was astonished. No way, all damage is 0, how do we defeat it? -0, Dragon King grew impatient. Everyone attacked together. But the system only displayed -0 Lu Yuing, -0 One Night Autumn, Rakshasa said in puzzlement. Could it be, this boss has no attributes? Moonshadow hadn't expected this. What? No attributes? The elemental lord suddenly attacked them. With just one strike, the system displayed -3419 elemental lord. Dragon King cursed in annoyance. Damn it, that hurts. Seeing him about to charge forward, Moonshadow quickly stopped him. Dragon King, be careful, don't go forward for now, Little Bird. Controlling the boss said, we need to find a way. My skill won't be able to suppress the boss for long, Rakshasa frowned. If it has no attributes, then there's no elemental counterattack. Is there any way to make it change attributes? At this moment, Sky Woo spoke up. How about I give it a try? Rakshasa glanced at her. What do you plan to do? Sky Woo didn't explain clearly. I'm not entirely sure myself, but I can give it a try. With that, she immediately attacked the boss, auxiliary element. Instantly, the boss was engulfed in flames. Dragon King exclaimed in surprise. Whoa, is that even allowed? Moonshadow was equally complimentary. That move is amazing. Rakshasa also looked at her with admiration. Woo, you're so clever. Sky Woo became more confident. The boss has turned into a fire elemental. Everyone prepare to attack. The group immediately charged forward. -1471, One Night Autumn, -1116, One Night Autumn, -1104, One Night Autumn, Rakshasa said with satisfaction. Haha, it's working. Little Bird, focus on controlling the gravity suppression. Keep the boss contained, Little Bird replied more happily. Got it. They continued their relentless assault, the system constantly notifying -2147, reflected damage, Titan, -1304, One Night Autumn, -2016, One Night Autumn. Haha, the boss's health is already down by a third, keep up the pressure. Just as they were about to succeed, the boss suddenly retaliated with a counterattack. Titan shouted. Everyone be careful, Little Bird reported anxiously. Oh no, my gravity suppression doesn't seem to be working on it anymore. Rakshasa looked at the boss's change in surprise. What's going on? Sky Woo explained. It seems the Elemental Lord is starting to change elements on its own. Dragon King gritted his teeth. What? As soon as he finished speaking, the boss attacked Titan. With one strike it caused him significant damage. -2175, Elemental Lord. He confirmed while defending. As expected, it's changed. Normal attacks are useless now. Rakshasa observed the situation from a distance. It's going to change its element again in a moment. If it changes to a counter-element, the damage will be much higher. Suddenly, someone shouted. The boss changed again. It's turned into a metal element. The boss's entire body turned platinum gold. Rakshasa muttered. Metal element, huh? Moonshadow, you're a fire element. Find an opportunity to attack the boss. As soon as he finished speaking, Moonshadow charged forward with her sword. All right, with her continuous barrage of attacks, the system notified. -2411, Lu Yueying, -3587, Lu Yueying, -8444, Lu Yueying, Dragon King shouted in surprise. Wow, Moonshadow, your damage is incredible. But even so, the boss wasn't greatly affected. It turned to look at Moonshadow, who had her back to it. A shout came as a warning. Moonshadow, be careful, the aggro has shifted to you. As soon as the words were spoken, the boss attacked Moonshadow. But fortunately, Titan blocked it in time. She retreated, saying regretfully, my sword draw was a bit too slow. If I had my Orc Berserker blade, I could have landed 2 or 3 hits just now. Dragon King angrily gritted his teeth and cursed. When will this boss stop changing? My lightning element is getting impatient. The boss refused to give up and turned, searching. Seeing Moonshadow's position, it attacked again. Moonshadow, watch out, this time. Not as lucky as before, Moonshadow took a hit. -3984, Elemental Lord, she cried out. Ah, Rakshasa ran over anxiously. Moonshadow, he caught her just in time, asking with concern, are you alright? You've been spacing out lately, haven't you? Hearing his question, Moonshadow stammered. Rakshasa, I have a favor to ask you. He countered. What favor? Moonshadow said firmly. I want to learn swordsmanship from the Orc Berserker, Rakshasa readily agreed. That's easy, anytime, but first we need to defeat this boss, Moonshadow replied politely. Thank you. Suddenly, Little Bird, the birdman in the distance, shouted. You two stop flirting and pay attention. The boss has transformed into a giant lightning element. While you were talking, the Elemental Lord got close. Rakshasa stepped in front of Moonshadow, drawing his bow and aiming. My arrows are earth element, perfect for countering it. He released the arrow, which flew straight towards the boss. But surprisingly, the arrow just stopped outside the boss's body. Dragon King asked in surprise, what's going on? Why didn't it do any damage? Suddenly, a boom sound rang out. -16,741 Rakshasa. Everyone was shocked by the notification. Wow, Rakshasa, how did your damage get so high? Rakshasa was also surprised. I didn't expect the damage to be this high. It was a critical hit too. Seeing the boss still ready to fight and preparing to attack them, Titan quickly reminded them, quick, get behind me and hide. The old warrior resisted while sighing, alas, my role as a stalwart defender is becoming less and less important. My attack is low and I can't hold aggro. If only I had a taunt or some other talent skill. Luocha comforted him. Hang in there, old warrior. As soon as he finished speaking, he shot another arrow at the boss, dealing -5,799 damage. Dragon King, seeing the boss's health bar, roared with laughter. Haha, everyone put in a little more effort. The boss only has a third of its health left. Suddenly, Moonshadow said worriedly, something's wrong. Everyone look. When they turned around, they found that they were surrounded by people who had appeared unnoticed. Little Bird said anxiously, crap, more and more people are watching. Are they going to steal the boss from us? Dragon King yelled angrily. Let's see who dares, Luocha advised. Don't worry, I have a plan. As soon as he finished speaking, he began to summon. Immediately afterward, a giant beast and several other monsters appeared. Dragon King, seeing this, laughed loudly. Haha, Luocha, your summoned monsters are the real bosses. Luocha paid no attention to his praise, simply ordering, everyone, let's finish this quickly, understood. The people behind them were stunned by the giant beast and monsters summoned by Luocha. My god, what are those? A juggernaut, a high priest, a beast swordmaster. Where did those monsters and the boss come from? They look like summoned bosses. You learn something new every day. Summoning monsters is one thing, but summoning bosses, how are we supposed to play? How are we ordinary adventurers supposed to survive? The demon realm is getting more and more chaotic. Seeing the scene before them, some people backed away. My god, there are too many bosses. Let's be sensible and get out of here, or we'll be instantly killed. Luocha drew his bow, aiming straight at the elemental lord's head. Die! As soon as he spoke, the arrow was released, a critical hit. Minus 9,371 damage. The elemental lord screamed, ah! Then the system notification sounded. Congratulations, you have slain the elemental lord. Luocha, looking at the dropped loot, said, it's over. Dragon King happily said, haha, there's so much equipment dropped. Luocha picked up a necklace and the system displayed its information. Elemental necklace, rank A, spirit plus 17 effect, none, durability 900/900. Then he handed the necklace to Sky Azure. This necklace is good, plus 17 spirit. It suits you, Azure. Take it. This battle was thanks to your help, Dragon King added. Yes, it was thanks to your skills, but she refused shyly. No, I can't accept it. Suddenly, Moonshadow walked over from behind, her expression serious. Luocha, I've discovered a very serious problem. Luocha turned around and asked, what problem? Moonshadow looked around. It seems there's no teleportation gate to the 13th level of the demon realm here. Hearing this, everyone exclaimed in surprise. What? Sky Azure looked around and said, it seems to be true. Why hasn't the gate appeared? Titan was worried. If the gate doesn't appear, could it be related to the abnormal situation in the demon realm? Dragon King also wondered. The gate hasn't appeared yet? Quick Little Bird asked. Did we just fight the boss for nothing, but we already got the key? Suddenly, the crowd behind them started discussing in surprise and fear. My god, we're in big trouble. My expert friend just messaged me from the 19th level of the demon realm. And the teleportation gate has disappeared there too. What's going on? Something big is definitely happening. Is the demon realm going to close down? Damn, how are we supposed to hunt monsters and make money now? I'm counting on this job to support my family. Without strong players in the demon realm, who's going to fight the abyss fiends? Is this the end of humanity? Dragon King suggested. Luocha, since there's no teleportation gate, let's head back for now. If something really happens to the demon realm, it'll become very dangerous, Moonshadow said worriedly. I'm going back to ask Uncle Lu right now. He'll definitely know what's happening in the demon realm. Luocha agreed. Yes, everyone should go back as soon as possible. We need to pay close attention to the news these days. Maybe we'll find some answers. Okay. The next morning, as soon as they arrived at school, they heard people discussing the events of the previous night. The demon realm is really going to be in chaos this time. Did you hear? Even the guide spirits are gone. You can't select the demon realm level you want to go to through the spirits. What? Does that mean we're doomed? In recent days, even the trading house has stopped operating. Tang Chaowei shouted loudly downstairs in the dormitory. Zhang Zi, wake up, we need to go to class for attendance. As soon as she finished speaking, several boys were attracted by her shouting and asked curiously, who's that girl? She's shouting here early in the morning, but she's pretty good looking. Zhang Zi appeared, puzzled. Wasn't it supposed to start at 9? It's only 8 now. Tang Chaowei glared at him, scolding him for his nonchalant attitude. I heard 5 people got into Class A this time. Let's go see what the other 2 look like. Zhang Zi said, a little aggrieved. I haven't had breakfast yet. Tang Chaowei grabbed his wrist and dragged him away before he could finish speaking. Forget breakfast, let's go. In Class A, Junyang sat opposite Ruotong, introducing himself. Hi, you're also in Class A, right? I'm Lin Junyang from Red Star Academy in Gaoyuan City. Nice to meet you, Ruotong politely introduced herself. I'm Sun Ruotong. Suddenly, Ruotong heard footsteps and shouted happily, Zhang Zi, you're here. Junyang waved enthusiastically. Hello, I'm Lin Junyang. Zhang Zi also happily responded. Oh, hello, I'm Zhang Zi. You're also a student in Class A? Junyang answered readily, not forgetting to introduce the other person in the class. Yeah, that guy with glasses is Shang Chuyu. He's been sitting there reading a book and hasn't said a word. I tried talking to him, but he ignored me. Luckily you guys came or I'd be bored to death. Tang Chaowei asked curiously. By the way, how did you pass the placement test? That drunk teacher is hard to deal with. Thanks to Zhang, cough my efforts, the 3 of us were able to pass. Hearing her question, Junyang scratched his head and laughed. Teacher Jiu Tianyang is indeed very strong, then Junyang recalled. At that time, I tried my best to hold the teacher back. My nose was bleeding and I had a headache for days. Zhang Zi asked in surprise. You said you held the teacher back? What do you mean? Junyang explained. Oh, I've had a special ability since I was a child. I can control objects with my mind. As he spoke, he demonstrated. This surprised Zhang Zi, Tang Chaowei, and Ruotong. There's such an ability? That sounds amazing. Zhanyang further explained, I could only control small objects before. To prepare for this exam, I absorbed a lot of demon soul orbs, and my spiritual power increased significantly. I can now move larger and heavier objects, but I'm still far from teacher Jiyu Tianyang. The silent Shang Chuyu suddenly spoke. Your spiritual power is still too weak, especially when facing a strong person like Jiyu Tianyang. You're just asking for trouble. Tang Chaowei was unhappy and asked sharply, you seem to know a lot? Then how did you fight that drunk teacher? Shang Chuyu replied calmly, I didn't fight him, I passed directly. As soon as he finished speaking, everyone was even more surprised than when they heard about Zhanyang's ability. What? You said you didn't fight Jiyu Tianyang and pass the exam directly? Zhang Zi thought, did he pull some strings? Otherwise, how could he get into Class A without taking the exam? But Tang Chaowei said it directly. How is that possible? Can City University College have backdoors? How is that possible? Suddenly, Jiyu Tianyang, his face flushed, came in from outside with a wine bottle cursing. What's all the noise? Tang Chaowei said unconvinced. I'm going to report it. Someone got into the class through a back door. How can he be assigned to Class A without taking the exam? Zhanyang, standing next to him, pinched his nose and complained, he's drinking again. Jiyu Tianyang didn't care at all, just said in surprise, oh, you're talking about him, that's right, I made an exception to recruit him because he solved a problem that had been bothering me for 3 years. Hearing this, Tang Chaowei felt even more unfair. Why, this is unfair. Jiyu Tianyang ignored her emotions and simply replied, you'll find out whether it's fair or not in the future. Zhang Zi advised, let's not argue about this. Teacher Jiyu must have his reasons. Jiyu Tianyang changed the subject. Stop talking nonsense. I've been teaching at City University College for 6 years and I've taught 2 classes of Class A, a total of 10 students. But only 4 of them managed to graduate. The graduation rate is quite low. You need to be prepared. Zhanyang asked in confusion, then why didn't the other 6 graduate? Jiyu Tianyang didn't answer immediately. He took a sip of wine and said with a heavy expression, because they're all dead. His answer shocked Tang Chaowei. What? All dead? Jiyu Tianyang closed his eyes and replied calmly, they were mediocre and ultimately died at the hands of abyss fiends. You can't blame anyone else. His cold answer made everyone fall into deep thought. Jiyu Tianyang continued, my requirements are very strict, so you must be determined to pass my test. Don't think you're excellent. In front of me you are nothing. After saying that, he didn't give anyone a chance to ask questions. He turned around, leaving only one sentence. That's all for today. Training starts tomorrow. Cherish these last moments of relaxation. Oh, this wine is really good, Tang Chaowei frowned. That's it for today's class. Zhanyang was also unhappy. Didn't the teacher say to cherish these last moments of relaxation? On a less crowded street, a person wearing a takeout food delivery jacket and a hat walked while talking. I've arranged a replacement for Mad Blade. If he can't hold on, then send him on his way. I have 2 tails behind me. I'll contact you later. After saying that, he suddenly turned into an alley. When he looked up, he was surprised to find that 2 men were already standing there waiting for him. One of them spoke, National Security Department Zilu. We suspect you are related to the Dawn organization. Please come with us, he sneered, jumping up to escape. You think you can catch me? He lightly jumped over one of the men's heads. Seeing this, the others drew their guns and shot at him. He didn't dodge but just stood there. Then he laughed loudly. Ha 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 ha, this Marvel gear works better than a bulletproof vest. He laughed as he took off his jacket, which was riddled with bullet holes. Bullets can't kill me. At this moment, the man who spoke first rushed up to attack him. But he was easily blocked. He taunted, National Security Department, a few $1,000 a month, is it worth risking your life for? Hearing this, he punched him angrily. Stop talking nonsense. As soon as he finished speaking, Zilu convulsed and fell to the ground. The man clenched his fists, gritting his teeth. Damn it, so what if he has demon realm equipment? I have it too. Cough cough cough, take him back. In a meeting room, Jiyu Tianyang announced, you're all familiar with virtual reality combat gear, right? I've adjusted the settings for each person. Now use the equipment to start 24-hour training. Tang Chaowei couldn't believe her ears. What? 24 hours? Does that mean we're staying up all night? Jiyu Tianyang scolded. Sleep? Will monsters wait for you to sleep? Will enemies wait for you to sleep? They'll only attack you while you're asleep. At this moment, Zhanyang interjected. Hey, why hasn't Zhang Zi arrived yet? Jiyu Tianyang didn't explain much, simply answering, you don't need to worry about that. I've arranged special training for him. After all, he's Bang Tiwa's disciple. Tang Chaowei asked curiously, oh, what special training? In another location, a piercing scream rang out, Zhang Zi, while resisting the giant rocks, cursed, damn it, these rocks are too big. He exerted all his strength. Even though I'm using the dragon breath technique, I can only move them a few meters. I can't push them at all. Jiyu Tianyang stood on the shore holding a wine bottle in his hand and instructed, breathe, pay attention to deep breathing. You've only moved a few meters after several tens of minutes. Is this all Bang Tiwa's disciple is capable of? Zhang Zi concentrated his mind. Deep breathing? Does the dragon breath technique have something to do with breathing when teaching the dragon breath technique? Professor Pang did say that I need to strengthen my deep breathing training. A month later, on an airplane, Chen Feng, holding a water glass, said, my mother has arranged everything for me. Someone will pick me up as soon as we land. The person next to him replied, "Why not use a private jet to transport you? It's an insult to your status to squeeze onto this broken plane with these lowly people." Chen Feng replied calmly, "My mother doesn't want to be too high profile. After all, the Chen family is one of the 4 major families. It's not something to boast about for descendants to study abroad." The person, glancing at his watch, said, "Tonight, Colonel Andrew, Deputy Minister of the Department of Defense of the United States of America, the captain of the Cutlass Operation Team, would like to discuss future plans with you." Chen Feng was excited to hear that. Great, the Cutlass Operation Team, he thought to himself. City University College, Gu Tianyang, Zhangzi, Lu Yueying, I will make you pay sooner or later. Zhangzi, propping up the giant rock with one hand, answered his sister's call. Xiao Feng, what's the urgent matter that you called your brother about? Xiao Feng said happily on the phone, Brother, Dr. Yang just called and said that there are finally new bionic kidneys. I can have surgery in a few days. Then Zhangzi, hearing this, said happily, That's great, don't worry, I will definitely go home to accompany you then. Xiao Feng smiled and said again, Hee brother, there is one more thing. Yesterday afternoon our homeroom teacher took us to the demon realm. Zhang Zi asked in surprise, What, you went to the demon realm too? Xiao Feng excitedly told him, Yes, but the demon realm is still very chaotic. All the guiding spirits have vanished, leaving us new recruits unable to awaken our talents. Brother, what's your name in the demon realm? Zhang Zi replied happily. The demon realm has been unstable for the past month, so be careful when you enter. I'll tell you my name later. 95 words. Xiao Feng on the other end of the phone replied, Okay, I got it. I miss you. Zhang Zi propped himself up with one hand on a boulder, holding the phone with the other, and continued, Alright Xiao Feng, I'm still training. I'll ask teacher Jiyu for leave later, and I'll definitely be with you on the day of the surgery. Xiao Feng replied reassuringly, Okay. After hanging up, Zhang Zi crushed the boulder with force, sending rubble and water splashing everywhere. Seeing this, he sighed helplessly. Oops, I used too much force and shattered the rock into pieces. Now I'm going to get scolded again. On the other side, on the 12th floor of the demon realm, Rakshasa had just teleported over and asked in surprise, You're here? Yueying, who was training, turned around and replied, Yes, I'm here. You're early today. Rakshasa didn't waste any words and said directly, Yueying, I have something to take care of in a few days and won't be able to practice swords with you. She asked in surprise, Oh, what is it? Do you need my help? He declined. It's nothing. I can handle it myself. Let's hurry up and start practicing. Yueying didn't ask any further questions and replied, Okay. She picked up her sword, walked up to the masked man and said confidently, Today I will win against you. The masked man simply replied calmly, The sword moves with the heart. She had to overcome was herself. The two began to fight fiercely, with the masked man guiding from the side, pointing out that she had too many distracting thoughts when she drew her sword. Moonlight Shadow rushed forward shouting, Neither of them would give way, he said while fighting. To defeat me you must abandon your current swordsmanship. Moonlight Shadow responded unconvincingly and attacked again. Rakshasa observed silently from the side, secretly marveling at how hard this girl was working. She had been practicing continuously for a month, and her enthusiasm had not diminished at all. On the other side, in Zhao Feng's operating room, the chief surgeon instructed, Inject her with anesthesia. The assistant replied, Understood. Dr. Yang stepped forward and reassured Zhao Feng, Don't be afraid, just relax as usual, don't be too nervous. Although Zhao Feng was uneasy, she tried her best to answer, Yes, I hope I don't have to go to the operating table again in the future. He smiled when he heard this and said, You're too nervous, your heart rate and blood pressure are a bit high, you can chat with me to relax. She replied, Thank you, Dr. Yang. I'm 18 years old this year, and a few days ago my teacher took us to the demon realm. Dr. Yang exclaimed, Oh, congratulations, Zhao Feng. So what talent skills did you awaken? At this time she had calmed down and replied happily, The demon realm is unstable now, and it seems that there is no way to awaken talent skills, but I am looking forward to it. Zhao Feng proudly looked forward to it. It would be great if I could be as powerful as my brother. Dr. Yang picked up the syringe ready to inject Zhao Feng and did not forget to ask, Oh, is Zhang Zi's talent very powerful? Zhao Feng said proudly, Of course my brother awakened an SSS level talent. She suddenly paused. My eyelids are so heavy, I'm so sleepy. The anesthetic began to be injected into Zhao Feng's body, and Dr. Yang asked in surprise, Really, SSS level? This is the first time I've heard of someone awakening an SSS level talent. He continued to ask, Your brother is so powerful, what's your brother's name? Zhao Feng obediently replied, My brother won't let me say. Dr. Yang refused to give up and stubbornly asked, Zhao Feng, I'm not an outsider. Tell me what your brother's name is? At this time, Zhao Feng's consciousness began to blur and she could only say intermittently, My brother is called Rakshasa. Dr. Yang was so shocked that he couldn't believe his ears and he repeated unconsciously, What, Rakshasa? He pulled down his mask, handed the syringe to the person next to him and smiled sinisterly. Zhang Zi, Rakshasa, it's really unexpected. The person next to him was equally surprised and he asked back, I didn't expect it, boss, do we still continue? Dr. Yang turned and left instructing, No, this girl is very important. Arrange for someone to take her away. I want to use her to exchange something with Rakshasa. No, Zhang Zi. Hearing the order, the man took the order and said understood. In front of the operating room door, the word operating was displayed on the door. Zhang Zi sat on the bench anxiously. Although he was worried, he still tried to comfort himself. She will be fine, nothing will happen. Suddenly, the phone in Zhang Zi's pocket rang. He answered the phone angrily, unable to help but curse, wondering who on earth was calling at such a critical moment. Teacher Shang Xiaoqin listened to the interrogation on the phone while driving. Zhang Zi, why did you only answer the phone now? Don't let your sister go into the operating room. That doctor is not a good person. He asked back in panic. What do you mean? Explain clearly. Xiaoqin explained, what I mean is that guy named Yang Nuo is the leader of Dawn. Don't let him operate on your sister. It's dangerous. He couldn't believe his ears and repeated subconsciously, what? The leader of Dawn? Zhang Zi rushed into the operating room without hesitation, cursing loudly. Damn it, a doctor ran out to stop him. The operation is in progress. Family members cannot enter. Zhang Zi punched him without saying a word, warning get out of the way. Unexpectedly, this doctor blocked Zhang Zi's punch with one move. He stepped back and Zhang Zi recognized him. It was him, Zheng Hao. He took off his mask, his face fierce, and said, Zhang Zi, you've become stronger, but the stronger the better, otherwise it would be too boring to kill you easily. Zheng Hao and Zhang Zi fought until the walls cracked and smoke filled the air, attracting the attention of many people around. A nurse screamed, ah, someone is fighting in the operating room corridor. Zhang Zi threw a punch, shouting, get out of the way. A security guard who was running away sighed, my God, are these two people human? They punched a hole in the wall. Another security guard helplessly proposed a solution. Big brother, rushing up is no different from sending ourselves to death. It's better to wait for the police to come. Zheng Hao picked up his knife at this time, smiling sinisterly. After losing last time, I have been working hard to cultivate. The purpose is to defeat you, he told Zhang Zi. Now your sister has been dissected, you can't save her. After hearing this, he gathered his strength in his hands and a golden light surrounded Zhang Zi's body. He rushed forward and punched Zheng Hao in the abdomen, catching him off guard, and then said, Zheng Hao, die. He was knocked into the air and hit the wall, and the wall tiles were almost broken. Zheng Hao asked puzzledly, what was that, a move? Zhang Zi raised his foot, ready to attack Zheng Hao, who was lying on the ground, and answered his question at the same time. This is one of the moves of the broken meridians, called exploding meridians. I'm telling you this so that you can die knowing why, so that you won't be asked by the King of Hell when you go to hell, and you won't be able to answer. Suddenly, wood chips splashed and white smoke filled the air, and Zhang Zi quickly made a defensive posture. When the smoke cleared a little, he immediately looked forward. Yang Nuo walked out of the operating room, pretending to be amiable, and asked, Xiao Zi, didn't I tell you to wait quietly outside? The injured Zheng Hao pointed at Zhang Zi from the side and said, Uncle, hurry, help me kill him. Zhang Zi was thinking about the shock caused by Yang Nuo just now. The power just now was terrible. It seems to be the power of the demon realm. How is that possible? He questioned Yang Nuo. Where is my sister? What did you do to my sister? He replied calmly. Don't worry, your sister is very safe, but if you want to see her, you better do as I say. Zhang Zi pointed directly at Yang Nuo's face and asked, what do you want me to do? He stated his true intentions gently. It's very simple. At 8 o'clock tonight you enter the demon realm and we'll exchange something. He asked back in confusion. The demon realm is unstable now, and I'm still trapped on the 13th floor, how can I go? Suddenly, a spear flew over, shooting towards Yang Nuo, but he dodged it, and it stuck in the ground. Yang Nuo asked with a smile, haha, the domineering girl is here too, it's really lively today. Xiaoqin rushed forward, ignoring the security guards behind her, and said, Yang Nuo, you can't escape today. He picked up a scroll and responded disdainfully, haha, can't escape, I don't think so. The scroll emitted a purple light, forming a magic circle under Yang Nuo and Zheng Hao's feet. Xiaoqin was surprised when she saw it and said, ha, that's a prop from the demon realm. Yang Nuo did not forget to remind him at this time. Zhang Zi, or rather Rakshasa, at 8 o'clock tonight the gate of the dead realm will open, we'll see you there. After speaking, the two disappeared. Zhang Zi questioned, why are you looking for me? What do you want to use me for? Yang Nuo, who turned into a cloud of black mist, replied with a ferocious face, because you are now the only person in the world with an SSS-level talent skill. Xiaoqin was also surprised after hearing this and asked, what? Zhang Zi, you awakened an SSS-level talent? He remained silent. In another room a voice shouted, Big brother. The door slowly opened. Yang Nuo walked into the room and announced solemnly, my identity has been exposed. I can't stay here any longer. Once I get what I want, we'll leave. Zheng Hao, covered in injuries, sat on the sofa with difficulty. Yang Nuo's subordinate said in surprise, what? Big brother has been hiding in Tianfeng City for so many years, how was he suddenly exposed? Yang Nuo replied with a smile, hee, because there was a variable. You order the gravedigger next to you, gravedigger. We will enter the dead realm tonight, and this place will be left to you. Be sure to ensure that the boss survives until I get what I want, she replied confidently. Understood, big brother. Yang Nuo continued to instruct, Monster, you and Fatty guard outside the area where the boss appears. Don't let other adventurers come to make trouble. And if necessary, you can deal with a few to set an example. The others replied firmly, Understood. Zheng Hao pleaded from the side, Uncle, you must help me kill Zhang Zi. Yang Nu instructed. Xiao Hao, you are too injured. Stay and watch Zhang Feng. I will let Monster record the whole process of Zhang Zi's death and show it to you. Finally, he concluded, it's still early. Everyone get ready. I will definitely not have any omissions this time, his subordinates also replied confidently. Understood. On the 12th floor of the demon realm, Rakshasa stood in the center of the magic circle. He said in surprise, the dead realm really appeared. The bulletin board read, the gate of the dead realm is open. Do you want to use the invitation to enter? Yes or no? Suddenly, a group of people walked over, and Dragon King shouted excitedly, Rakshasa, you came really early today. He turned his head in surprise. Why is everyone here? Dragon King replied. Haha, Rakshasa, we heard that you and Moonlight Shadow have been secretly practicing swordsmanship these days, so we came to see today. Hearing this, he refused. I'm afraid it won't work today. I have something important to deal with. Moonlight Shadow stepped forward and asked, important thing, what is it? Can I help? Dragon King also said, yes, Rakshasa, just tell us. He frowned, looking very anxious, and he didn't hide it from them, answering, well, my sister was kidnapped by Dawn. Moonlight Shadow couldn't hide her surprise after hearing this and asked back, what? Your sister was kidnapped by Dawn? The others were also surprised, with nervous expressions on their faces. Rakshasa affirmed, yes, Dawn wants me to go to the dead realm to find him. Dragon King clenched his fists and said, what? Damn it, Dawn kidnapped a girl. A grown man actually plays such tricks. Rakshasa, I'll go with you. Titan next to him also agreed. That's right, Rakshasa is our brother. We will never stand idly by when a friend is in trouble. I will definitely go. What about you? The others said one after another. Do you still need to ask? I'll go with you. We'll go too. Shen Mengdi said, normally I would charge a lot of money for help, but since we are friends I will help you for free. Rakshasa said gratefully, thank you everyone. Then he warned, but the dead realm is very dangerous. I hope that if something happens, everyone must protect themselves. Dragon King listened and said forcefully, okay, let's not waste time, let's go. Moonlight Shadow continued, yes, saving your sister is more important. Rakshasa cast a teleportation spell. Okay, then we'll go to the dead realm first. They all disappeared with the teleportation spell. Creepy red notes appeared. This is the eerie park. Tang Chaowei gripped her hands tightly, saying fearfully, what kind of ghost song is this? It's so terrifying. The witch next to her asked curiously, is this park the dead realm? This is my first time here. Ah, are those people foreign adventurers? Titan corrected. That's right. Adventurers from all over the world can enter the dead realm, Dragon King reassured everyone. What's there to be afraid of? There are so many of us. No one dares to provoke us. Rakshasa pointed in a direction and instructed, we'll follow them. That should be the entrance to the park. He clicked on the bulletin board and said, got the message. The bulletin board showed chat information with Yang Nuo. I am my own master. Zhang Zi, I'm waiting for you at the park entrance. Hurry up. Rakshasa received. Below is another announcement. Dawn, go to the central stage of the park. The clown boss is waiting for you there. Rakshasa received. He waved to everyone. Let's go. We'll go to the park entrance to find a friend and then go in together. Moonlight Shadow replied. Okay. Zhang Zi opened the system page, checked the information on it, and said, got the message. It's from I am my own master. She wrote, Zhang Zi, I'm waiting for you at the park entrance. Hurry up, I'm waiting for you. Rakshasa replied below. Okay. Dawn also sent a report message. Go to the central stage of the park, clown boss. I'm waiting for you there, Rakshasa. Okay. After closing the system message interface, Zhang Zi quickly waved to everyone, urging, let's go. We'll go to the park entrance to find a friend and then go in together. Lu Yueying followed closely behind and replied, okay. I am my own master had been waiting with her arms crossed for a long time. A few minutes later, Zhang Zi finally arrived with his friends. As soon as she saw him, he briefly explained the message he had just received from Dawn. I'm here. He just sent a message asking me to go to the central stage of the park. Xiaoqin turned to look at him, then glanced at the people behind him. Perhaps she was a little impatient from waiting. She bluntly said, these people are your friends? They don't look very combat capable. Zhang Zi glanced at her, did not argue, and simply agreed, yes, they are all here to help. If things go wrong, I will let them go back first. Hearing him say this, Xiaoqin became even more worried and reminded him again of the dangerous situation. The other party was not an ordinary person. They were the merciless Dawn. Lu Yueying, standing next to her, said confidently, don't worry, we will protect ourselves. Dragon King next to her also said with a smile, that's right, we won't hold you back. Hearing this, Xiaoqin had nothing to say. She turned around and took the lead. Okay, I'll lead the way first, you take care of yourselves. Zhang Zi followed behind. Shouted out loud. They quickly arrived at the place with the stuffed toys and the grotesque clowns. Tang Chaowei looked up at them, her tone undisguised with disgust. Humph, these monsters are disgusting. Xiaoqin didn't have time to sigh. She gripped her weapon tightly and rushed towards them directly. Quick battle, don't get entangled. Dragon King, holding a stick, covered from behind and rushed up triumphantly. Got it. I want to see how powerful the monsters in the dead realm are. Dragon King's chosen opponent was a dilapidated rocking horse whose stomp could cause as much as 3,752 damage. The aftershock shook the hands holding the stick and Dragon King gritted his teeth. Damn it, the monsters in the dead realm have too much attack power. Unlike him, Xiaoqin swung the spear in her hand, easily crushing the 5-meter-high stuffed toy in front of her, and continuous attacks caused huge damage. I am my own master, minus 17,759. I am my own master, minus 28,759. I am my own master, 39,752. I am my own master, 17,458. I am my own master, minus 29,352. I am my own master, minus 32,754. I am my own master. Lu Yueying stood aside, her mouth wide open in admiration. Wow, the damage is so high. Tang Chaowei next to her was equally surprised. Wow, that's amazing, Rakshasa. Where did you find such a powerful person? A few minutes later, Zhang Zi and his party solved the monsters blocking the way, and then I am my own master took the lead. Reaching the center of the amusement area, a crowd had already gathered in front of the gate. One of them angrily cursed, "Fuck, the stage entrance is blocked. We can't get in." Others were equally furious. "Damn defense towers, their attack power is ridiculously strong and there are so many of them. What are we supposed to do?" An impatient fellow boldly suggested. "Let's just rush in together. I don't believe we can't break through with so many of us." The person next to him quickly stopped him. "Are you crazy? Didn't you see that assassin get fried by a dozen lightning bolts the moment he charged in? You go first and we'll follow from behind." Zhang Zi walked up behind them and asked, puzzled, "What's going on? Why is everyone gathered at the entrance?" A guy with a spiky hairstyle in the crowd grumbled, "Don't even mention it. I was the first one here. Thought I'd be the first to kill the boss. Looks like I got my hopes up for nothing." Someone else looked up and said, "Yeah, look." Zhang Zi followed their gaze and frowned in disbelief. Before him were towering iron pillars with interconnected rings above resembling lightning rods. A reckless person in the crowd stepped forward and was immediately charred by the accumulated lightning above. "Ah," Xiaoqin recognized it instantly. "That's a lightning defense array. Everyone stay away. It attacks anyone who enters its range." Zhang Zi, sensing the danger, warned. With so many defense towers clustered together, attacking any one of them would trigger a simultaneous attack from all of them. It's easy to get killed instantly. Lu Yuejing, standing behind, felt puzzled. "That's strange. The entrance is blocked by defense towers. How did Dawn and the others get in?" Dragon King said suspiciously. "Could Dawn have used some kind of trick?" "Damn it," Xiaoqin stepped forward and commanded, "Everyone stop arguing. The most important thing now is to rescue people quickly." At that moment, Zhang Zi noticed a dark figure behind one of the lightning defense towers in front and warned loudly. "Someone's coming." The fat dark figure revealed a cunning smile in the darkness and said, "Rakshasa, our boss is waiting for you inside. Come on in. My defense towers won't hurt you." The dark figure slowly walked out. It was Cake Pops. He stood in front of Zhang Zi, smiling, and said, "The boss said he only welcomes you. Everyone else must stay outside. Don't even think about breaking in or you'll be fried to a crisp by lightning." Zhang Zi didn't think much and immediately agreed, "Okay, I'll go in alone." Xiaoqin was very worried and grabbed his shoulder, warning, "You're going to face Dawn alone. The odds are against you." Zhang Zi brushed off her warning and stepped forward to follow Cake Pops, leaving only one sentence for the others. "I can't worry about that now. Rescuing people is the priority. You guys stay here and be careful." Dragon King was also very worried but felt helpless. "What should we do? We can't let Rakshasa go in alone." Lu Yuejing remained silent, silently praying for his safety. Rakshasa, Titan, also disagreed. Unable to just watch Rakshasa go to his death, unlike their group who were worried about Zhang Zi's safety, the warriors on the other side were furious, feeling it was unfair. They had arrived first, but only Zhang Zi was allowed to enter. An orange-haired person cursed indignantly. "Damn it, I don't believe this." A person with dark blue hair next to him was equally angry, pointing at Zhang Zi and saying, "He can go in, so why do we have to wait here?" With these two leading the charge, the group of fearless warriors rushed into the lightning defense zone. Charge. The result was predictable. As soon as they stepped into the defense zone, they were instantly electrocuted into charred corpses. "Ah," Xiaoqin looked at the victims in front of her and assessed, "I can't get through either. The lightning spells are not only powerful but also have a paralyzing effect that will affect my speed. Once I'm paralyzed, I'll be left standing here to die." Shen Mengdi, standing beside her, also understood the terrifying power of these defenses and blurted out, "Ah, no one can withstand the combined attack of a dozen defense towers." Xiaoqin gripped her spear, saying with a conflicted expression, "No matter how you look at it, forcing our way in is a death sentence." Ruotong, standing in the back, hesitated, then suddenly spoke up, "I have an idea, but I don't know if it will work." Hearing this, Xiaoqin and Lu Yuejing immediately turned to look at her, asking in unison, "What idea?" At this moment, Zhang Zi had been led to the center of the defense zone and saw the scene before him. Lu questioned, "Did you set up these defense towers?" The other party nodded without hesitation and replied, "That's right. My talent skill is Defense Tower Master, which allows me to summon defense towers to aid me in battle. Anyone who steps into the tower's attack range, even high-level adventurers, will be utterly defeated." Zhang Zi glanced at Cake Pops and sighed, not knowing whether to praise or criticize. "Well, that's quite impressive. I didn't expect such a talent skill to exist." Cake Pops waved his hand, smiling, and said, "It's just a little trick. It's far inferior to your talent. I heard your summoning skill can summon bosses. That's fantastic, truly the best among us summoners. I'd love to see it for myself. Zhang Zi was in no mood for idle chatter. He raised his hand and urged, we can talk about that another time. Stop chatting and take me to see Dawn. Cake Pops listened and said no more, silently leading Zhang Zi towards Gravedigger and Dawn. Dawn heard the footsteps and turned to see Zhang Zi. He said, oh, you've arrived. Welcome to my stage, Rakshasa. You will witness the birth of a miracle here. Zhang Zi replied in a deep voice, I'm here. Release my sister first. Dawn clapped his hands with a smile and said, don't be impatient, my performance hasn't started yet. Darling, it's your turn. Following the direction of his arm, Zhang Zi saw a woman with a cold demeanor walking out of the shadows of the defense zone. Her red hair was particularly striking, Tai Yun Zuyue. Zhang Zi's eyes widened when he saw her, utterly astonished. Ha Lu Yui. Hearing this name, Tai Yun Zuyue was also surprised and asked, you know my sister? Zhang Zi nodded, then asked, sister, you're Yuying's older sister, Dawn, standing beside them, urged. Darling, enough with the chit-chat. Let's get to the main event. Don't keep the audience waiting. Tai Yun Zuyue nodded and whispered, okay, I'm sorry, Rakshasa. After she finished speaking, she raised her hand and pressed it against his chest. Zhang Zi asked in a panic, what are you doing? At that moment, a system prompt appeared. System. Tai Yun Zuyue is using her talent skill on you. Zhang Zi was filled with doubt. What is Tai Yun Zuyu's talent skill? What is she trying to do to me? Suddenly, Dawn patted his shoulder from behind and said, don't move or your sister will die. His mind was instantly thrown into chaos. What should I do? Xiao Feng, are you alright? The man pointed at the girl's face and cursed. If you dare to play tricks on me again, I'll beat you. The girl shouted back, I've had enough. You won't let me go to the bathroom, so I had to go right here. He cursed. Damn, that's disgusting. Go to the bathroom now. Then he shoved the girl into the bathroom. 5 minutes, hurry up and finish, and don't try anything funny, the girl shouted. Okay, a sly expression appeared on her face as she thought, 1 minute is enough. If you dare, come find me in the demon realm, you idiot. She snapped her fingers lightly and disappeared. In the demon realm. She was teleported to a verdant space. Is this the demon realm? I finally escaped. No, I'm not completely out of danger yet. I have to contact my brother quickly, tell him my location and have him come rescue me. She quickly edited a distress message. System Peach Blossom. Brother, I'm Xiao Feng. I've entered the demon realm and am temporarily out of danger. Please come rescue me. My address is, the message was sent successfully, and suddenly a voice rang out. Peach Blossom, welcome to the demon realm. I am your guide spirit, she said excitedly. Oh, the guide spirit has appeared. Can I awaken my talent now? The spirit replied, yes, please choose your attire in the demon realm. She pondered, resting her chin on her hand. For attire, I'll choose a pink dress and a mask. My brother said the demon realm is a lawless land and very dangerous. I must protect myself. The spirit immediately fulfilled her request. All right, then she put on the attire she desired. The spirit continued to guide. Peach Blossom, if you are ready, we will begin activating your talent. Please place your hand on the crystal ball. Your talent skill will automatically manifest. She slowly walked to the crystal ball, and when she placed her hand on it, the crystal ball immediately emitted golden light. I'm so nervous. What will my talent skill be? It won't be SSS rank like my brother's, will it? Hee hee, I'm just daydreaming. It'll probably be C rank or D rank, maybe A rank at best, right? The spirit said. Congratulations on your awakening. The scene shifted to Yuying's side where everyone was engaged in a heated discussion. Wet, what idea did you come up with? Yeah, what idea? Tell us quickly, I can't wait. I've been observing the attack patterns of these defense towers, and it seems that lightning attacks can be countered by lightning resistance. It seems so, then what? Although my auxiliary element is random, with so many of us, there's bound to be someone with lightning resistance. Sounds feasible. But even with lightning resistance, the damage won't be completely nullified. Ordinary people can't withstand it. We need a healing adventurer to protect us. Little Princess raised her hand and spoke. That's me. Good skill. Guaranteed healing output, Dragon King also said. Then what are we waiting for? Let's try it. The female teacher, hearing this, immediately took action. Time is of the essence. There's no better way right now. Cast the spell on me first, Wet said. Okay, I'll start casting the spell. Then she raised her hand and formed a hand seal casting the spell. Auxiliary element. The female teacher was surprised to see the result. It's not lightning. It's fire, Gloomy reminded. Cooldown time 60 seconds. Next one, get ready, Yuying said. I'll go next, I hope I get lightning. Then Gloomy raised her hand to cast the spell and Yuying said disappointedly. It's not lightning, it's ice, Titan comforted. It's okay, we still have a chance, keep going. Titan's turn, it's Earth, Little Princess said. I'm wood. Yuying looked very disappointed. What should we do? Not a single one is lightning, Dragon King quickly said. It's my turn, we still have a chance, Gloomy responded and began to cast the spell again. A dazzling purple light bloomed and Dragon King's long staff was wrapped in purple lightning. He shouted excitedly. Ha ha ha, it's lightning, it's lightning. Back to Zhang Zi's side, he looked at his arm, checking the information. You have received a message from a friend, please check, he thought. It's Xiao Feng. Xiao Feng escaped to the demon realm. I must find a way to save Xiao Feng. But contrary to his wishes, he needed to break through Zuyue standing in front of him first. Zuyue said, the skill is complete. Zhang Zi wondered, what's going on? My attributes haven't changed, and my body hasn't reacted at all. What did she do to me? Dawn looked at Zuyue and asked, "Darling, how did it go? Was it successful?" Zuyue replied, "Yes, it was successful, but the situation is different from what we predicted." Dawn held the book and asked in confusion, Different how? Skill book replication, summoning technique, SSS rank, no damage. By learning this skill book you will gain a brand new talent skill. Note: 1. This skill book is a consumable item. 2. The learner must possess an SSS rank talent. 3. If the learner has more than 5 talent skills, this skill will randomly replace an existing talent skill. Dawn roared furiously, "What?" His face darkened, and he muttered incessantly, "The learner must possess an SSS rank talent. The learner must possess an SSS rank talent. The learner must possess an SSS rank talent. The learner must possess an SSS rank talent. Impossible, impossible. Darling, are you alright? Impossible, I can't take it anymore." He crushed the book in his hand, then shouted loudly, "I originally wanted to use the replication technique to turn your SSS rank talent summoning technique into a skill book, so I could possess a talent skill that surpasses everyone else, commanding a powerful boss minion army invincible and unrivaled under the heavens. Unfortunately, man proposes, God disposes. The show has to end early, and you are nearing your end." He walked forward triumphantly and said, "I won't let anyone with powerful skills live in this world, so you can die now." The woman, seeing this, also chimed in, "Boss, can I kill him? I hope to tattoo the name of the first SSS rank talent adventurer on my body." Dunn waved his hand in response, "Alright, I'll leave here first. I'll give you 10 minutes to kill him before your charm wears off." Tai Yun laughed upon hearing this. "Haha, thank you, boss. I'll love him well. Rakshasa, you'll be the 342nd name on my body." "Ha ha ha," Zhang Zi said in surprise. "Huh, what's this?" A loud bang came from behind him. Amidst the rolling smoke and dust, purple lightning crackled and a figure carrying heavy weapons appeared. It was Dragon King, who shouted, "Rakshasa, we're here." The fat man shouted in astonishment, "What the hell? You guys actually got through my defense array." Dragon King swung his heavy weapon and roared, "Stop talking nonsense, your crappy towers have been crushed to dust by us." The female teacher comforted, "I've received your sister's address and have already sent someone over. You don't have to worry." Zhang Zi replied, "Okay, thank you." Then he joked, "Dragon King, that new hairstyle of yours really suits you." Dragon King retorted in embarrassment, "Screw you," Yuying asked him. "Rakshasa, what did they do to you?" Zhang Zi replied, "I'll tell you about it later. By the way, Yuying, there's someone named Tai Yun Zuyue who looks just like you. She said she's your sister." Hearing this, Yuying was shocked. "What, my sister and Dawn?" Suddenly, the female teacher said, "Stop talking for now, the Netherworld boss is coming." The former deity, upon hearing this, asked in confusion, why does this leader have a confused status above his head? And that guy sitting on the clown's head is excitedly waving his weapon. "Kids, the show's about to start. Are you ready to die? Ha ha ha." The Death Realm clown leader let out an eerie laugh. Fatty, upon hearing this, also fired a few shots for good measure. "Tomb Raider, there are so many of them, I'll help you," the Tomb Raider said indifferently. "Fatty, you can take anyone except that kill." The giant god raised his shield high and shouted, "Watch out for bullets, the one above might have confused the clown leader." The Dragon King raised his firearm and charged forward. "Whether he's confused or not, I'm going to beat him." Seeing this, Zhang Zi stopped waiting and directly summoned his strongest lineup. "Not bad, since we're going head-on, let's test this firepower. Come on out," the Tomb Raider said ominously. "Since the kids are so excited, I'll give you all a surprise." The clown suddenly smiled strangely, chuckled, and snapped his fingers. Surprise! A series of gift boxes with question marks rained down from the sky. One box landed right on the Dragon King's crotch. "Gift box, what the hell is this?" "Scare box. Level 1 effect. Sends scare boxes to all hostile targets. Scare boxes randomly contain 4 types of bombs: explosion, freeze, sleep, and silence." The teacher hurriedly warned everyone loudly, "It's a scare box, the clown leader's skill. Everyone hide." Immediately after, the boxes exploded one after another. The bombs landed one after another in everyone's hands. Damn it, they're bombs. They exploded instantly, catching people off guard. Damage minus 2,755. The bomb exploded and Little Princess was affected by a silence bomb. "Silence? What the hell is a silence bomb? I can't use my skills." Someone was hit by a freeze bomb and frozen solid. Someone was hit by a sleep bomb and fell asleep. Zhang Zi said, "I'm silenced too, but I summoned objects so it doesn't affect me much." The teacher also sighed. As expected of the Death Realm leader, his skills are too ruthless. The Tomb Raider laughed triumphantly. "Ha ha ha, your numerical advantage is gone. Do you still have a chance to win?" Suddenly, an arrow flew from a certain direction, dealing damage to her. Damage minus 4,755 Rakshasa. Zhang Zi pointed his bow at her and shouted, "Whether we have a chance or not, you'll find out if you try." The Tomb Raider was now filled with fear. "Damn kid, I didn't expect such high damage," she ordered. "Clown, kill Rakshasa." Upon hearing this, the clown rushed forward waving its claws. "You brat, you didn't buy a ticket." Seeing this, the teacher stepped forward and shouted loudly, "Everyone step back and protect those who are asleep and frozen." "Leave this leader to me." She bravely rushed forward like a goddess, jumping up and stabbing straight at the clown's head. Damage minus 9,411. "My way," the clown screamed in pain. "Ah, that hurts." Zhang Zi also took action at this moment. "Swordsman, High Priest, go together, kill the Tomb Raider and her confusion effect will be lifted." The swordsman immediately rushed forward, unleashing his swordsmanship, his sword aura like the wind, but as fast as lightning, she instantly disappeared. Suddenly she appeared in front of the high priest, slicing his neck with a single stroke. Rakshasa, is this the minion you summoned? Too weak. These low-level demon realm leaders of yours are not even as strong as small monsters to me. The high priest only had time to let out a cry of alarm. The snake demon glared at the Tomb Raider, quickly dodging and circling behind her to attack. The Tomb Raider was a little surprised but quickly reacted, wielding her giant axe and slashing at the snake demon's neck, shouting, "Die! Damage minus 11,442. Tomb Raider." The Dragon King, seeing the snake demon get hit, anxiously shouted, "Quick, heal the snake demon." Little Princess was equally anxious. She shouted at the Dragon King, "Do you think I don't want to? The silence effect hasn't ended yet." The giant god observed from behind his shield. He sighed. "Ha, the damage is too high. This is the strength of a Bureau official corps member," Moonchaser observed from the outside. "Ha, how interesting. Zhang Zi and the Tomb Raider are fighting fiercely." Moonchaser turned to Bureau Light and said, "Darling, can you let them go?" Bureau Light curled his lips. "Let them go. The gate of God is about to open. The demon realm and this world are about to merge into one. As a servant of God, I must help God eliminate these ignorant fools." Moonchaser, upon hearing this, was somewhat surprised. "A new world, is it really coming?" Moonshadow and the others then woke up. "Ah, what a good sleep. My head is dizzy." "Moonshadow, you're finally awake. Be careful." During the battle, Fatty, while firing his gun, said, "Tomb Raider, finish the battle quickly. Their people are about to wake up." Giant God suddenly said, "I'll block the bullets." Zhang Zi ordered, "Little Bird, quickly control the guy using the confusion spell." Moonshadow, "Find an opportunity to attack." Little Bird responded, "Okay." The Tomb Raider waved her scythe, arrogantly saying, "That archer is a waste. I'll take his head first." Then she used Dragon Breath technique. But Zhang Zi quickly jumped away and dodged it, making her exclaim in surprise, "This speed, how is it possible?" Zhang Zi looked behind him with icy eyes. Taking this opportunity, Little Fairy immediately activated her skill, Gravity Suppression. The Tomb Raider was hit, screaming in terror. "Oh, what is this skill?" At this moment, Moonshadow and Sword God rushed forward together. "You're going to die." 10,000 swords like the wind, combined all wind glory slash. 3 moves combined, making her stagger backward. Luckily, Fatty blocked it. The teacher on the other side was not to be outdone. Activated skill, Overlord Spear, Sulfur Monosulfide Gray. The clown could only shout, "Ah, it hurts so much." Seeing this scene, Mane was also surprised. 110,000 damage, directly clearing the health bar, so her skill is Sulfur Monosulfide Grade. Too terrifying. The clown fell at the feet of the teacher, who stood in a cool pose. She turned to the Tomb Raider and said, "Tomb Raider, your clown is finished. Prepare to die." But she stubbornly stood up, retorting, "Don't rush. My clown has one last trick, a very interesting one." Under everyone's astonished gaze, the clown miraculously moved again, unleashing his final move. "Sorry kids, my performance wasn't very good. But it doesn't matter, I guarantee the final act will satisfy you," the teacher hurriedly shouted. "Look, our names are all written on the cards. These are death cards. Whoever is drawn must die." "What, must die? There's such a skill? It's too twisted. I don't want to die yet." The clown's fingers spun rapidly. "The lottery begins. Who will be the first lucky winner today? Rakshasa, no matter who is drawn, you must be prepared. The first lucky winner is," he flipped a card, "Sky Devouring Toad." "Damn it, it's a toad. It's the Sky Devouring Toad." Suddenly a giant hand descended from the sky. The toad only had time to let out a croak before being crushed and instantly disappearing. Seeing this, Zhang Zi cursed, "Damn it, your summoned minion, Sky Devouring Toad, has been killed," the teacher hurriedly reminded. "Rakshasa, what are you waiting for? Seize the opportunity and kill the clown." Then immediately drew his bow and shot an arrow, putting all his strength into the attack. "Avenge my Sky Devouring Toad." The arrow pierced the clown's head, causing significant damage. Minus 17,522. Rakshasa, the clown fell to the ground. Seeing this, the Tomb Raider was furious and cursed. "Damn it, my clown," a system notification sounded. "Congratulations on killing the eerie clown. Congratulations on killing the eerie clown." Global announcement. The Death Realm leader, Eerie Clown, has been killed by Rakshasa. Congratulations. Everyone who heard the announcement was shocked. What? The Death Realm leader has been killed? The Death Realm has been open for less than 2 hours. What kind of speed is this? This Death Realm is quite difficult. To kill the leader so quickly, this person named Rakshasa is not simple. Which country is Rakshasa from? I really want to befriend him. Rakshasa, I think I've heard this name before. That's right, he's the one who killed the Death Butcher last time. Seeing that the situation was not good, Fatty planned to slip away. "Your clown has been dealt with. I'm leaving first," the Tomb Raider said. "HMPH, Fatty, you're quick to run," Mane shouted. "Don't let them escape." The teacher also rushed forward. "Want to run? Where do you think you're going? Leave your lives if you want to leave." Fatty had already run away first. "Goodbye," the Tomb Raider also said. "I'll play with you kids here this time." The announcement resounded throughout the entire area, and everyone who heard it was stunned and started discussing it. What? The Death Realm leader has been killed. The Death Realm has been open for less than 2 hours. What kind of speed is this? This Death Realm is quite difficult. To kill the leader so quickly, this person named Rakshasa is not simple. Which country is Rakshasa from? I really want to befriend him. Rakshasa, I think I've heard this name before. That's right, he's the one who killed the Death Butcher last time. Cake Fatty, seeing that the situation was not good, said to the Tomb Raider, "Your clown has been dealt with. I'm leaving first," the Tomb Raider said angrily. "HMPH, Fatty, you're quick to run." And the defeated clown lay on the ground, gradually disappearing into the air while dropping many items. Seeing them trying to run, Zhang Zi hurriedly said, "Don't let them escape." Mai Wei immediately rushed forward shouting, "Want to run? Where do you think you're going?" As she spoke, she rushed forward pointing her spear at the two of them. "Leave your lives if you want to leave." Cake Fatty was so scared that he immediately disappeared, leaving only a goodbye. The Tomb Raider also cast a spell to escape. She said in a mocking tone, "I'll play with you kids here this time." But before she could disappear, Zhang Zi's arrow had already pierced her arm. She shouted in pain. "Ah," system prompt, Rakshasa's arrow dealt her 7,894 damage. Zhang Zi looked at the injured and fallen Tomb Raider. Unable to escape, he said, "You still want to run?" She gritted her teeth and cursed unwillingly. "Damn it," Mai Wei jumped in front of her, pointing her spear at her, saying, "Let me take care of her." Suddenly, the sound of weapons clashing rang out, blocking Mai Wei's attack. She stopped, took a step back and said in surprise, "Ha, what's this?" A sliver of bureau light suddenly appeared. He stood in front of the Tomb Raider and smiled evilly. "My subordinate, it's not your turn to deal with her." The Tomb Raider behind him quickly apologized. "Sorry boss, I failed." Bureau light comforted her. "Tomb Raider, step back, I'll take care of this." Seeing Bureau light suddenly appear here, Zhang Zi was very surprised. He asked Mai Wei in confusion, "How did he suddenly appear? Even if he's fast, it's impossible." She immediately answered him, "It can only be a talent skill." The Tomb Raider behind him immediately disappeared. Bureau light immediately answered Zhang Zi's question, surprised, "Why did I appear so quickly?" "Rakshasa, I said I won't let you leave here alive." Hearing this, Mai Wei immediately advised everyone to retreat. "The clown is dead, you can freely exit the Death Realm. Don't fight Bureau Light, let's go." But before everyone could react, Bureau Light suddenly appeared in front of Zhang Zi. He said in surprise, "Ha, how is he so fast?" He stretched out his hand, a dice hovered in his hand. He smiled slyly. "You can leave here, but Rakshasa must stay." Seeing the dice, Mai Wei felt a sense of danger. Her expression worried. She immediately reminded, "Rakshasa, be careful of his skill." A dice appeared above both Zhang Zi and Bureau Light's heads. System prompt. Death Gamble Level 1, Effect. Casts a death gamble on self and another target, duration 15 minutes. Note 1. The gamble ends when one of the two parties dies. If both survive until the end of the time, they die together. Note 2. The gamble is not limited by space, it is also valid in the real world. Hearing the system prompt, Moonshadow was surprised. "Death Gamble, how can there be such a skill?" Giant God said worriedly from the side. "He's trying to take Brother Rakshasa's life." Bureau Light laughed triumphantly. "Haha, Rakshasa, I keep my word. Within 15 minutes, only one of us can live. Today I will have you die. Whoever dares to let you live until tomorrow, when the gate of God opens, it will be the time of your demise." Mai Wei, hearing his arrogant words, could no longer bear it, immediately rushed forward with her spear, wanting to attack him, shouting loudly, "Self-deception, I'll kill you first." But he agilely dodged her spear and even calmly praised, "Good spear technique." Seeing this, Moonshadow also rushed up while saying to everyone, "Let's go together, I don't believe we can't take him down." Giant God agreed upon hearing this. "That's right, 15 minutes, let's make it a quick battle." As soon as the words fell, Giant God, Moonshadow, Dragon King and Little Princess all rushed towards Bureau Light. Zhang Zi, while pulling his bow, looked at the people rushing up around him and said, "The defense tower is out of order. More and more people are coming." Speaking of which, Zhang Zi thought if he summoned the clown here, it would be difficult to control. The crowd rushed in. Seeing the leader fallen on the ground, they were surprised and discussed, "Wow, Rakshasa killed the leader." Seeing Bureau Light, they were shocked and said to each other, "Damn, it's Bureau Light, why is he here? How did they start fighting? Could it be that Rakshasa and the others are from the Demon Realm Bureau trying to attack the Bureau Light organization?" "That's great, the Bureau Light organization has harmed many people. Several of my friends died in their hands." As soon as the words fell, they cheered for Zhang Zi. "Rakshasa, go, kill Bureau Light and completely destroy this evil organization." On the other side, no matter how Moonshadow and Dragon King attacked, Bureau Light could easily dodge. Zhang Zi turned to Tang Chaowei and said, "Little bird, suppress him quickly." Tang Chaowei honestly replied, "He's always teleporting, I can't lock his position." Hearing this, he turned and instructed Kai Chu. "Kai Chu, find a chance to reduce his speed." Kai Chu immediately took the order. "Okay." As soon as the words fell, Kai Chu immediately created a layer of ice to wrap around Bureau Light's feet, making him unable to move, but he calmly said, "No matter how many people come, these low-level skills are just child's play to me." Seeing him trapped, Zhang Zi hurriedly said, "Little bird, move quickly." But before he could make a move, he broke free from the ice under his feet. At this moment, Mai Wei suddenly appeared above his head. She used Overlord Aura. Towering female general with astonishing strength appeared, shouting, "Die!" Everyone around her gaped at her moves. Simon exclaimed, "What kind of talent skill is that? The effect is explosive, totally awesome. I want to record this and share it with my friends online. What an eye-opener, so many masters with incredible talent skills." At the same time, Tang Chaowei successfully set up a magic circle at the feet of a Ray of Dawn. and she cheered. Success, however. A ray of dawn stood still, a confident smile on his face. Zhang Zi worried. Does he still have a trump card? Suddenly, a ray of dawn revealed a sly smile and raised his hand. He summoned in sulfur monosulfide rank holy light armor, blocking unrestrained S-long spear, and said smugly, "The holy light is with me. You ants will perish." The overlord spear and the holy light armor clashed violently. Seeing this, Zhang Zi exclaimed in surprise, "What? How many skills does he have?" The overlord spear is in sulfur monosulfide rank skill, yet it's blocked. Even unrestrained is shocked. Dragon King cursed angrily. "Damn it, what is that golden armor? It can block 110,000 damage, that's insane." Titan and Little Princess were also stunned. Zhang Zi's expression gradually turned serious. The countdown above a ray of dawn's head now only had 7 minutes left. He said smugly, "Surprised? I have other talent skills I haven't used yet. But the time for the deathbed is almost up, you probably won't get to see them." At this moment Moonshadow rushed forward saying, "Time is running out, I don't believe his armor can withstand all of our skills combined." Zhang Zi had no choice but to try. He immediately summoned the beast swordsman and rushed forward with Moonshadow saying, "We have to try. Swordsman, we're counting on you." A ray of dawn looked at Moonshadow and said rudely, "Teaming up with such a low-level boss, live as naively as your sister. In my eyes your combination is nothing but trash," the beast swordsman shouted as he charged. "Sword dance of the wind." Hearing these disrespectful words, Moonshadow said angrily, "Don't insult my sister, now I'll kill you and take her back." Her slash combined with the beast swordsman's sword dance of the wind, forming a whirlwind blade of light. Their combined attack immediately reduced a ray of dawn's health but still couldn't break through his holy light armor. He smiled smugly. A combined skill, impressive momentum. Tang Chaowei, watching the time tick away, said anxiously, "Think of something quick. The suppression time is almost up." Moonshadow rushed forward again saying, "Let's try again, I don't believe we can't break his shield." Seeing this, the beast swordsman immediately used sword dance of the wind and charged forward with her. Seeing this, Zhang Zi said to the others, "It seems his shield isn't absolute defense. Let's break it together." The surrounding people were filled with determination, shouting in unison, "That's right, we'll fight him to the end." As soon as the words fell, everyone charged forward. Zhang Zi's arrows pierced through the wind. Finally, his arrows shattered the holy light armor into pieces. Moonshadow rushed forward shouting loudly, "Let's beat him to a pulp." Unrestrained also rushed forward urging everyone, "Now's our chance, kill him." Looking at the fragments of the holy light armor, a ray of dawn said grimly, "I originally only wanted to kill Rakshasa, but now I've changed my mind." He was furious, his face dark, gritting his teeth. "Now I'll make you all die here," he roared. "Die, you ants!" At the same time, a dark power appeared in his hand. Tai Yun chasing Moon suddenly appeared behind him, advising, "Darling, stop." Seeing the person, Moonshadow cried out in concern, "Sister." Hearing her call, Tai Yun chasing Moon responded sadly, "Moonshadow, I'm sorry." Over here, a ray of dawn was still activating the great dark sky black array. He said frantically, "No one can stop me from killing you all. You will all be judged by death. I'll show you my ultimate skill." As soon as he finished speaking, darkness enveloped all sides. The surrounding people panicked and discussed in confusion. "What the hell, I can't see anything. That array of dawn is too despicable, using such a dirty trick." Seeing this eerie scene, someone cursed loudly, "Damn it, what skill is this? It's pitch black, I can't see anything." Zhang Zi quickly reassured everyone, "Be careful everyone. This darkness is no ordinary thing. We've lost our sight." Everyone gathered together, back-to-back defense. Everyone agreed, "Okay." In the dim darkness, a terrifying face suddenly appeared saying, "Who will be judged first?" A ray of dawn suddenly appeared and stabbed unrestrained with his sword. A warning sounded. 6 o'clock, he's coming. It was Melancholy. She was back, continuing to warn, "No, 10 o'clock. But it was too late. Unrestrained had already been stabbed by a ray of dawn, losing 5,811 health points, and she screamed in pain. Realizing that Melancholy could sense a ray of dawn's location, Zhang Zi immediately stood in front of her. And Yang and Qi Li said to everyone, "Be careful, protect Melancholy." Then he said to Melancholy, "Melancholy, we're counting on you to sense the direction." A ray of dawn immediately disappeared, hiding in the dim darkness, thinking, in a state of lost sight, relying on hearing to sense direction. Could she be? Over here, Tang Chaowei walked closer to Melancholy, back to back with her, calling her name, "Sun Ruotong." Melancholy immediately responded, Seeing Zhang Zi and the others surrounding and protecting Melancholy, a ray of dawn hiding in the darkness decided, "I didn't expect someone to have such keen hearing. It seems we need to end this quickly." At this moment, Unrestrained turned to Zhang Zi, reminding him, "Rakshasa, your jester skills cooldown is almost over. A ray of dawn will likely target you first." Hearing this, Zhang Zi immediately instructed, "In that case, I'll draw him out." "Moonshadow, you and Swordsman get ready." Moonshadow replied worriedly, "That's too dangerous." Suddenly, Melancholy warned, "Rakshasa, be careful, he's targeting you." Rakshasa immediately looked around vigilantly. A ray of dawn instantly appeared behind Zhang Zi, slashing away 62% of his health. He said viciously, "Rakshasa, die." Seizing this opportunity, Zhang Zi shouted, "Moonshadow, Swordsman, now!" The swordsman immediately used Sword Dance of the Wind, combining with Moonshadow's swordsmanship to form a whirlwind blade of light attacking a ray of dawn. But he only sneered contemptuously, mocking, "I told you, this low-level boss is just a puppet to me." sword broken, person dead. As soon as he finished speaking, he struck the swordsman with his sword, cutting away 34,839 health points. The swordsman was instantly eliminated. Watching the swordsman gradually dissipate, Moonshadow said in pain, "Swordsman, my swordplay mentor, just like that." Taking advantage of her distraction due to the swordsman's death, a ray of dawn immediately swung his sword towards her, shouting viciously, "You'll all go to hell," Zhang Zi warned loudly, worried Moonshadow. Careful, Moonshadow retreated painfully, thinking regretfully, "Is it time to say goodbye? Rakshasa, there's so much more I want to say to you." Zhang Zi, Dragon King and Titan rushed forward to intervene, calling out her name anxiously. Moonshadow, just then, Tai Yun chasing Moon suddenly appeared, blocking in front of Moonshadow and taking the blow for her. She screamed in pain. Seeing this, Moonshadow was extremely shocked. She cried out in pain, "Sister, what are you doing?" Tai Yun chasing Moon slowly fell, and before she died she still tried to persuade a ray of dawn, "Darling, stop, let them go." The darkness around them gradually dissipated. Watching Tai Yun chasing Moon slowly fall, a ray of dawn questioned in pain, "You foolish woman, why did you do this?" Moonshadow held Tai Yun chasing Moon in her arms, crying anxiously, "Sister, little princess, please save my sister." But Tai Yun chasing Moon stopped her, saying weakly, "It's no use, Moonshadow, you must live on." Seeing this, Unrestrained turned to condemn a ray of dawn. "You're the one who caused all this tragedy. Now you should cancel the death bet and surrender, confess your crimes." "I think that's Tai Yun chasing Moon's last wish." But a ray of dawn showed no sorrow or remorse. He said stubbornly, "Surrender, I killed the person I loved most with my own hands and none of you are innocent. I'll make you all die with her." Moonshadow angrily swung her sword and rushed towards him, saying hatefully, "I'll kill you to avenge my sister." At this moment only 58 seconds remained on the death bet countdown. Zhang Zi clapped his hands on the ground, preparing to cast a summoning spell. He said to everyone, "Protect me." As soon as he finished speaking, he immediately summoned the jester. Everyone shouted in unison, "Protect Rakshasa." Everyone rushed forward together, attacking a ray of dawn. This guy is insane. We'll fight him to the end." A ray of dawn frantically swung his sword at them, roaring, "Die, all of you die." As soon as the jester appeared, he began his performance. The next act was undead card draw. As soon as he finished speaking, countless playing cards surrounded a ray of dawn. A card flew towards a ray of dawn, and he immediately shouted, "Shield." The jester looked at him and said, "It's too boring to have only one person playing the game. So let's announce today's lucky winner, a ray of dawn." Seeing this, Zhang Zi said happily, "Got him." Over here, a ray of dawn was still surrounded by playing cards. The jester's huge hand slowly approached him. A ray of dawn gritted his teeth and resisted, saying unwillingly, "Is this really the end?" The jester's hand immediately rushed forward, shattering a ray of dawn's shield with one punch. Fragments flew into the air and dust filled the air. The system immediately popped up a message. System prompt: the death bet has been lifted. Zhang Zi and the others were overjoyed, cheering, we won, we really won." At this moment, Shang Qin, who was standing nearby, looked at the items a ray of dawn had dropped on the ground and said, "I'll take his things back to the Bureau for investigation first to see if we can find any other clues." Suddenly, a golden card caught her attention. She walked over and asked curiously, "What's this?" "Gate of God's Pass." Zhang Zi also noticed the card and asked curiously, "Divine Kingdom, what's that?" "I've never heard of it." Shang Qin looked at the card in her hand, her expression very serious, and said earnestly, "It seems we must report this to the director as soon as possible." Zhang Zi looked at the countless items that had fallen from a ray of dawn and exclaimed, "This guy has so many skill books, it seems he really killed a lot of adventurers." Shang Qin observed from the side and replied, "Let's take them back and study them slowly. The dead domain is about to disappear. Let's leave here quickly." "Over here," Moonshadow said sadly, "I didn't believe in fate before, but now I feel like fate really exists. I hope my sister can be happy in another world." Zhang Zi approached her and comforted her gently. "Moonshadow, sometimes we have to learn to let go. It's a necessary part of life. Let's go." Everyone gathered together, and Zhang Zi said, "Let's leave here quickly and gather at the first level altar of the demon domain." Everyone shouted in unison, "Okay." The surrounding people cheered, "Well done, you defeated Dawn. Fighting evil and upholding justice. This was truly the most exciting battle I've ever seen. You Chinese people are amazing, actually defeating such a powerful opponent. That jester's move at the end was absolutely brilliant. The key to victory. Rakshasa, Lu Yueying, you two were both outstanding." A moment later, they gathered on the first level of the demon domain. Xiao Feng waved to Zhang Zi, shouting loudly, "Brother, I've been waiting for you for a long time." Zhang Zi saw her and shouted in surprise, "Little sister." Zhang Zi turned to thank everyone. "Thank you all so much today. I won't say much more in the future." Before he could finish speaking, Titan interrupted him, saying, "Brother Rakshasa, there's no need to be so polite, but today has indeed been eventful. Let's all go back and rest." Shang Qin, who was behind them, chimed in, "Yes, we're all very tired. I didn't expect we could kill Dawn." After speaking, she immediately logged out of the game, bidding farewell to everyone before leaving. "Then everyone go back and rest. I'm going back to investigate. I'll let you know if I find anything." Zhang Zi waved goodbye to her, saying, "Okay, sure." Then everyone left one after another. Zhang Zi took Xiao Feng's hand and left as well. As they walked, Xiao Feng asked him curiously, Brother, who kidnapped me? Where did you guys go just now? Zhang Zi took her hand, saying gently, I'll tell you when we get home. By the way, Xiao Feng, what talent did you awaken? Xiao Feng ran ahead, held out her hand, and playfully made a 5, saying, his awakened talent is HMPH, I won't tell you. Zhang Zi looked at her, saying helplessly, you're such a mischievous child. In the hazy light of California inside a public martial arts gym, 2 people were practicing on the ring, and 2 others walked over, saying, Chen Feng, stop practicing. Get ready to go back to China. We're leaving next week. Chen Feng didn't stop practicing, saying while practicing, go back to China? Why? I'm staying here to continue training and try to pass the 2nd-tier Demon Domain Expert Assessment. The man in the black suit said, the Triennial Young Demon Domain Expert Exchange Conference is about to be held, and this year's host is your great Sha Kingdom. I plan to send you and a few others to participate. Chen Feng didn't care, still punching nonstop, answering through gritted teeth, what exchange conference? I'm not interested. I'm going to continue training. The man ignored him and continued, also your family informed you that your fiancé has been getting close to a man named Zhang Zi recently. Hearing this, Chen Feng immediately took off his boxing gloves and threw them on the ground. He said angrily through gritted teeth, damn it, I'm going to prepare to go back to China right now. He jumped off the ring, cursing in his mind with vulgar language. That woman dares to mess around? What a fool. Watching Chen Feng's departing back, the man in the black suit instructed the person next to him, tell Henry and the others to get ready. They'll be going back to the great Sha Kingdom with Chen Feng. The subordinate answered respectfully, yes sir. At this moment in Japan, inside a courtyard, someone came to see Takahashi, but the servant said, I'm very sorry. Mr. Junichiro, Ms. Takahashi is unavailable today, due to unforeseen circumstances. We hope you can understand. The man named Junichiro replied, in that case I will come back another day. Inside the room, Takahashi lay on the bed as her servant reported, leader Junichiro has left. Takahashi then instructed, good. Junichiro is a cabinet minister and remains useful to our Twilight organization. Tonight you will serve him and explain that it is to make up for today's disappointment. The servant respectfully replied, yes leader. After that she sat up and dismissed the servant. All right, you can leave. Do not let anyone disturb me. The servant bowed respectfully and answered, understood. 2 people appeared on the other side of the line, and she asked, what urgent matter do you have for me? A man in a black suit said, Yang Nuo is dead. Upon hearing this news, Takahashi was stunned and asked in disbelief, what, dead? The one-eyed man immediately explained, the video shows that he was killed by a person named Lars. He is very strange and seems to be able to summon leader-level monsters. The man next to him continued, if the divine envoy learns of Yang Nuo's death, he will surely be furious. Upon hearing this, the one-eyed man immediately said to him in fear, Brother Ulrich, don't be rash. Do not mention the divine envoy casually. It makes me nervous. The man named Ulrich continued, during the Divine Envoy's century-long slumber, the leader of Twilight has been killed. Moreover, the Divine Envoy once granted Yang Nuo a pass. Takahashi replied angrily, the only way to rectify this now is for us to complete Yang Nuo's mission in his place and activate magic in Daxia country. As far as I know, this Magic Domain Powerhouse Exchange Conference will be held at the location of the Magic Cave. I will place my people in the Japanese Magic Domain Powerhouse delegation. When the time comes, we will see who is capable of obtaining the Divine Envoy's reward. She looked at the 2 people on the other side of the screen and said seriously, I will complete this mission at all costs, otherwise we will be truly finished when the Divine Envoy punishes us. Ulrich replied, hopefully this will make amends. The one-eyed man also chimed in. As far as I know, the Bitterwater Mist Kingdom will also participate in the exchange conference. Meanwhile, in the hospital, Zhang Zi asked worriedly, Xiao Feng, how are you feeling? Xiao Feng, lying on the bed, replied happily, brother, I think I can be discharged. Zhang Zi, while peeling an apple, gently scolded, Xiao Feng, don't be silly. At this moment, Teacher Ji Yu and the students walked over. He said, it seems Xiao Feng is recovering quickly. That puts my mind at ease. Seeing the newcomers, Zhang Zi quickly stood up to greet them. Teacher Ji Yu, you've come. Xiao Feng also politely greeted, hello teacher. Teacher Ji Yu immediately turned to ask Zhang Zi, can you participate in the exchange conference this time? Zhang Zi, upon hearing this, asked in confusion, exchange conference? The student next to him, seeing that he didn't know, said, really, you don't know about the International Youth Magic Domain Powerhouse Exchange Conference? It's held every 3 years, and this time it will be held in Daxia country. Teacher Ji Yu said seriously to Zhang Zi, Zhang Zi, you all need to prepare well. Don't embarrass me at the exchange conference, the student next to him added. I heard that the first place in the exchange conference can get a mysterious reward. After the visit, everyone prepared to leave. Teacher Ji Yu said to Zhang Zi, we'll go first. They still have training. Zhang Zi walked towards them and politely said, okay Teacher Ji Yu, I'll see you off. Just as they were about to leave, Zhang Zi suddenly stopped Chao Wei, who was walking at the back. Oh right, Chao Wei. After a moment, Chao Wei turned around and looked at him, asking in surprise, what is it? Zhang Zi slowly asked, Chao Wei, do you know what Lu Yueying has been busy with lately? She came here a few days ago and said some strange things to me as if she was saying goodbye. Chao Wei crossed her arms and said slowly, hasn't she told you yet? She's getting married. A moment later, Teacher Ji-yu said to him, well, we'll go first, they still have training. Zhang Zi replied, okay Teacher Ji-yu, I'll see you off. Just as they were about to leave, Zhang Zi stopped her again. Alright Chao Wei, wait a moment. Chao Wei turned her head and asked, yes, what is it? Then Zhang Zi asked curiously, Chao Wei, do you know what Lu Yueying has been busy with lately? She came here a few days ago and said some strange things to me as if she was saying goodbye. Upon hearing this, Chao Wei immediately understood something. She crossed her arms and asked back, hasn't she told you yet? She's getting married, Zhang Zi exclaimed immediately. What? Married? Chao Wei continued to tell him. Her fiancé returned from Mao country to find her and demanded to hold a wedding. I heard from my dad that Grandpa Lu's attitude is very firm. He insists on marrying my cousin to that Chen Feng. Only then did Zhang Zi realize why she was so strange that day. Will she agree? Chao Wei also pondered, resting her chin in her hand. Knowing my cousin's personality, she probably won't, but if she disagrees, she'll be kicked out of the house. Zhang Zi could only sigh. That's terrible. When are they holding the wedding? Chao Wei replied calmly, it seems to be today. Upon hearing this, Zhang Zi shouted in a panic, what today? Then he quickly pulled Chao Wei out, not forgetting to say before leaving, Xiao Feng, I'll be right back. Chao Wei asked him blankly, hey Zhang Zi, why are you pulling me? Xiao Feng sat on the hospital bed watching Zhang Zi pull Chao Wei away and shouted, take me to the Lu family, we're crashing the wedding. At this moment, a banquet gathering hundreds of people was being held at the Lu family villa. In a seating area of the lounge, Grandpa Chen turned to look at the person next to him and said, Brother Lu, I'm busy with official duties and didn't have time to visit you. You won't blame me, will you? Sitting next to him was Grandpa Lu. He took a sip of tea and replied, you're a state official working hard for the country. How could I blame you, unlike me who can only stay at home all day? This is ridiculous, damn it. After a brief conversation, Grandpa Lu turned to look at the person behind him and asked, Santong, how is Yueying? Isn't she ready yet? Go and urge her. The person named Santong replied, yes. At that moment, a pair of slender legs, partially visible in high-end high heels, appeared on the stairs. Seeing this, Grandpa Lu said, Yueying is coming down. Yueying, come over and meet your future parents-in-law. Lu Yueying, dressed elegantly and beautifully, slowly walked down the stairs. Lu Yueying walked up to Grandpa Lu and said, I'm sorry, I've thought it through. I don't want to marry Chen Feng. Chen Feng's mother was the first to react. She stood up angrily and pointed at Yueying, saying, what did you say, don't want to? HMPH, do you even know your place? So many people want to marry my son. If my old man hadn't agreed to this marriage for the sake of an alliance between our families, I wouldn't have agreed to this marriage at all. This is outrageous, Grandpa Lu continued, scolding. Nonsense, disagree? Are you trying to anger me to death? You're just like your mother and your sister. Hearing this, Lu Yueying couldn't help but retort, this is my own decision. Don't drag my mother and my deceased sister into this. Under everyone's astonished gazes, Grandpa Lu roared in exasperation, in short, you must get married today, otherwise, get out of the Lu family. I don't have a granddaughter like you, Lu Yueying replied just as defiantly. Fine, I'll leave. Her words surprised everyone. Even Santong, who was standing behind Grandpa Lu, tried to dissuade her. Yueying, don't be impulsive. Then, disregarding Grandpa Lu, who was trembling with anger, Lu Yueying calmly lowered her head and said, Grandpa, I thank you and the family for raising me. From now on, I will renounce my identity as a member of the Lu family and sever all ties with the Lu family. The elder Chen, however, watched as if he were enjoying a show. He smiled slightly and said, Brother Lu, you should really teach this granddaughter of yours a lesson. If word gets out, what will become of the Lu family's reputation? Grandpa Lu seemed to have reached his limit. He slammed his cane on the ground and ordered, Wei San execute the family law. Santong, standing behind him, was also shocked. Upon hearing this, the surrounding guests who were watching the commotion immediately turned to look at the person who was about to enter. They saw Wei San walking towards Lu Yueying with a whip saying, Miss, I'm sorry. In such a tense atmosphere, Chen Feng's mother was still able to calmly watch the show. She even said mockingly, I heard that the Lu family's discipline is very strict. Those who are expelled from the Lu family must face family law and have their limbs broken. I wonder if it's true. Before Wei San acted, he said, Miss, you know, once you leave the Lu family, you cannot use the Lu family's martial arts. Lu Yueying just stood there calmly and replied softly, Yes, I know, do it. At this moment, Santong was extremely anxious. He hurriedly tried to stop him. Father, she's your only granddaughter. If this whip lands, she'll be crippled. Father, quickly tell Wei San to stop. But Grandpa Lu was furious, lowering his head and saying, I can't let the Lu family be ridiculed. A moment later, Grandpa Lu ordered loudly, Execute the family law. Wei San immediately raised the whip high, ready to strike, shouting, Iron whip enforcement. Lu Yueying still stood there with her eyes closed, ready to endure. Suddenly, a hand tightly grasped the whip, ignoring the sharp whip piercing his palm. Everyone in the hall looked in horror at the yellow-clad youth protecting Yueying, especially Wei San, who questioned loudly, Who are you? How dare you stop me from executing the family law? Yueying still looked blankly at the person in front of her, who said calmly, I am Zhang Zi. As soon as he finished speaking, someone exclaimed, "It's a magic domain powerhouse, he's a magic domain powerhouse." Upon hearing this, the surrounding people started discussing among themselves, wondering why a magic domain powerhouse would come to cause trouble at the Liu family. Was there a reason? Some speculated. Was he here for a marriage alliance with the Liu family or the Chen family? They immediately switched to gossip mode, wondering who was so bold as to obstruct the marriage alliance between two powerful families and whether they weren't afraid of retaliation. Some people excitedly said, "This is big news posted online, it'll definitely go viral." Others were calling to spread the news. "Hello, Editor-in-Chief, I have a breaking news story here. A mysterious person has single-handedly broken into the Liu family villa. Possibly a magic domain powerhouse." At this moment, Yuying thought to herself, surprised and blushing. "It's Zhang Zi, he suddenly appeared here and hugged me in front of everyone." At the same time, Zhang Zi loudly declared to everyone present, "With me here, I won't allow anyone to hurt her." Then Grandpa Lu's people also stood up. Grandpa Lu, filled with anger, leaned on his cane and asked him, "Who are you? Why are you intruding into the Liu family?" Before Zhang Zi could answer, Chen Feng happened to appear. He angrily pointed at Zhang Zi's face and shouted, "Zhang Zi, how dare you come here to steal my woman?" But Zhang Zi ignored him completely. He still looked directly at Grandpa Lu and replied, "Old man, who I am is none of your business. You just need to know that today I will definitely take Lu Yuying away from here." How could Grandpa Lu tolerate his provocation? He immediately ordered, "Wei San, what are you waiting for? Quickly beat this kid and that ungrateful girl to death. Beat them until they're dead." At this moment, Wei San, standing in front of them, immediately swung his whip and shouted, "Die!" Yuying immediately turned her head to remind Zhang Zi, "Wei San's divine whip is very powerful. Zhang Zi, you should leave, don't worry about me." Zhang Zi not only showed no fear but also stayed and said, "What are you talking about? I came here today to take you away, no one can stop me." Then he leaned closer to her and asked, "Yuying, are you willing to come with me?" Yuying seemed to have made up her mind. She said, "I am willing." Just then, Wei San was already swiftly preparing to deliver a powerful blow. However, Zhang Zi caught his whip with one hand while calmly turning his head to look at Yuying, answering her, "Okay, I'll deal with these people first." Then Wei San quickly pulled the whip out of Zhang Zi's hand, continuing to lash at Zhang Zi, shouting as he swung, "Ha!" But Zhang Zi dodged them all with agility.